Hello and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Pick a Side podcast. My name is Joel Moran and I'm here with River Brown, Andrew Velez, and Joe Dells, and this is now episode 132. Happy Thanksgiving to all of our supporters and fans. We are so fortunate to have such a strong support group, and because of that, this episode is dedicated to you guys. We will be answering questions asked through Twitter and Instagram, while also covering the biggest topics in the NFL and the NBA. So most of this episode is gonna be mailbag questions. We have about 19 that we're gonna answer. You know, some may be short, some may be long answers. It depends on the flow of the conversation. But we're going to have 6 topics for the show itself, and then we'll get into the mailbag question. But before that, a quick Patreon shout out to Anthony, BJ, PJs, Mario, Langston, Jazzy Juice, Johannes, Ruben, Brian, Ricky, E, Enzo, Sean Solis, Sean Muffins, who just increased his pledge to $15 a month.
God bless
he
you,
is
Muffins.
the best.
You're a goat.
John, Sean Triplet, Burner Hoops, Court Cousins, Ben Mack, P. Dot, George, Hikari, Mateen, Dave Two Freedom, and Jay Aqua.
Good old Jay Aqua, man. Extra thankful for y'all this week.
Today is Thanksgiving Eve. This is Wednesday. We're recording. This is the only episode we're going to put out this week. So we're taking Friday, Saturday off. We'll be back next week. And because of that, because tomorrow is Thanksgiving, we want to all say what we're thankful for right now.
Okay.
And I'll start with Riv first because Riv goes first in the order of the topic list. And he's very excited to share what he's thankful for. He was telling us before the show, he was listing them out. And I think this is going to be good. So Riv, what are you thankful for?
I'm thankful for my mom, my dad, my son.
Shout out to
podcast.
You know, somebody thought you were playing about having a kid.
Yeah, I know. I seen that. I was like, nah. But
Who jokes about having a kid?
some people actually do joke about that.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's actually like a real thing.
Like how you're my son? Sorry. That was inappropriate.
I'm thankful for you guys. Parents, grandparents, and all that. So yeah, thankful for just being alive and stuff.
I was about to say, thankful for health, man.
Yeah,
Got a
health.
scare.
Thankful for the health.
For
and
real.
stuff.
Thankful for that do-rag because my son did that right now.
Yo, that's
He's not too thankful
Yeah,
for
it's
that.
a mess. It's a mess. But yeah, I'm thankful and stuff.
Why you got the orange color? Because of the Knicks? You a Knicks fan?
No, that was just the one that was in my jacket pocket.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
tough.
it's
Look good.
Yeah, thank you.
Got you.
Don't do that again.
What?
Put
Call
me
him
on
out
the
on
spot.
it?
Yeah.
Yo, you got a little
You
fuzz
knew it
on
was
your
coming.
eyebrow.
Thank you.
Got you.
Thank you.
So yeah, pretty similar. I'm thankful for my mom, thankful for my dad, thankful for my girlfriend Al, shout out to her. Thankful for my brother, thankful for my sister, thankful for all my friends and family, thankful for you guys 100%, thankful for you guys. It's been a special couple of weeks, truthfully, seeing the rise in stock for the Pick a Side crew. It's been amazing, truthfully. It's been an awesome ride. Just thankful all around. Good health, good life. I can't complain at all. So,
Okay, Drake.
hey, thank you.
Bro, he had to throw the girlfriend in there, else you would have got shit from that.
She doesn't even watch. I don't even have to thank her. She wouldn't even know.
She would have watched today though.
Yeah, she
for sure,
better.
you would've heard
Look, we
that.
got like 1% viewership in female. It's barely her.
Like what you guys said, just going to reiterate that. Thankful for my friends and family. Obviously, you guys for having me on these last couple of weeks. It's been a blast doing this. Good health for me, my family. Just got a new car too, so happy about that.
Beat me part 2.
Beat me part 2. Yeah, if you know, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And thankful for Joe Douglas for finally having the Jets in the right direction.
Amen. Elijah Moore. Be thankful for him too.
He had a great game.
I had to throw that in there.
Elijah Moore. He
Elijah
had a
Moore,
great
yeah.
game.
I saw it live. It was crazy.
He has a full-on
It
beard
was
too, yo.
Crazy.
Going crazy.
What?
I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying.
Chill.
I was watching Flagrant 2, the podcast with Andrew Scholes, and they had Michael Irvin on there.
Uh-huh.
And they were talking about who the sexiest man alive is. And
You saw it was Paul
Tatum?
Rudd. Did you see
Huh?
that?
What?
Tatum?
You said
He's
Tatum?
up there.
Yeah.
Yo, Tatum's a good
Kelly
looking
Oubre?
dude. Oh, here we go. We're talking about men now, but I guess Kelly Oubre is a
2
good
minutes
looking
we
into
dude.
the
literally talk about men.
I know.
every show.
I guess so.
That's facts.
You got it.
That's
You got it.
Facts.
Fair enough.
not how they look, though. Well,
Uh-huh.
how they look in terms of when they play, yeah.
Chris Hemsworth.
You know a lot. What you?
Thor. I thought we were just naming guys. My
Nah,
fault.
I don't think Chris Hemsworth
Bro, I was about to
is
say,
better than Jason Momoa.
the most recent winner of the sexiest man alive was Paul Rudd.
What the
Yeah, bro. Ant-Man.
tough.
My mom was livid.
Chris Hemsworth has 2 of those though. I
Yeah,
just wanted y'all to know
facts.
that.
But yeah, Michael Irvin was like, it ain't nothing wrong to admit another man is sexy.
Nah, that's facts.
And you know how Michael Irvin be sounding like. He was like, man, that's a sexy man. And I was just dying, bro. That shit was funny as
What was
hell.
that on? Flagrant 2, you
Flagrant
said?
2 pod,
That's
yeah. It was a
funny as
podcast
hell.
clip. It's literally one of their clips. That was the title of it. Like, they're discussing who the sexiest man alive is.
He's a goon for that.
But on to what I'm thankful for. You know, first of all, I'm thankful for how much this podcast has grown in the last year. I'm thankful for the fans and supporters of the show. It really means a lot to me. The people that message me directly or message the podcast page, and they talk about how much they love the show. Even though we get a lot of hate, like, don't get us wrong. All you got to do is go on TikTok, look at the comments, and you'll see all the hate.
TikTok is brutal, man.
I feel like the positives definitely outweigh the negatives, and we're at a point right now where I feel like doing this full time is a legit possibility, and that's been made because of you guys. So I'm just thankful for that. I'm thankful that I get to wake up and do what I love. I mean, we record 3-hour shows, and it doesn't feel like 3 hours. It feels like 30 minutes.
Yeah, man.
And you only do something like that if you love it. I'm thankful for my fam. I'm thankful for you guys. I love the team that we're building right now. We got Riv and Drew and Joel, John Carlos, John Tortatelli, who's our editor, who does an amazing job,
Shout out
and
to
he's
him, man.
very knowledgeable in basketball too. It won't be long until he's on this podcast giving his take, because
For sure.
he really knows what he's talking about when it comes to basketball. So yeah, and I'm thankful for my cousin that's helping moderate. I'm just thankful for the team that we're building, the fans, the supporters, my family,
The
and
Avengers.
everything that's going great in my life right now. Couldn't have been possible without you guys, without the fans and supporters, and it means a lot to me. And today's show is going to be a great show because it's Thanksgiving Eve. It's going to be a laid-back show. Last episode, we did a redraft of the 2020 and 2019 NBA draft. So for this episode, we are going to do a similar thing to that. We're going to draft players, but it's going to be NFL, and it's going to be a fantasy draft. We're going to pick a quarterback, running back, 2 receivers, and a tight end. But this time, the order is going to be snake order, because it wasn't fair that Riv had the first pick each and every time, and still he couldn't pick the best team.
Oof.
I had the 3rd pick, and I had the best roster by far.
Easy.
Did you check the comments?
Yeah, not a single one actually said you had the best
No, yeah,
team.
that's a lie.
No,
They
people
did.
really was messing with my team, bro. Like, I had a good team.
Well, I'm glad you had the number 1 pick.
Hey, man, don't hate now.
You still choked. Still took Garland over Anthony.
Yeah, but I didn't choke with Ja, so don't disrespect me.
Nah, they gave you credit for that
Yeah,
pick
don't
too.
disrespect me.
I have the best player, bro. I have Zion.
No, you don't.
He's the best player.
You won't even play.
Yeah, the best 300-pound player ever, maybe. I'll give you
You
that.
picked THT. You have literally the worst player in the lineup.
See, that's where I stopped the slander. All right, take it easy.
We still haven't figured out an order for this snake draft.
Here we
though.
go. But we're going to figure it out right now because we're pulling out the random number generator.
Did Payne Pritchard get drafted?
No, come on now.
Yeah.
Quickly gonna get drafted before him.
All right, so we're doing this 1 through 4. I'm going to assign numbers. Obviously, you're going to be 1 because every single time you're 1. Joel, you'll be 2. Joel, you'll be 3. I'll be 4. All right, whoever gets obviously selected first gets the first pick.
I don't like this list.
Random number generator. Here we go. 4. I get the first pick.
What the
It's beautiful.
It's always
Yeah,
something.
All right, you know what?
It's
Here,
always
we'll do
something.
it again because you know what? This is unbelievable. This is your fault, Joel.
Who got it?
Who do you think? Who do you think? Obviously, Riv. Here we go. 2, 3. So that's Joel. And then you, of course. So
I got the last
I'll be
pick?
last. No, I got the last
Oh.
pick.
What?
First to worst, whatever.
Then you
Hey,
got
we're
the
still
first
gonna
pick,
put
though,
exactly.
and then-
So
I'm
it
about to
goes
finesse
1,
it.
2, 3, 4.
Nah, 1, 2,
Yep.
3, 4.
Yep.
Ooh, that sucks for you.
then he gets the second pick and the
exactly. I get
first
the
pick and the second round.
exactly. Double pick is lit.
Look.
You're up first, bro.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
on the clock. Call it.
So Riv is up first.
And I could pick
right
any
now.
position first.
Yeah. Any
Quarterback, running back, receiver, tight end.
Okay, I got the sound ready. So Riv has the first overall pick in this draft.
All right, for the first pick in my draft, I'm taking Kyler Murray.
Okay.
With my number 1 pick, I'm picking my quarterback that could run and he could throw the ball. So I'm taking Kyler Murray.
But you about to
easy.
say got him.
That's a great pick.
We're
Obviously.
doing quarterback, running back, 2 receivers.
Yeah.
Tight
Yeah,
end.
I mean, look, you don't have to pick you could pick any player you want first.
It's
it
like a
doesn't have to
fantasy
be a
draft.
quarterback.
Yeah, we're
word,
good.
Word. My first pick, I'm taking most explosive receiver in the NFL, someone who I don't think has a comp maybe in NFL history, Tyreek Hill.
You took
The-
the receiver.
I took a receiver first. He's the one player who can make a touchdown happen on any play. Devontae Adams is probably the best receiver in the NFL, but I don't think it's much of a debate that Tyreek's the most explosive.
Yeah, that's a fact.
I got the third pick, and
Zach Wilson.
with my pick, it's the direction I'm going in is pretty obvious. I'm going quarterback. I'm going with the best quarterback in the game right now. Give me Aaron Rodgers on my squad.
Okay, fair enough. Now, are we doing this in terms of like I'm trying to build the dream team, or am I trying to build the best fantasy squad?
Dream team.
The dream team.
You waited 3 picks later to ask that question.
Yeah, because you guys went picks that obviously wouldn't be fantasy picks that I would make. Obviously, outside of Tariq. Tariq's a really solid pick.
This isn't your playground.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was trying to have a little bit of fun. But here we go. Hit my music, please. All right, with my selection here, I'm actually going to go skill position. I'm going to go at the running back slot, and I'm going to go Jonathan Taylor. Obviously, JT's been having an amazing season, has over 1,100 rushing yards, has 13 touchdowns on the ground, 2 in the air. He's been amazing this season. I feel like that's a home run pick. Now you can hit my music once again. Please do me that solid.
Oh, double pick.
And here I am going to go with arguably the best receiver in football. I'm going Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams is probably the most secure receiver in the league, most consistent, has arguably the best hands, probably is the best route runner. I can't go wrong right here. I'm hitting home run picks back-to-back, JT and Devontae Adams.
That's great. I have the second pick now.
Let's hear it.
I thought you was going to go.
No. I thought he was going to pick somebody that I wanted to pick. That's what happened.
It don't matter because I got the pick. And with this next pick, I'm going with the best running back in football, hands down. I'm going with Derrick Henry.
Good pick.
Here we go. We're going to count Derrick. That's such a shame because easily that would have been mine, but I'm cool with that.
Why didn't you pick Derrick?
Because he's hurt right now. That's really it. That's it.
We took the injuries off, pre-injuries off when we started our league. That's what we did.
I'm valid with that.
Pre-existing injuries.
Yeah, pre-existing, we took it off.
That's fair, obviously, but if I'm being real, obviously, Derrick Henry's by far and away the best.
You want to change your pick?
No.
Forget him.
That's cool. It's cool. Obviously, I'm more than fine with JT. Listen, we're going to talk about JT later. He's in the MVP conversation right now. He's got to be.
Now with the next pick, Joel has it.
This is really between 2 players for me. 2 wide receivers I'm looking at right now. One, Cooper Kupp is going to be breaking possibly all the records by Jerry Rice, receiving, receptions, touchdowns. He's having an unbelievable season. But I'm going to go with Jettis. I'm going to go with Justin Jefferson. Was still second year in the league, probably a top 5 route runner still. He's one of the best at attacking the ball at a high point. He can make plays down the field, intermediate. He's one of the best deep route runners as well as intermediate. So I'll take Justin Jefferson, even though he's not putting up as many good statistics as Cooper Kupp is.
I don't even want to go no more.
Were you going to take Jettis?
That'll just kill my whole board. All right, go. Cue my music, man. All right, since you took Jettis, which kind of like deviated my plan, I think the next best thing I want to go is I'm going to pick the guy who I was going to pick after Jettis. So I'm going to take Stephon Diggs, who is still one of the best route runners in the league. He's still one of the best deep ball receivers in the league. So I'm going to take him with my pick. I would have had him and Jettis on my left and right with K1, but you messed up my list. Cue my music one more time, please. Well, since you took that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick a tight end early. So I'm going to take Darren Waller with my pick. I'm going to take
Waller.
I got it. I'm going to take Darren Waller.
Stop it, Joel. Don't be mean to him. Don't be mean to him. It is a good pick. It's a good pick.
That's a great pick.
Joel,
had
stop
Travis
it. Stop
Kelce
it. Leave him alone.
board.
Darren Waller, he's faster than he is.
Darren Waller's a beast. Got to take Darren Waller.
Got to take Darren Waller. Though.
Oh
Gotta
my
take
God.
That's all right. I'm not upset.
My team is going to be stacked. Okay.
I'm up.
He's up.
You already know who I'm taking. Going tight end. I'm taking the best tight end in football, Travis Kelce. Year in and year out, he's the best tight end. He has 7,000 yard seasons back to back, and he's gonna go on break a ton of records for tight ends. Real quick, we don't have to get into a big debate. Do you guys think he's better than Gronk all time?
No. I think this past Super Bowl, signed and sealed that he can't pass him.
Okay, because the longevity he's got, he's going to beat him in all the career statistics.
He is.
He hasn't been as dominant at his peak, but he's right up there, so I'll take Travis Kelce.
And I just think on a head-to-head basis, Mahomes and Kelce had a chance to surpass both of them, and they got blown out.
And now I'm up, right?
Yep.
Okay. This made it tough because I'm looking here, and, man, I got a lot of good options. So I'm going to get a receiver off the board right now. And I'm going with DeAndre Hopkins. I know that he's hurt right now, but he's still a top 3 receiver in football when healthy. And having a trio of Rodgers, Henry, and D-Hop, I think, is very, very dangerous.
All right, hit my music, because it's an absolute miracle that this guy got here. Listen, regardless of my feelings towards this individual, I'm not dumb ultimately. I understand who's the best when they're clicking on all cylinders. That's unfortunately Patty Mahomes. This guy's a freak of nature. Obviously, broke into the league his sophomore season, threw for 50 touchdowns. Next season, repeated that with a Super Bowl championship. Can't go wrong with this pick. You got, obviously, JT, we got Devontae Adams, and now we bring in Mahomes. Arguably number 1 across the board at each position, so I'm sitting pretty. You can play my music one more time, please. Okay, now this is where things get interesting, because obviously some good wide receivers have been taken off the board. I am actually going to go with Cooper Kupp. Obviously, Cooper Kupp's having an amazing season. He's leading the league in receiving yards. He's been a freak of nature this season, and truthfully, it's been a shock to me, honestly. I thought that Robert Woods was going to be the guy this season. That clearly hasn't been the case. Cooper Kupp has just been on an exponential level this season, probably going to break Calvin Johnson's record now that there's an extra game involved. There's a few good options here. Obviously, Jamar Chase would have been a decent option. CeeDee Lamb's a nice up-and-coming receiver, but I just felt like that would have been a little bit of a reach. Jamar Chase, obviously, but I'm going to ride with Cooper Kupp. I feel like I can't go wrong with that one.
Okay, so just to know everybody's team so far, what's your team right now?
I got K1, Stephon Diggs, and Darren Waller.
Darren Waller, what's your team right now?
So right now I got Patty Mahomes, I got JT, I got Devontae Adams, and Cooper Kupp.
Your team?
I got Tyreek Hill, Jettas, Travis Kelce.
You got a cute squad.
Oh, yeah.
You still didn't get a QB yet?
Not yet.
I thought you got a QB already.
I'm straight.
Okay.
I'm here stunned on y'all.
After hearing your guys' picks, right now I have Derrick Henry on the squad. And in order for our running game to be successful, you need somebody to set the edge.
Okay.
I'm getting the best run-blocking tight end in the NFL and arguably the best tight end in the league when he's healthy, George Kittle. I'm getting George Kittle to set the edge for my team. Rodgers, Henry, D-Hop, and Kittle. That's who I'm going with.
You
right.
have,
I'm after you.
Yeah. You don't have a running back yet, right?
I swear to God, if you do what I think you're going to do.
Because you have a quarterback, so there's no need for me to take quarterback. Right here, I'll take a running back. I'll take Alvin Kamara.
Oh, okay, good.
No,
All right, cool.
all right.
Cool.
I'll
Actually,
take-
Yo, that's wild. Not going CMC?
shut up.
Yo, you
No,
folded.
that's
You
all right.
folded.
I'll take the running back who can stay healthy.
Kamara.
Who could stay healthy over the last 2 years. He's just as good as a
We took
receiving back
injuries off, bro.
as CMC. Did turn injuries off. Just as good as a receiving back as CMC. Obviously, when it comes to running the ball, he's not there, but he doesn't have many 1,000 yards. None, actually, now I'm thinking about it. Had some injuries this season, but when he's healthy, he's a top 5 running back in the league. But I stole one from you. You're going to go steal one from me.
I actually know if I was being real biased, I would have took Kamara. I swear to God. But CMC was still on the board.
I forgot about him.
Cue my music.
Okay.
So yeah, I need a running back. Obviously, the best running back on the board is CMC.
You
So
got
I'm
bailed out here.
No, I didn't
This
get
is a
bailed out.
blessing.
No, because
Trust you
nobody was
did.
thinking about it.
No.
Nobody was
What do you
thinking
mean
about it.
nobody? I took JT bad early.
Exactly. You wasn't thinking about him. So I'm taking CMC with my pick, obviously. Cue my music one more time because I need another receiver. You guys took Tyreek. You took Jettas. Hopkins is gone.
The receiver got tough. I'm not going to front.
No, it did really get tough. I think the next best guy I want to take, I'm going to probably, it's so many receivers in the league. You took Cooper Kupp too.
Listen, bro, you got either DK, you got Keenan Allen, you got CeeDee Lamb, AJ Brown,
Debo,
Jamar Chase,
I
Chris
could go
Godwin, McLaurin.
I'm going to go young. I'm going to take Jamar Chase.
Okay,
I'm going
I
to take
like
Jamar
that.
Chase.
I like
I'm
that.
going to go young. And my team is pretty much done. My team is the most dynamic team at the table.
Listen, you folded. You could.
I
If you
didn't
would have
fold.
went Kelsey, bro, maybe people
I'm going to tell you why I didn't fold.
All right.
I have the best dual threat quarterback in the league.
Facts.
I have the best dual threat running back in the league.
Probably.
Then I have Stephon Diggs, elite,
Yeah.
on hop level. Maybe not on Tate level, but right now he's on A level. Then I got who I just picked.
You said Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase. I just picked Jamar Chase, one of the best up and coming young receivers in the league. And then Darren Waller. He may not be Travis Kelce, but he may not be Kittle, but he's
No,
right.
No, he's on Kittle's level.
He's
Travis
right. If
Kelce's
he's
on
not,
it.
he's right there behind
that's
him.
a
So
fact.
my team is dangerous, young
Yeah.
and dangerous.
Yeah, it is.
He's some young,
It
young
is.
dangerous men. That's
Now
real
it's your
good.
pick.
No, it's
It's me, it's
Joel's.
me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Steal of the draft here. You guys are going to let him fall to the last round. The best quarterback of all time. In my opinion, the best quarterback this season, Tom Brady.
Okay.
I mean, he's putting another spectacular season
Gonna
together.
have that old fart.
Yeah, the old fart who just coming off a championship,
Oh,
going to
yeah,
win
fair.
multiple playoffs games this year.
Does it hurt you to say that?
It does, bro. Literally, my number one thing here, at first it was going to be top 10 QBs, is when will this pain end? Because Tom Brady, year in and year out, does it. Going into Monday night, he was number 3 in QBR, 67% completion percentage, number 2 passer according to PFF. He's having another great season. What's there to say about Brady?
Wow. So I'm actually happy that you guys made the picks that you guys made. I'm cueing my music, and I got to talk for a little bit because you picked Darren Waller instead of Kittle. That was a blessing for me because I needed a run blocking tight end for Derrick Henry. You picked JT over Henry. That was a blessing for me.
Yo, you did fold for that one.
I didn't know we were doing no injuries.
Aaron Rodgers, for me, I think he's the best quarterback in the game right now. Tom Brady, he's a GOAT, no doubt. That's a great pick, and that's a steal too. I was also thinking maybe Justin Herbert could have been drafted too. D-Hop, when healthy, a top 3 receiver. And when you were stuck at receiver, when you heard Debo's name, I'm surprised you didn't instantly jump at Debo.
Over Jamar?
Debo Samuel right now is second in the league in receiving
dirty.
yards.
He's been dirty.
Not only can Debo line up in the slot, on the outside, he can line up at running back.
Insane.
He's a great blocker. He's a bulldozer with the ball. He's the best receiver in terms of yards after catch in the league. So now my team is Rodgers, Henry, D-Hop, Debo, and Kittle. I got a versatile group of guys, and I'm ecstatic with the team that I drafted.
All right.
So I'm drafting Debo. If you
Cue my
Oh,
music.
yeah, I was trying to figure out where you was
You
going
got a
with
cute
that.
squad. And listen, the fact that Debo had 15 receiving yards last game, and still was effective in the game. I think he had 80 rushing yards and a touchdown.
Yep.
Just shows you how dynamic Debo truly is. Now, with my pick, all I got is tight end left, and you guys took the three-headed monster of obviously Kelsey, Waller, and Kittle. So I'm going to go with the next best option. I'm going Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews has been solid this season, probably his best season to date, truthfully. 56 receptions, almost 700 receiving yards, 4 touchdowns. Him and Lamar have been hitting on all cylinders this season. I feel like, obviously, with my last pick, this is one of the better ones. In terms of tight ends, he's the second best tight end in the league, at least for this season. Kelsey is just Kelsey, and there's nothing you could do about that. Mahomes and him have an amazing connection. Would have loved that pairing on my squad. But Mark Andrews is not a bad second-place option. So I love the team that we're at right now. Obviously, have Mahomes. We got JT. Receivers, we got Cooper Kupp, Devontae Adams, and at tight end, Mark Andrews. Seems pretty complete to me.
Okay, so to reiterate, we all have made our picks.
Yeah.
Yep.
So to reiterate the teams that we have, Riv, go first. Who's your QB, running back, 2 receivers, and tight end?
K1 at the QB spot, CMC at the running back spot, Stephon Diggs is 1A, then I got Jamar Chase at 1B, and then Darren Waller at the tight end.
Now you, Drew.
So my squad is Patty Mahomes, unfortunately. We got Jonathan Taylor, Devontae Adams, Cooper Kupp, and Mark Andrews.
I got a quarterback, Tom Brady, the GOAT, running back, Alvin Kamara, Jettas and Tyreek Hill at wide receiver, and Travis Kelce at tight end.
And my team is Aaron Rodgers, Derrick Henry, DeAndre Hopkins, Debo Samuel, and George Kittle. Rate our teams in the comment section down below. Who drafted the best team?
I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be legit honest. You might have the best team, but my teams are better than both of yours.
Listen, you folded up.
You literally picked
you
JT over Derrick Henry. You have to stop.
I guess, but it's not like Jonathan Taylor isn't probably the best running back in football right now. So
Yeah, he probably is. He was the best when Derrick Henry went down with injury. No doubt.
Listen,
no, definitely.
He made the biggest fold by taking Waller over Kelsey.
Yeah, that's
You
more
mean the last-
egregious.
You
Listen,
picked
bro,
that's more
Kamara over
egregious.
CMC.
Yeah, that's
is
the
kinda
same.
crazy.
That's the same
Yeah,
fold.
yeah,
That's
low-key.
the same fold. You
Yeah,
honest?
but if we're being honest, it's like here's CMC. There's Kamara. They're
Yeah,
essentially
they're
the same running
closer
back.
than Travis
Yes.
Kelce
Oh,
and Derrick.
hell
Waller's having
no.
a down year, bro.
Yes, he is having a
All right,
down
we
year.
He's the
want
last
to
couple
play
weeks
the
has been
down
better,
year
but-
card. Okay, we want to play the down year
It's
card.
unfortunate because
Okay,
obviously
that's
I
fair.
love
That's fair.
Darren Waller, but
That's fair.
at
That's
the
fair.
same
That's
time,
fair.
he is in a down year.
I mean, this team just is going to open up the world for him.
Who's your team right now? You got Kyler. You said you got CMC.
I got K1 who can run and pass. I
Uh-huh.
got CMC who can run and catch. I got Stephon Diggs who can do whatever he feels like doing.
Okay,
I got
he's been
Jamar
okay.
Chase who only needs
He's good.
three targets to just make 100 yards.
That's a fact.
Then I got Darren Waller. I don't need much.
Yeah, it's a solid team,
Team
bro.
isn't
It's
bad.
not as good as mine, but solid.
No, it's the most explosive team at the table.
You don't have
Easily.
Tyreek Hill.
You don't have.
You
Tyreek.
don't. I don't. But I have Stephon Diggs. I have Jamar Chase. I have CMC, and I have K1. I have K1.
That's
I
mad
have
cool.
K1.
None
No,
of
I
us
have K1.
explosive. Yeah.
You have Tom Brady.
Yeah,
I have
you
K1.
really had
Okay, the best
You-
quarterback ever. He's got 7 chips.
You
How
have
many
the
does Kyler
fourth,
have?
you have
bro?
the
Like,
4th best quarterback at this table.
you had a chance.
But I have the most explosive quarterback at this table. Easily.
He's still not the best. He
Doesn't need to be the
You
best.
had a
His team is
chance
undefeated.
to have the best team.
I'd rather have the best quarterback than the most explosive quarterback.
The Cardinals
That's fair.
aren't undefeated.
No, they lost.
Oh,
two.
they did
Yeah.
lose.
Lost 3 times.
Yes.
They did lose 3 times.
I think it's 2 or 3.
Two. It was two.
Yeah.
It was two. It
I
was
think
two.
9-2.
But regardless of that, you said your squad was.
I think I have the
No,
best
his
team.
team.
I really
He
do
does.
think
You
He
getting
does have
Derrick,
the best team.
Derrick Henry. If we're
I have
counting
the
it,
best
yeah,
quarterback
that's fine.
and running back
Yeah.
in the NFL.
Yeah.
And then DeAndre Hopkins, when healthy, top 3.
Well, debatable.
I just
obviously.
feel like my team can do different things. I think you're second though, because Tyreek Hill, you have to worry about him. You have to play too high against Hill, and then Jetta's one-on-one is always gonna win. But my team, Henry, Bruiser, Kittle, opening up the edges for Derrick Henry, Debo Samuel, who I could play anywhere. He could be my running back if I want to. I can do anything with Debo. So Debo's there and D-Hop. I mean, I just got such a well-rounded team.
I won't have to explain my roster. The guys know it's that simple. I mean, JT obviously leads the league in rushing. I got Mahomes, who leads the league in passing yards. Devontae Adams last season had 17 touchdowns. This year is basically a repeat. He's just been just as dominant. Cooper Kupp is leading the league in receiving yards, and Mark Andrews is the number 2 tight end in the league right now. So I'll let you guys hold that and think whatever you guys want.
I'll be honest with you. I think the pick that your team is great in terms of your quarterback, of course, running back, your first wide receivers. Your first wide receiver was who again?
Hey.
Yeah, of course, Devontae Adams. I think he's the best receiver in the league.
Agreed.
You messed up with Cooper Kupp.
I guess.
Really?
Because even though Cooper Kupp is leading the NFL in receiving yards, he's not a top 5 receiver. He's not.
Even if he's going to break all these single season records.
If he breaks the single season record, you absolutely have to throw him in. You have to.
I don't think he's better than Debo.
Whether that's fact or fiction.
Let me ask you a better question. Is he better than his 2 receivers? Jettas or Tyreek Hill?
Tyreek.
I'm taking Tay's number 1, but
No, I'm talking about Kupp. I'm talking about is Kupp better than Hill or Jettas?
I don't think he's better than Jettas.
I don't think he's better than Jettas either.
It's so tough.
Is he better than D-Hop healthy?
No. It's not even a debate.
D-Hop's number 2 in my opinion.
Let's be
when
honest.
healthy.
Is Kupp better than Mike Evans?
yes.
Yes.
Is Kupp better than Mike
certain about
Thomas
that?
healthy? Because completely forgot.
I'm
Michael Thomas,
Mike
I'm
Thomas
over,
hasn't played
bro.
in like years. I'm not
Literally
worried about
years.
I mean, he played
The
last year.
thing, it's tough because
He was
obviously
ass,
when
though.
you do something that has never been done before and you're breaking an all-time season record for receiving yards.
Well, that's if he does it. Their offense has been stagnating.
It has
But
been,
Kupp's
but
still
even
been eating
exactly, Kupp
10
has just
catches,
been
100 yards.
fantastic every game.
I just really don't think he's top 5. Like I would put D-Hop over him, Jettas, Tyreek Hill. I think he's over him.
Jetta's, as I don't want this to sound
I
disrespectful.
do think Stephon
that's
Diggs
the
is better than
closest
Kupp
one.
too.
Stephon Diggs is in a down year as in opposed to last season. Obviously, he's just not hasn't been as effective as he was last year because something's going on with the Bills' offense that's just getting figured out this year.
He's in a down year, but
Bro,
I
he's
He's
would
still being out
put
because
him
he has
over.
740. I think he has 740.
And then I would
receiving
put
yards.
Debo over Kupp too.
But Kupp already has 1,000 receiving yards clean.
Yeah, I guess.
He's been a freak, and obviously
The wide receiver talent is just
there's
crazy.
no-
Oh my
It's
God,
really just
so
look.
much.
I'm not. Kupp is an elite receiver.
Drew, there's no
I'm not
way
trying to deny that.
in a down year, you're still picking Kupp over Stephon Diggs.
It's close. I mean, last season
No
was the
way.
first season we saw Diggs be a top 5 receiver.
Yeah.
That was the first year
This is
in
the
his
first
career.
season we've seen Kupp be a top
Not
10
true.
receiver.
He was-
Not
in
true.
2019, he was
exactly
great.
the year
He
that
was
they went
great
to the
in
Super Bowl.
2019.
Him and Goff had
You're
a
acting
great
like
connection.
before last year, though, Stephon Diggs hasn't been a top 10, top 50 receiver.
Honestly, he might not have
15,
been.
yeah, 15. I'll give
15,
you.
yeah, but
and
top
before
10,
that,
no.
Coop was the top 15 receiver. This year, he's just walking into that top 10,
Would you
maybe
take
top
Kupp
5
over AJ
conversation.
Brown?
Kupp. If AJ can stay healthy,
Yeah,
it's
that's
a whole
it.
different
AJ
discussion.
healthy
AJ
is a
healthy,
baller.
yes.
He's
That's
a
what I'm saying.
baller.
Like I think Kupp is the most productive receiver this season, but there are 5 to 10 receivers I'd probably take over Kupp.
I'll be honest, coming into this season,
10 is a little bit too much, like 6, 7.
Yes, that's fair.
I could have easily been convinced that A.J. Brown was the best receiver in football. I could have been coming into this year. A.J. Brown has that type of
Let
talent.
me ask you a question.
That was crazy.
Do you think Kupp is better than Terry McLaurin?
Scary.
That's an
Scary's been so up
unfortunate
and down
thing. Yeah,
this year.
I mean, but again, he has Taylor Heineke, who's not a bad quarterback. Obviously, he can just get
He's
the
average.
job
He's
done.
average.
He is
He's
exactly. I think that's
It's a
fair.
great backup.
But I just am
Like Joe
looking at.
Flacco.
Forget
Oh
about
my
the time.
gosh.
Obviously, Cooper Kupp is a great route runner. He knows how to play his position, whether it's inside, whether it's outside. He's a talented dude. So we just can't take that away from him, given the fact that he's blazing fast. He still has great hands. He rarely ever drops a football. And he's putting up the numbers to back it up. Obviously, he's not the prettiest receiver in terms of physique. He's not the fastest, but he's still putting up numbers at a ridiculous clip, and that we just can't overlook it.
So these were the rankings for wide receivers before the season started. Devontae Adams 1, Stephon Diggs, DeAndre Hopkins, Tyreek Hill, Allen Robinson, he's not good no more.
Tragic.
Maybe if he goes to another team, but this year he's been bad. A.J. Brown, Justin Jefferson, Michael Thomas, who hasn't played in years, Julio Jones, who hasn't been good, Calvin Ridley.
Tragic.
Yeah, who hasn't played. Mike Evans. I really do think Evans is probably better than Cooper Kupp.
Evans has just been
now. Question
is
Evans
playing with
is Evans better than Godwin?
And Godwin.
Is Evans better than Godwin?
It's really close. I think it depends on what you want in receiver because I think if I need a red zone threat, I'm going Mike Evans all day. Mm-hmm. He's the best red zone receiver in the NFL.
He might be.
He's the best. He's the best 50-50 ball receiver in the NFL.
That's tough. DeAndre.
That's close, but
a lot.
Mike Evans is 6'5".
He's a beast. Oh, he's a physical freak.
And then Chris Godwin is there. Keenan Allen is there. I would put Kupp over Keenan Allen. DK, even though his season isn't as good as Kupp, I would probably put DK over Kupp. But
you're taking physique into it a lot, which I can understand. Obviously, athleticism goes a long way. Kupp is definitely athletic for his build.
Going into the season, Cooper Kupp, they didn't even have this guy ranked.
Now, was Robert Woods higher than he was?
I'll tell you what, Brandon Ayuk was higher than he was.
That's crazy.
Corey Davis. Yeah, this list.
Last year, to be fair.
So Cooper Kupp was behind Robert Woods, and you thought Woods was going to have the season Kupp is having.
I did.
So the players over him were Corey Davis, Brandon Ayuk, CeeDee Lamb, Cortland Sutton, Tyler Lockett, Odell Beckham, Kenny Galladay,
Yo, they
Amari Cooper, Jamar Chase,
so
Terry McLaurin.
Who is
this is on SportingNews.com.
Oh God.
Yeah, this list is bad. There's no doubt, but I do think Cooper Kupp,
Odell's crazy.
He's having a way more productive season, but I really don't know if I can say Cooper Kupp is a top 8 receiver. Like I think there are
What's
8
holding you
receivers
back from saying it though?
He just
They're
hasn't
better
done
receivers.
Are you taking Diggs over Cooper?
It's really close. I'd probably lean Diggs.
You can make the argument for all of these guys.
You can.
Like,
listen,
it's personal
way,
preference at that
100%
point.
agree.
Like I think Cooper Kupp is one of the best route runners in the NFL.
For sure.
But in terms of doing everything else, like 50-50 balls, red zone threat, I don't know if he brings all that to the table.
He's just so fast that he doesn't really... Have we seen a 50-50 ball with Cooper? I feel like he just gets open.
He's always open.
He's always open.
And he's always open. Moore. Facts. He's always open.
Obviously, he's up next. That's clear. I mean, this class was insane. Yeah. This receiver class is arguably the best of all time. The only one that comes close is the Odell, Mike Evans, but even still,
we thought last year's class was going to be really good. Obviously, Ruggs kind of throws a knife into it. Though. Judy's been solid. Lamb's been solid. Higgins fell off this year.
Jetta's
been amazing. Rieger wasn't great.
Rieger's mid. Yeah.
This year might get it though.
Let's say you got Claypool, Waddle, Devonta, Claypool's another. Jamar, obviously. Bateman, Elijah.
Don't forget him.
Smith.
Mooney.
I said Smith. Devonta was the first name I said.
Good man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could argue all day about Cooper Kupp, but
it's close.
He's having the best season he's having the best receiver season this season.
And he just had his bye week, so now we'll start to see, the numbers actually be realistic.
So next topic, Jonathan Taylor, the Colts, they beat the Bills. They blew them out. I think the final score was 41-14. And in this game, Taylor had 5 total touchdowns.
Insanity.
Should he be in the MVP conversation? He's been getting some love in the national media. The Colts are now 6-5. What do you think about Jonathan Taylor and the Colts? Is he in the MVP conversation, or should he be one of the front runners for that award?
Are you doing me first today?
You always
what do you mean
first,
today?
Bro.
No, football, I usually don't go first. I go last. No cap.
Listen, man, I'd happily go first. Do you want me to go first, man?
First.
All right, regardless of that. Do I think he should be in the MVP conversation? Absolutely. You look at what the Colts have been since Jonathan Taylor started to take off, and the team has been night and day. Obviously, getting healthy with their offensive line was a big part of that. Carson Wentz increased play these last couple of games has been extremely helpful for them. But JT's been at the forefront of this rise in the Colts team, truthfully. Obviously, look, now that word stuck in my head after the last show. But regardless of that, Jonathan Taylor has been a freak in nature, and you look at the history of the NFL and the award winners, 17 of the last 21 have been quarterbacks. So the odds are stacked against him to win. I believe the last skill position player to win it was AP. Before that was LaDainian Tomlinson. It just rarely happens. But Jonathan Taylor's having that type of season. And as great as Jonathan Taylor has been, I have to throw respect to Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry was on an even more freakish level than what JT has been. The fact that he led the league in rushing 2 weeks after breaking his foot is something that needs to be spoken about, needs to be praised. He was at a different level. I think he would have been the runaway MVP because you look at the MVP race right now, and it's so wide open. There hasn't been one player that has been consistently great all season, including JT. I mean, you look at his first 3 games, he struggled. First game, he was more involved in the pass game, so obviously his total scrimmage yards was there. The next game after that, I think he only had 50 rushing. Next game after that, I want to say he had 60, but on 10 attempts. And then after that, week 4, I believe it was against the Dolphins, that's really when JT started to take off. Has a touchdown in 8 straight games. He has over 1,100 rushing yards, has 13 touchdowns, 2 in the air, as I mentioned when I drafted him. He's been amazing. He's on pace for 2,000 yards from scrimmage and to score 22 touchdowns. I believe if he were to score 23, that would tie him for 8th most. He's having a special season. And if the Colts make the playoffs, and they obviously it looks like the Titans are going to win the division, but if they could somehow win that division, he has an amazing case. Because like I mentioned, there hasn't been one quarterback in this league, because obviously it should just be called the best QB in the award, because that's just it seems what it be. It seems as if the award always goes to a quarterback. You look at Brady. He had a few hiccups against the Saints. He had a bad game. You look at Herbert. He had a rough game against Baltimore. You look at Lamar. He had a rough game against this past weekend. Not this past weekend, 2 weeks ago. I'm blanking off the top of my head. But regardless of that, you just look at Kyler Murray against the Packers. He had some injury issues this season too. There hasn't been a clear runaway. Dak Prescott this most past recent week and against the Broncos. These are all the guys that are probably in the conversation. Matthew Stafford against Tennessee, against San Fran. No guy has been perfect.
Against Arizona.
There you go. That's another one. No guy has been perfect, but Jonathan Taylor, since week 4, has borderline been perfect, and the Colts have been playing winning football. I think he has a great case. It's going to be difficult because obviously when you're not playing the quarterback position, the odds are stacked against you. But when you're putting up numbers like this, it's impossible to overlook.
I think it's different. I think, like you said, all quarterbacks haven't been perfect. I think Aaron Rodgers probably has been the closest to perfection this year, dealing with what he's been dealing with.
Fair.
At the same time, I think Derrick Henry was a different case because they were winning. You know, it was a lot different with the Colts. The Colts they're 6-5, and they're not in the playoffs right now. They're in the hunt, but they're not in the playoffs right now. So I think to say he's not in the MVP conversation, I don't think it's disrespectful just because they're not in the playoffs. I think he's probably the first guy at the door, you know, knocking on the door like, okay, I'm the next guy up. Because I think with Derrick Henry, he was dominating and the Titans were winning. Injuries or not, whoever was in the lineup, he was still dominating and they were winning games. With the Colts, like you said, though, when Jonathan Taylor's starting to get it going, you know, for the most part, he was at the forefront, but I don't want to say it was just him. You know, Michael Pittman Jr. was starting to get it going. He was starting to be unleashed. Carson Wentz was playing a lot better. The team was getting healthy. You know, the defense, Darius Leonard was leading that charge for the defense. So I don't want to say it's just JT, but when he started to really kick it up, you can kind of see the team just plays much better. This looks like a more run-oriented team, and it plays much better when Jonathan Taylor is the leader of the offense. But to say he should be in the MVP conversation, it's hard. You know, I mean, the numbers say yes. The numbers tell you he's one of the best. He's been one of the best players this year. He's kicked it up. But at the same time, you know, his team isn't in the playoffs right now. You know, they're 6-5 looking on the outside in. I think if they start to get in the playoffs and they creep in, he can definitely be in that conversation. But I don't think it's disrespectful to say he shouldn't be in the conversation just because of the simple fact that they're not in the playoffs right now.
Yeah, I think if there's any quarterback who's not going to win, it has to be Jonathan Taylor. I mean, you look at this season, the Colts would be nothing without them. When Jonathan Taylor rushes for 100 yards, the Colts are 6-0. When he doesn't, they're 0-5. So this team runs through Jonathan Taylor. Even though Carson Wentz is having a really strong season, I think he only has 2 interceptions. He's really cut down on the turnovers. Taylor has the second most yards after contact, still behind Derrick Henry. Insane. Most missed tackles forced, most explosive runs, highest rush grade on PFF. So it's not just the eye test. When you watch him play, you could see he's a top 2 rusher in the NFL when it comes to being able to make guys miss. He's also the fastest player in the NFL, at least for this season. In terms of breakaway runs, he was a track athlete in high school, maybe college too. So obviously the speed's there. The issue with me is if Henry didn't receive a single first place vote last year, he didn't win. He didn't get a single vote last year, having 2,200 yards and 17 touchdowns. I can't imagine Taylor gets any sort of recognition, even though he's probably going to have 20-plus touchdowns. He's on pace for about 1,700 rushing yards. So
is he at 13 right now?
13, yeah. So
15 total, though.
Yeah. He'll probably have, I'm not sure if there's 22, if I was counting total or just
no, that would
rushing.
be total touchdowns, 22. He's on pace for 22.
So he's top 3 running back, and at least best running back in the league right now with Henry out. I just can't imagine that if you give no love to Derrick Henry last year with what he did, how does Jonathan Taylor get it this year?
Derrick Henry won Offensive Player of the Year, though.
He did.
So, and that's the thing. Jonathan Taylor is not going to win the MVP. There's no way. And he's going to probably win Offensive Player of the Year. It's going to be between him and Cooper Kupp because he's having a fantastic season as well. Like you mentioned, the Colts are 6-0 when Taylor rushes for 100-plus yards. They're 0-5 when he rushes under 100 yards. In that game versus Tennessee, where the score was 34-31, he rushed for about 80. Should have gave him a few more carries. Probably would have won that game. But Carson Wentz was the reason they lost that game. Wentz has been a really good game manager. I like that he hasn't been putting the ball in harm's way. He's been very secure and efficient with the ball. But Taylor is the reason why the Colts offense is as good as it is because
no doubt
their pass blocking isn't as good as their run blocking. It kind of like the Titans. The Titans are the same way. Run blocking, they're good. Roger Saffold, he's a very great run blocker. Pass blocking, he's horrible. He gets moved around. So I think the Colts, they are a run-oriented team, and Jonathan Taylor is leading the way. This season, 193 carries for 1,222 yards, 13 touchdowns, 5.8 yards per carry. That's more than Derrick Henry, Cook,
makes no sense.
CMC, Zeke. Like 5.8 yards per carry. Derrick Henry's never had that in a season. Dalvin Cook hasn't had that. CMC hasn't had that. Zeke hasn't had that. Nick Chubb is at 6.
Oh, wow.
Nick Chubb is at 6 this
Less
season.
carries probably, but
Yeah, he is at less carries.
I was going to say, JT's only had 20-plus carries the last 2 weeks. That's it.
So 5.8 yards per carry, you give him the ball 2 times, that's a first down. He's been really great. These are remarkable numbers right now. But I just don't see how he can win the MVP. Not over Tom Brady, who has 29 touchdowns to 8 picks. Patrick Mahomes right now is creeping in that discussion. Before the season, my MVP pick was Tom Brady. I think he's going to win it. At the oldest MVP ever, that record will never be touched. I'm a Tom Brady fanatic. I love Tom Brady. I actually just watched his documentary.
Man in the Arena.
Man in the Arena. Yeah, amazing first episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I watched.
How many episodes is it?
I forgot how many are.
10. I'm upset that they're dropping it now.
What's it on?
ESPN Plus.
Oh.
I'm upset that they're dropping it now. It should have been done after he retired. But
the first episode is about his rookie and second season.
This is interesting.
And the drama behind him and Drew Bledsoe. Quarterback controversy. I watched it with my dad. My dad had no idea that Tom Brady was picked in the 6th round.
Really?
Yeah, he had. So when he was like, "Wow, that's crazy," I was like, "Yeah,
he's nuts."
I was like, "That's why I love Tom Brady. He's the GOAT."
You was geeked about it and watching it.
I love Tom Brady, bro. He's one of my favorite, not only football players but humans. He's just a great dude overall. You watch his interviews, he's a good guy.
He is.
Like even Drew Bledsoe, when he was getting interviewed, he was like, it was hard to deal with, like losing my job like that, because Drew Bledsoe got paid $100 million, got hurt, and Tom Brady replaced him. Imagine a quarterback getting paid $100 million, 10-year contract for a 6th-round rookie to take your spot. And Drew Bledsoe, that year they won the Super Bowl. Like the year that Tom Brady started, they won the Super Bowl. In the AFC Championship, Drew Bledsoe played against the Steelers because Tom Brady was rattled in that game. He was out of sorts. Bledsoe won that game, and Belichick still elected to start Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. That's crazy,
At least he
bro.
got paid.
And Drew Bledsoe was like, what made it easier was that Tom Brady was a good guy. He wasn't an asshole about it. So, he's a good dude, man. So I like Tom Brady. But that's why I think he's going to win MVP. I don't see Taylor winning it. And these next games, specifically this one, this upcoming weekend, they have the Bucs. They have the best rush defense in the NFL. If Jonathan Taylor can go crazy against them, I think it solidifies him a bit more in the conversation. But then after the Bucs, you got the Texans, Patriots, Cardinals, Raiders, Jags. The 3 teams.
He's gonna eat.
The 3 teams that can stop him are the Bucs, Patriots, and Jags. Jags actually have a very, very good run defense. Raiders can't stop the run. They're pass rush oriented with Crosby and Ngakoue. Cardinals can't stop the run. Texans can't stop the run. So those are going to be 3 big games. But in terms of the Bucs, Patriots, and Jags, I think the Patriots and Bucs for sure will contain him.
You know what's funny, though? The Bills were the #1 rush defense prior to facing Jonathan Taylor.
I'll be honest,
and
bro.
And he made them 16th.
I'll be honest, bro.
Off 1 game.
That's crazy. I will say this, though. He has the yards, and like on paper, it looked like he had a big time game. Even watching the game, he had some big time runs. The touchdown numbers kind of skewed
because there are a lot of turnovers.
Yeah, the turnovers, they put him in the red zone. I mean, Taylor had the first drive of the game, Carson Wentz drove them down. Taylor scored on a goal line run. Then they got a turnover. He scored in the goal line. He got the touchdown reception.
Touchdown reception was crazy.
The touchdown reception, it was like a 30-plus yard touchdown reception. That was the biggest play of the game. But yeah, I thought two of those touchdowns were like, wow. Taylor,
he's a freak.
This entire drive, he really led them.
Yep.
3 of them were caused by turnovers, and one of them was like one of the drives that Carson Wentz led, and then he just kind of ate the scraps. But so yeah, the touchdown numbers were kind of skewed, but he still had a big time game.
One thing is that Bucs defense changes without Vita Vea in the lineup. When he's not there clogging up the middle of that interior line, it's not as
they have Steve McClendon.
Chet legend. It's not as scary. I would be more scared personally about the Patriots because we know they take away the number one option. It's a bit harder to take away a running back because you have to contain basically the entire offensive line and the running back compared to receiver or tight end when you're just going out and it's one-on-one, or when the Patriots it's going to be 2-on-1.
I was going to say, even when they faced off against the Titans, they couldn't stop Derrick Henry. So it's hard to stop a guy when he's really getting going.
Who can't stop Derrick Henry?
I'm saying the Patriots didn't stop Derrick Henry when they played against.
How long ago?
Was that 2 years ago now?
In the playoffs?
Yeah, in the playoffs. where he had 200 yards.
They faced this weekend.
I understand that. I'm just saying.
Without Henry, though.
That's facts.
Yeah, I mean, but that's a long time ago. There's different rosters.
No, I understand,
but still Belichick. I'd rather have Belichick than a different
Wasn't that
roster.
like the number one defense in the league at the time?
They were.
No, I don't think.
Yeah, that year they were.
2019?
When
Oh,
Gilmore,
yeah.
they were.
2019.
That was the year that they faced a cupcake schedule.
Yes. Yep.
They had a cupcake schedule. Against good teams, they got exposed.
They were crazy in fantasy. I remember them. I played our friend Max one week. They had 40 points for defense.
That's
like that Patriots team. They faced the Ravens that year in primetime. They got smoked out by the run.
Yeah.
But I think they can stop Jonathan Taylor in that game. It's this weekend, so we're going to see sooner rather than actually. It's not this weekend. They face the Titans. The Colts face the Bucs, so we'll see them against that.
We'll see them back-to-back weeks.
No, after that it's the Texans, then it's the Patriots.
So it's Bucs.
2 of the 3 weeks we're gonna see them for sure. But yeah, I just think that the Patriots corners match up well with the Colts receivers. I think Michael Pittman probably gets taken out that game.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Bills, again, their secondary, obviously, I think they were also number one against wide receivers also, and Pittman was getting open. They just didn't necessarily need to feed him the ball because they were up so many times, but Pittman had space to make some plays if Wentz hit him, truthfully.
I guess, but Trey White has not been...
This season, he's been solid.
He's been okay. He hasn't been J.C. Jackson, though.
It's also that they haven't played anyone, and I agree. J.C. Jackson
J.C. Jackson with Jonathan Jones. The Patriots... play man all day.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the Colts receivers can shake them up. I think they're going to have to rely on the run. And if they can take out those receivers playing man, they'll stop the run pretty easily.
Okay.
But we'll see.
It'll be interesting,
it's a couple weeks away, so we'll see. 2 teams in the AFC that once were at the top of the AFC, the Titans currently still are the Buffalo Bills and the Tennessee Titans. The Bills lost to the Colts this past week, and the Titans lost to the Texans. Now, which team do you trust more going forward? The Buffalo Bills or the Tennessee Titans?
Want me to go first again? All right, well, against popular belief, I'm going Titans, truthfully. Bills, obviously, up until this point, been hit or miss. And you look at Josh Allen. Josh Allen has great games. Josh Allen has okay games. The biggest issue, which I've been preaching all season long, is the run game. They haven't had a 100-yard rusher one time this season. They got very close. I believe either week 2 or week 3, they had 80-something yards. I think that was Devin Singletary. But I'm looking at Tennessee's rest of schedule, and I'm expecting Derrick Henry to come back week 17. And I just think that the Titans are going to be in a better position. You've definitely opened my eyes to their defense. Their defense has been great this year. Last couple of weeks been struggling a little bit. Obviously, it's a division game against the Texans. I'm not going to scrutinize them too much for that because in division, anything can happen. That's just the way football is. But the rest of the schedule, obviously, the Patriots and Titans is going to be a great game. Other than that, Jaguars, winnable game, more than winnable game. But again, division, who knows? But I do believe they'll win. Steelers, I'm not a huge fan of the Steelers, truthfully, although they did look really good against the Chargers. I think that the Titans could pull that one out. They just know how to manage a game really well. Against the Niners, I think the Titans could pull that one out. Against the Dolphins, obviously, Dolphins' defense is not that great, so Titans could pull that one out. And against the Texans, I doubt that they lose both games against the Texans this year. And if Derek's coming back week 17, we know this team is completely different when he's in the lineup. And that's only going to open up the pass game with a struggling pass game right now at least, and it's because they don't have their main offensive weapon. But you bring Derrick Henry back into that lineup. A.J. Brown's back to being A.J. Brown. Who knows if Julio's going to come back? Obviously, he's on the IR, but that would be nice to see him come back as well. I just think as a whole, I trust Mike Vrabel. I trust Ryan Tannehill a little bit more as opposed to the Bills, who just seem to be too inconsistent for my liking. They're very one-dimensional. Obviously, that defense is really good, but they played against a lot of bad teams, and that's helped their ranking up until this point. And then, obviously, they play a great team in the Colts, and they get smoked out. I'm not saying that I think the Bills are a bad team. That's not what I'm saying at all.
The Colts are great?
You trust Tannehill over Josh Allen?
I trust Mike Vrabel more importantly.
And Sean McDermott?
Sean McDermott, last year he had a good run against.
I think they're in the same tier of coaches.
I agree.
It's true, but Mike Vrabel, I think, knows how to manage a game better than Sean McDermott does.
Okay. This was hard because both teams are not playing their best. But I'll be honest, I just trust the Bills to get it going eventually. I think their defense is still very good. You're right. They haven't beaten a lot of teams. They've only beaten one team over 500. That was the Kansas City Chiefs. And at the time, they weren't even 500, and their defense stunk. Now their defense is very good. Chris Jones has been elite.
He's been crazy.
Charvarius Ward coming back has been huge for them as well because their secondary has been really great as well these past couple of weeks. Look, versus the Colts, the Bills, they just started off slow. Watching the game, I just thought that they dug themselves in a hole, and it was too hard to get out of. It was 17-7. They had just stopped the Colts. They were about to punt, or I think the coaches hit a field goal that made it 17-7. In the kickoff, Isaiah McKenzie fumbles the ball, and it puts the Colts in perfect position to score. Now they're up 24-7. There was really no way to get out of that game. It was already kind of over. It just bad start. Do I expect them to do it again, to be that sloppy? I really don't. And then the first drive of the second half, Dawson Knox and Gabriel Davis dropped passes that could have been first downs. And Tyler Bass missed 2 kicks. So just their entire team was just discombobulated that game. But with that being said, even though Josh Allen has been up and down this season, he still has 21 touchdowns to 9 picks. He's still the Bills' leading rusher. He's 9th in QBR right now. He's still graded out as one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Josh Allen has still been good. I do think he sometimes tries to make every single throw, which is why turnovers appear, but he can make those throws, and he's proven he can make them.
No doubt.
He's just taking risks. He's a gunslinger. I feel like the Bills sometimes are too Josh Allen reliant. I want them to start running the ball more with Matt Breida. He's their best running back. Devin Singletary, receiving-wise, he's okay. Zach Moss, he's slow. Matt Breida is their best running back. Whenever he gets the ball, you see an explosive run.
Is that saying much?
I saw that report today that this upcoming game might be a Matt Breida game, and I was like, this is what it's come to. Matt Breida,
That's what I'm
bro.
saying. Like, listen, I think Breida does have the speed for sure, and they definitely need that, and that's why they don't trust Devin Singletary per se.
Even that game against the Jets, he played like 30% of snaps. Like, he's barely out in the field. He's just not a workhorse, obviously. Now he's going to be mixed in with everybody else.
He is their explosive runner.
He's
the one that he can
'Cause-
bounce a run and get 20-plus yards. The other guys can't do it. I don't trust the Titans because of Ryan Tannehill. And I said it a couple weeks ago that the Titans are done because they don't have Derrick Henry. Now, their defense has been great. You talked about their defense against the Texans. I thought their defense was great against the Texans. And people, because the Texans beat the Titans, people want to start this narrative that Tyrod Taylor is underrated. While I do think Taylor is underrated, this wasn't the game to prove that. It wasn't the game. There were only 2 drives the entire game where the Titans let the Texans drive down the field and actually score. And one of them was a field goal. The other one was a touchdown. All their other points came off of turnovers by Tannehill, putting the Texans in field goal range already. Like, there was one time, there was this one interception in the first interception that Tannehill threw, which was in the first quarter, Gruger Hill took it like 70 yards. He had the Texans at the red zone, and the Titans only allowed a field goal. I mean, their defense was that great. Elijah Molden has really come into his own. Jeffrey Simmons has been playing like a top defensive tackle in the NFL. He's a top 3 DT this year for sure. But Tannehill he's regressed. And the film the last 2 years, he's looked like a top 15, I would say even top 10 quarterback. This year, he has not been top 15. He has 13 touchdowns to 12 interceptions on the season. And all these advanced numbers like QBR and PFF grades are going to show you that Tannehill has actually been better than advertised. But this is his second worst passer rating of his career. Actually, third worst. Rookie season and his second season are only worst ones. He threw 4 picks against the Texans. It should have been like 7. He was really freaking bad.
He was.
He threw 3 interceptions in the fourth quarter alone. In the fourth quarter alone. His second interception, which was the first of the fourth quarter, it was on this back shoulder throw that really probably should have never threw it because it was like at kind of in the middle of the field. The corner read it. It was an easy interception. Third interception, he got hit, and it came out kind of weird. But the play before that, he should have thrown an interception, but the defensive back just didn't catch it. Then the fourth one, he was intercepted by Terrence Mitchell. He thought he was playing a flat, but he just went because it was an out route. He thought he was playing a flat, but he confused Tannehill, and he picked it off. And even on his fourth interception, the play before, he got strip sacked, but recovered it. I mean, he had like 7 potential turnovers in that game alone. And the Titans only gave up 22 points. I thought their defense played astounding, but I can't trust Tannehill. I don't know what it is this year. People are going to say...
I can tell you. He has no weapons.
Okay, that's fine and all. People are going to say Tannehill's not playing well because he has no weapons. Julio hasn't played. The receivers aren't good. The tight ends aren't good.
The line's not good.
I agree, 100%. Mm-hmm. I will say this. Tannehill, pass blocking wise, the Titans suck at that. Their receivers aren't good outside of AJ. Julio has not been reliable at all. Maybe Golden Tate signing him brings something to their offense. I doubt it at this point. Mm-hmm. He's more of a household. He's more of a brand name than an actual productive player. But at some point, you just have to be smarter with the ball. At some point, you can't put your defense in worse positions. Tannehill is putting his defense in worse positions. Great quarterbacks don't do that. And as a quarterback who is playing at a top 10 quarterback level, you have to do that. You have to continue to do that. This year, he hasn't done it. There have been 15 quarterbacks better than Tannehill this year. He's been careless with the football. He's been inaccurate. And maybe it's Arthur Smith leaving. Maybe it's the weapons. Maybe it's a combination of all these things because things aren't perfect around Tannehill.
Yeah.
But we all know that real franchise quarterbacks show themselves when the situation isn't perfect. And right now, the situation isn't perfect for Tannehill, and he's not great. And he's been average at best. Average at best.
I can give you that.
Even in Miami, bro. Like in Miami, he didn't have. In Miami, he didn't have great rosters, and he still played better than this.
Solid. This one I feel like is particular. Fair enough. Agreed. This one's particular. Obviously, Lowen's getting hurt. He's in and out of the lineup. The whole line as a whole has just not been good. You have A.J. Brown in and out of the lineup. Obviously, when he's in, he's been okay. But even this most recent week, Nick Westbrook, I don't want to butcher his last name, Akeen, I don't know. I apologize to you.
Nick Westbrook, Chester Rogers.
But he had 7 receptions, 107 yards. He's throwing to these guys, and he's still letting them have productive games. A.J. Brown only had 5 for 48. Hillard was their next best, and he just got brought onto the roster. 8 receptions for 47
Hilliard's
yards.
Hilliard's a running back, though.
I agree. That's exactly my point. He has no weapons outside. Julio has screwed the Titans royally. Jonnu Smith leaving has been more detrimental than what Titans fans have thought.
So can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So how, you
and Corey Davis, obviously.
You've talked about the Titans' injuries. He's spoken about the Titans' injuries. So wouldn't that be you wouldn't trust them more than the Bills, considering the fact that they're not healthy. They haven't been healthy all year. And Julio, even when he's healthy, he hasn't looked good at all.
And think about it like this, though. With all that's happening, they're still winning.
No, 100%. But
8-3.
Playoff time is different.
Their defense has been elite.
It has been. And once Derek comes back, every problem solved.
Look,
you think so?
I do think so.
So you think a running game is going to propel them
When
through
you
the
have
AFC?
Derrick Henry, 100%.
I'm not defending the Titans' weapons. The Titans' weapons are not good.
No.
Their offensive line, pass blocking wise, is not good. With that being said, a bad read is still a bad read.
Agreed.
A bad throw is still a bad throw.
Agreed.
And Tannehill is making bad throws. He's making bad reads. He's not seeing defenders. Every single one of his interceptions that he threw against the Texans was a horrible read. Like, why are you even throwing that? In the fourth quarter, 3rd and 10, when they need something, he had a receiver wide open in the flat, and he decided to throw it to his tight end, Anthony Fursker, for like 4 yards when the receiver in the flat had a walk-in touchdown, basically. A safety was there, but it would have definitely put them at the goal line. A bad read is a bad read, and that's what Tannehill's making. So even though I understand that argument about the weapons, he's still not making the proper reads. Guys are open. He's just not making the throws.
For me, it's just as simple as the Titans haven't been healthy. That Julio hasn't been the same. They both have been in out the line. Derrick Henry's not going to come back till week 17 with Ryan Tannehill's regression. I mean, the Titans defense has been elite, but for me, the Bills, I have to trust the Bills because I just like Joel said, I think they're just going to figure it out with Josh Allen being still one of the best quarterbacks in the league. You still got Stephon Diggs. You still have Sean McDermott. Yes, the running game isn't there, but this is a pass-heavy league, and Josh Allen is a guy who can make plays with his feet and with his arm, and that defense is still good. It hasn't shown it all too well. This team has been inconsistent all year, yeah, of course, but best availability is the best ability, and the Bills have been relatively healthy, and their star guys have been on the roster and they've been playing. So I trust those guys to get it going more. Ryan Tannehill, he's gonna be this bad for probably the rest of the year. He's just gonna this is probably what he's gonna be this year. Julio's probably gonna be in and out of the lineup for the rest of the year. Derrick Henry, you're putting a lot on Derrick Henry to come back week 17 and propel this team in the playoffs. That's a lot. He hasn't played in a long stretch, and now you're putting all this pressure on him with Tannehill walking into the playoffs, with Tannehill not playing well. And we've seen in the past this team relies heavily on Derrick Henry in the playoffs. Granted, it's got him to the AFC Championship at one point, but also it's got him out, if I'm not mistaken, first round to the Ravens, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, so to the Ravens. So it's gotten him bounced out early. It's got him on a lucky run to the AFC Championship. But you're putting a lot on Derrick Henry, and with the Buffalo Bills, they just have so many weapons. I just trust them to get it going more.
I just think there's two one-dimensional. I look at the Titans and I look at the Bills. I can scheme against the Bills. I know what they're going to do. They're going to pass the ball. You have Josh Allen.
What are the Titans going to do?
That's the thing with Derrick Henry. You really can't scheme. You have to scheme for Derrick Henry, and that's when Tannehill's is most dangerous.
We're putting a ton on Derrick. First of all, we don't know if he's coming back week 17.
And that's very, very fair. I'm going off the assumption that Derrick Henry comes back week 17 because, one, he's a physical freak.
So Saquon.
He came back, though. He came back.
And he wasn't great.
He wasn't bad, though. You're saying the first ankle injury, you're saying. Or you're saying this year?
Both.
Well, he still rushed for over 1,000.
What are you talking
that
about?
year, that's what I'm saying. Yes. That first ankle injury,
I know,
we're not rushed for 1,000.
But Henry's coming back and not playing the whole season. We're expecting Henry to come back. The Titans and Giants are different because the Giants don't give Saquon 30 carries. Yep. The Titans give him 30 carries, and it's a lot to ask him.
You expect him to come back and play at that level he was playing when he left.
2 months of no football, he's got to come back and play and have 30 carries and carry the team. That's a lot.
His presence alone will allow the offense to open up.
Yes, I agree. To an extent, though. Because if he's not as explosive as a runner, breaking as many tackles, the whole offense changes. Because the presence can work for a half, a quarter, but if he's not making as many guys miss, breaking off those runs, it's different.
Look at the game against the Colts. He broke his foot in that game. This was probably by far and away his worst game of the season. I think he had under 70 rushing yards, and he still won the game. You still have a 60% Derrick Henry. At that point, he probably was at 40%. And they still were able to win the game because of just having Derrick Henry on the field. Defenses have to scheme differently for you. You have the best. We spoke about it earlier in the show. When he's healthy, he's by far and away the best running back in the league, without question. As long as he's on the field, things are different.
I think the Titans have been doing okay running the ball. Like, Deontay Foreman has been okay.
That's the
last 3 games. Adrian Peterson got cut, and I was surprised by it because he had a really good game against Houston.
Sorry to hear that for
I hate the running back by committee personally. I understand it in this scenario. If you look at last game, obviously they weren't in a great situation.
They still rushed for over 100.
They did.
But they had 69 yards against the Rams, 66 Sorry, 69
Well, it's against
runs
the Texans.
Rams, and
That's
66
why.
against the
Yeah.
Saints. So you are working with Deontay Foreman and Adrian Peterson. So it's going to be a huge letdown from Derrick Henry. And if they can't run the ball, and I really can't just put all my eggs in one basket and be like, Henry's going to come back week 17, even if it is week 18, unless they could somehow get a bye and give him an extra week off, then okay, maybe things change. But if not, if he has to come right back into the lineup and they have to give him 30 carries, that's a lot to ask for him.
And I agree, but we've seen superstar players come in one game of the season and be a superstar. Specifically, that comes to mind, Terrell Owens in the Super Bowl against the Patriots had over 100 yards receiving. Percy Harvin hadn't played the entire season, plays in the Super Bowl, arguably could have been Super Bowl MVP. There's just different caliber type players that you put your faith in.
Yeah.
100% Derrick Henry's one of those guys.
Yeah, he's a freak.
We're talking about the Bills and Titans, but realistically, and what's going to happen is that the Chiefs or Patriots are going to make it out the AFC.
Sleep on the Colts, man.
The Colts are
I'm
Sleep on the Colts.
They got to
I
get
am
in first, bro.
sleeping.
Bro, they're 6-5. They easily can make a wild card. Anything can happen in this
I was
AFC.
surprised.
They can make it, but the Chiefs and Patriots will
They're
be
scary.
they will
scary.
meet in the AFC Championship.
Those are my top two seeds right
Yeah,
now.
man. I think so, too.
When we did the original topic of the AFC, they were my top two. I think the Chiefs are going to get the 1 seed.
No way. That would be something.
It could be the Patriots.
So what did
Yeah,
I'm
the
sorry.
only team bum is the Titans.
So wait, they have 6 wins or 7 wins?
7 and
Chiefs have 7
7
wins.
and
Chiefs have
4, I
7.
wanna say.
Chiefs are 7 and 4.
Really?
Patriots face the Titans this Sunday. I'm gonna just let you give you guys a little preview. I know that whenever we do these, Titans fans always say, "Oh, watch," because when I picked the Rams against the Titans, they said that the Titans were gonna win. They did win, but they won't beat the Patriots. They won't beat the Patriots. The Patriots are
Vrabel
going.
is an underrated
The
coach.
Patriots are going to dominate the Titans. That's my hot take for this week.
Yeah, I mean, especially look at this Titan. If A.J. Brown is going to be questionable for this game, he has a chest injury. He also had a hand injury at some point earlier in the game. And, I mean, like Drew said, the weapons that they have. Bill Belichick is going to have no problem shutting down this offense.
I agree.
And Mac Jones is not going to – there's going to be no issue with them moving. You guys think Tennessee's defense is elite? I think it's good. I don't think it's elite. They're not the Patriots, the Bills, the Packers that good. They're a different tier down. They're okay on third down. They do a good job getting to the quarterback, but turnover differential too. I mean, a lot of that has to do with Tannehill not being able to protect the ball. In terms of points per game, which is kind of not a sticky stack, especially when you get into those blowouts, they're middle of the pack as well. So I don't think their defense is elite enough to keep them in these games when Derrick Henry's not playing or if A.J. Brown's down. But I agree with you. I think the Patriots are going to have their way with the Titans.
I mean, that's true because the only reason why the Titans won the game against the Texans is because the Texans, they couldn't score on the Titans. If the Patriots are getting those turnovers, they're going to score. They're going to score touchdowns, not field goals on those drives. And the Patriots, we know they capitalize on opportunities. They are looking scary.
One thing I'll say about the Titans defense, though, early in the year, they were giving up a lot of points. I remember on a show we were talking, they were 25th, the 25th lowest in terms of points given up per game. So would you say they're middle of the pack now?
Yeah, they average 23 points a game given up.
Which basically means to me is that slowly but surely this defense has been coming together, especially with Derrick Henry. They have to do a job and they have to step up, and they've been doing so.
Yeah, and on to the next topic. This is the biggest NBA headline this week outside of the LeBron James and Isaiah Stewart
That was hilarious.
fiasco.
That was nuts.
Luke Walton.
Your boy was scared.
It was nuts.
Isaiah Stewart's going to put him down. He started running charge in Westbrook.
Who's the one with the bloody face?
Who would win in a fight, though?
I don't want to talk about this.
I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Isaiah Stewart's from Jersey, though.
Anything I say, I'll sound biased.
So we got to root for him.
We're in Jersey.
Yeah, we got to root for him.
Where? Do you
Oh,
know?
where?
It's from like South Jersey. Like,
Yeah.
all right.
Listen, he was one of my top 5 breakouts of the 2020 draft, so
And it's not going well.
I mean, he hasn't been playing awful.
He hasn't been playing breakout.
Nah, not breakout.
The average is 9 and 7.
He's on the Pistons. I'll give him a break. I'll give him a break.
No, he's just average.
Yeah, he's average.
He's good. He's all right.
I mean, among the centers in that draft
No,
class,
these new era centers that are coming in about
Yeah,
to change the game.
I hope so.
Not for us. Starts with Mobley. He's coming with
Definitely.
the Chet.
Definitely.
Then Victor's gonna come in.
So you're higher on Shet now?
I just think he's gonna change the
Nah,
game. a little bit.
Wembanyama, I think, is that guy.
You got Jalen Duren. This bigs are coming back.
That's lit. I'm
Jalen
excited.
Duren, I'm excited about.
Yeah, bigs
He's
are
a
coming
young
back.
Patrick Ewing.
You think Patrick? I was thinking Bam.
No, I'm playing. I haven't
Oh.
seen him play yet.
I thought you were dead serious.
No, I haven't seen him play.
Oh yeah.
I haven't seen him play yet. So Luke Walton got fired. The Sacramento Kings gave him the boot. Alvin Gentry is the interim head coach. They started 6-11 in the season, and The GM was like, you know what? Enough. I see where this is headed. Enough is enough. Luke Walton has finished 31-41 in back-to-back seasons. The Kings have not reached the postseason since 2006. And with this firing, Luke Walton goes down as the second most winningest coach in Sacramento Kings history, only behind Rick Adelman. So shout out to Luke Walton.
You're a legend, man.
Second place. Let's go.
Kings legend.
So
Doesn't take much.
the question is, Luke Walton, he's fired. Does this fix the Sacramento Kings and their future? Do they now have a better direction than they had with him? I'll start with you, Riv.
But this is actually funny because we was in the Discord the other day, like arguing about this, about Luke Walton and this team, and there's a bit of a, I'm on the other side of, I don't think the Kings are talented. I'm sure Drew thinks they're talented. I think Joel thought for a portion that they're a good team. They can make the plan. I'm not too high on Sacramento, but I think we can all agree firing Luke Walton was the first thing they needed to do.
Thank God.
He's not a good coach. He's not good with substitutions. He's not good with offense. He's really not good. He's just not good at all. He doesn't do anything good but stand there and yell. So getting him out of there was the first thing. Sacramento, Alvin Gentry, I don't think he's a particularly bad coach. I think he's kind of just a whatever, kind of just a like, all right, you throw him in. But I think this is definitely the first step. But now they have to sit here and figure out who are they going to find to really build this young group? De'Aaron Fox, Davion Mitchell, Tyrese Halliburton. Like, who are they going to find that's going to gel and thrive with this young group outside of Alvin Gentry? That's the first thing, getting a coach. A coach usually fixes problems. It fixes the talent problem. It fixes the young youth problem. It fixes things. So you get a coach that can come in and build the foundation, build the culture. It definitely builds up a franchise. And with Sacramento Kings team that hasn't made the postseason in a long time, they need to build a new culture. So it starts with definitely firing Luke Walton.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Luke Walton definitely halted their development as a whole. You look at Marvin Bagley, and obviously his first season with the Kings, and he's only regressed since then. This could be interesting to see if now that Luke Walton's gone, if Marvin Bagley's going to have.
Do you think he plays now?
That's the question, truthfully. I don't know. I would like to see it. Then you can solely blame Luke Walton for his failures or woes because he really hasn't failed to a degree. But this season, he hasn't showed up, barely playing any minutes, refuses to accept the role that he's been given. But maybe now with the new coaching change, new aura around the squad, maybe he'll be more willing to accept a new role, or maybe the Kings just decide to incorporate him into the offense a little bit more. Alvin Gentry I like that replacement, truthfully. Obviously, you look at what happened when he was on the Pelicans. I thought he was let go a little bit too soon. I didn't like that. I just thought that the Pelicans were young, and it wasn't necessarily his fault that they had lost. He took them to playoffs. To the playoffs. Has a playoff series win underneath his belt against a decent Portland team.
Underdog, actually.
Definitely, they should not have won that series. AD was fantastic. Drew Holiday had Dame in hell. They moved on. Obviously, got swept by the Golden State Warriors. It happens. That was one of the best teams ever. Alvin Gentry's a decent replacement. And you asked me, do I think they're talented? I do. De'Aaron Fox is one of the better young talents in the league. Tyrese Halliburton, good young up-and-coming player. Davion Mitchell is fantastic defensively. His offensive game is going to get going eventually. I do believe so. Buddy Hield, solid 3-and-D player. Harrison Barnes has been a very firm player for the Kings this year. Their leading scorer as of right now. And now I want to see Marvin Bagley get going. Rashawn Holmes is a beast. That should be. I love Rashawn Holmes. I love his. He's a beast. He is
crazy.
No, it is not.
Yo, it is.
He is
beast.
He's mad good.
Okay, there we go.
He's mad good.
All right, there we go.
I really like his game. I'm really interested to see how Alvin Gentry decides to bring in Marvin Bagley, if he's going to bring in Marvin Bagley or incorporate him into this new offense or whatever type of scheme that he's going to get going. But it'll be interesting now with the new coaching change.
Luke Walton being fired doesn't fix anything. Maybe it's a start to something, hopefully, for Kings fans. Marvin Bagley playing might not be the best thing for them because Marvin Bagley's not a good player. He's one of the worst defensive big men in the NBA.
It's weird.
He can't shoot. He's not a good mid-range shooter. He is what Evan Mobley. He is what everyone thought Evan Mobley was. I think I worded that wrong. I think I did word that wrong.
I really think you did too.
Evan Mobley is what everybody thought Marvin Bagley was going to be.
There we go.
That's exactly how I wanted to word it. Marvin Bagley's just not good. And it's as simple as that. It's not Luke Walton because players have shown before that even with bad coaching, they can thrive in situations. I think it's very easy to just look at Luke Walton and say he's the reason why the Kings suck. But in reality, this year at least, De'Aaron Fox has not been good. De'Aaron Fox has been extremely inefficient. He's averaging 20 points per game, 19.9 to be exact. Last year, he averaged 25. He's down to 5.6 assists per game. He's down to 42% from the field, 24% from three. And when you listen to De'Aaron Fox in press conferences, he just looks disinterested. He doesn't look like a leader. He doesn't look like the cornerstone for a franchise. Is he a very talented player? Absolutely. Do I think he can lead a franchise? I don't think he can. I don't think he's Ja Morant. And we had that debate in the offseason. Ja Morant has taken off. He's done more in his short career than De'Aaron Fox, plain and simple.
Sure. It was disrespectful to Ja.
Then Tyrese Halliburton. Last year, he shocked a lot of people with his rookie season because nobody expected Tyrese to play that well. But this year, he's been the same player. And I compared him to Malcolm Brogdon last year, which is pretty fair because Malcolm Brogdon's pretty much been the same player. That he's gotten a little bit better, but is he an all-star caliber player? No. Tyrese Halliburton, I think the Kings, the biggest problem with the Kings is that they can't draft. It's plain and simple. When you're a small market team, you're not getting free agents. So you have to be able to win trades and you have to be able to draft well. Let's look at their past draft. They drafted Davion Mitchell, who, yeah, that's a good pick. But when you have Tyrese and De'Aaron Fox already at your guard positions, do you need Davion Mitchell?
You didn't need him.
You maybe could have went with Chris Duarte and he could have played the three or Moses Moody.
They needed defense.
Not even that. It's.
I mean, defensively, they're atrocious outside
Not
of
only
Davion.
that, but okay, let's talk about something else. Last year, 2020 draft, they drafted Tyrese Halliburton. Yeah, I think at that time he was the best player available, but you could have went with a wing in Sadiq Bey. Tyrese Maxey has been better than Tyrese Halliburton and Desmond Bane. Even him.
But do you
later
trust
in
the Kings' development? That's where it gets.
Buddy Hield is basically
tricky.
Desmond Bane. That's probably why they didn't.
Desmond Bane is better.
I don't know.
He is, bro.
I don't know.
Desmond Bane is better, bro.
The same guy.
No. You just looked at me and said, no, he's not the same guy, but he is the same guy.
Because it's like they're on the same level.
Desmond Bane's better defensively.
Desmond Bane can handle the ball better and play make better.
Desmond Bane cannot handle the ball.
I don't think so,
Buddy
man.
Hield.
Buddy Hield, he's a special offensive guy. To a degree.
Wait.
He can shoot. I mean, he shoots the ball really well.
I didn't say that.
He could give you 25 any
I'm a
night.
special. Come on, bro. You
Y'all
just be
love
adding words.
Semantics. Y'all love semantics. That's fine.
You said Buddy Hield is a special offensive
I understand. He has special tendencies for sure.
Yo, bro, come on. Now you're being picky.
Now, you're making me be picky now.
Buddy Hield's.
He's good.
He's a lesser Kevin Martin.
Okay.
That's what he is.
Okay. Kevin Martin was a good ball player.
Yeah, he was good. Wasn't special. He was good though.
Okay, but even then, I think Tyrese was a good pick. But when you already have De'Aaron Fox as your lead guy, going guard in back-to-back years with Davion and Tyrese, it doesn't make sense. You could have got Sadiq Bey or Chris Duarte. I know they were hoping Franz was there, but he wasn't because Orlando took him. Then, I mean, this is the worst whiff of them all. This is like Darko Milicic level whiffs of drafts. You take Marvin Bagley with the second overall pick. You missed on Trey. You missed on Luka Doncic. You missed on Michael Porter Jr. You missed on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. You missed on Miles Bridges. I mean, all of those guys would have been better than Marvin Bagley. And then let's just look at their other history. 2016, they draft Marquise Chris with the 8th overall pick. 2015, they draft Willie Cauley-Stein with the 6th pick. Then they drafted Macklemore, Stauskas, and Thomas Robinson in back-to-back-to-back years in the top 10. I mean, these guys have all been bust. Nick Stauskas, he's probably in the G League. Ben McLemore is riding the bench. His best years came in Houston, and that's because James Harden makes anybody look good.
And there he makes his announcement. James Harden.
And Thomas Robinson, I actually thought he was going to be a good player.
So
he just never turned out to be a good player. So they have just drafted bust after bust. Thomas Robinson, Stauskas, McLemore, Willie Cauley-Stein, Marquise Chris, all top 8 picks by the Kings that are not with them in this current day right now. They have drafted bust after bust after bust. As much as we want to blame Luke Walton, I don't think he's a good coach either. This is the real problem. They can't draft.
But you look at the team they have right now. Is it necessarily untalented?
They're
That's not
they're
the
not
case.
they're not a playing team in the West.
They're not that good. I'm trying to tell you, bro.
I don't
And
know.
if
The
they are,
starting
they're the-
5 is not bad.
If they are, they're the 10th team.
I agree with that.
They-
But the starting 5 is not bad. There's no reason they should be a lottery team every single season with the talent that they have.
You have two players ultimately playing out of position in the starting line.
I would get you if De'Aaron Fox was playing at the same level he's playing.
Been bad
at.
this season.
Bad
for
been
his
mid.
for his
People
liking.
don't talk about this, because with the new foul rules, everybody has been highlighting James Harden and Damian Lillard, and they've picked it up as of recently. De'Aaron Fox has been really affected by the new foul rules. I mean, his free throw rate is lower. His efficiency has dropped tremendously. If you watch De'Aaron Fox last year to this year, he's not getting those calls because the game is much more physical, and it might take him the entire year to adjust to that, going into next offseason to prepare for that again. I think he's a good player, so he'll probably figure it out, but he's been really affected by these new foul rules.
I don't know, man. It's tough. It's tough for me.
Like I said, Walton
I hate
was
to
the
see it.
first.
I thought they really
Firing
could.
Walton was the first thing, and then obviously you have to look at Vlade, Divac, and them boys upstairs and be like, "Yo,
Divac is not there.
So who's up there?
I forgot the name. It's a new GM though.
When
But
Divac leave?
He left after Luke Walton's first year as coach, and that's why the GM was probably inevitably going to fire Luke Walton because
it wasn't his coach.
That wasn't his coach.
Because Divac made most of those picks.
Exactly. And now that Divac is gone, I mean, even though I'm trying to find a GM, Monte McNair.
Okay.
So that's him. So even to be fair, Vlade Divac made all those picks. The Chris pick, Macklemore, Stauskas.
Remember he said
made
Buddy
the
Hield
Bagley
was
pick.
like he said about Buddy Hield that he was like gonna be the next Steph Curry or something like that.
He said something like that. He drafted Bagley. Monte McNair is the one that drafted Hallie and
Mitchell.
Davion. Even though I don't think they were proper fits for their team, those are still good picks. Like, you can live with those picks. At least they have not shown to be busts.
Right.
Like, Stauskas, after year one, you kind of knew. Marquise Chris, the same thing. Cauley Stein, he was a project out of college. Thomas Robinson, you knew.
He was a senior project, which is
Who?
hilarious.
Thomas Robinson?
No, Cauley
You knew
Stein.
that he would be bad?
After his first year, absolutely.
After his first year, agreed. But coming out of the draft,
most
bro,
of
he
these
had
guys
promise.
after their first year, you knew they were not going to be
Cauley Stein, I thought.
lottery
Thomas
pick
Robinson,
worthy.
Kansas?
Yes. Cauley Stein, I knew who he was going to be.
But
He's the same
Halliburton,
guy.
if Hallie's not an all-star, he's definitely going to be a starter in the NBA. De'Aaron Fox, all-star caliber player. Rashawn Holmes, a good center. Then Davion Mitchell, 3-and-D Pat Bev type of player. At least you're going to get that from him. So at least they're not drafting busts now. Obviously, it's very early, but at least McNair's not been drafting busts. But for the Kings, for them to be good again, it all starts with drafting well. That's number one.
Next year, they got to continue on the pace.
And a team that doesn't draft well is Minnesota too. But they've lucked into 2 first overall picks, and they've hit on them with Cat and Anthony
2 home
Edwards,
runs.
which it's accelerated
They
them.
had 3. Wiggins, Cat, Edwards.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
That's
and
a fact.
They had 3.
I
Wiggins is
just
alright.
want to tell you, Timberwolves are on a 4-game winning streak. 8-9.
Didn't they play bums?
No, they didn't.
I'm asking,
There was
I'm
an away
asking.
stretch. Yo, why are you
I'm
hating on the
asking.
Timberwolves? Why are you hating
I'm
on the
asking.
Timberwolves?
I think they're a playing team. You said 5th seed.
They can be a 5th seed.
I said 8th, so we'll see about
Your
that.
Kings
So they
take's
blew
gonna
out
reek.
the Grizzlies
No, it's not.
by
They're only-
40.
they're only
Oh, I
6
remember
and
that
11.
game.
They beat the Pelicans. They blew out the Spurs, and they beat the Kings by 10.
Oh, okay.
But versus the Suns, they lost by 3.
Oh, okay. It's good. It's good L.
That is a good L.
It's good L.
As good as they come, I guess.
Okay, you said the Pelicans. Then you
Today
said,
they faced the Heat.
all right, let's see today. We'll see today.
They got a good stretch of games. Miami, Charlotte, Philadelphia.
Philly, hopefully Embiid can play.
I
just
think he's
wanna
going to
let
be
you
back
know-
soon.
The Timberwolves, this starting 5, Pat Bev, D'Lo, Vanderbilt, Edwards, and Cat, they have the second best net rating in the NBA out of all the possessions they played. They played over 100 possessions. The first one is actually the Knicks bench.
Are you sure?
So how much stock are we taking into this stat right now?
A lot, because the Timberwolves are noticeably better when
I
Pat
agree.
Bev and
I'm just
D'Lo are
saying
healthy.
in terms of like the best, or you said they're the second best or the best?
They're the second best behind the Knicks 5 off the bench.
I could have swore we was 1, but okay, I'll live with it.
Yeah, that starting five's nuts.
I thought he was 1.
That starting five's
Between
crazy.
guards, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Between guards, yeah. When when Levine, DeMar, and then Caruso and Lonzo are there, yeah. But
Scary hours.
the
man.
best five net rating wise in the NBA is D Rose, Quickly, Alec Burks, Obi, and Noel.
Makes
the
sense.
best
That's your
five.
best 5.
Oh yeah, it has been. But the Timberwolves are second with Pat Bev, D'Lo, Edwards,
They just have to
Vanderbilt,
stay healthy.
That's what I'm
and Cat.
They have to stay healthy.
No, I mean, yeah, D'Lo was injured for a couple games.
He has to pick it up
Pat
too.
Bev got
He was
suspended.
trash last night or whenever
to
they
pick it
played
up.
last.
I'm telling you, if D'Lo stays healthy, this team,
If
I'm
D'Lo
not giving up on his
if
team.
D'Lo, if
Inconsistent.
D'Lo stays healthy and stays consistent,
Correct.
then I'll jump
they
on.
can be the 5th seed.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. He just has to be consistent.
Bro,
and
you don't
be
think they're
healthy.
better than Denver when they're healthy?
when Denver's healthy,
When Denver's healthy, when Minnesota's healthy.
Well,
because that's unfair.
That's not unfair.
it's not
No,
unfair
if we're
because
saying
we
if
know
Minnesota's only healthy and Denver's not healthy, then obviously
Jamal
you
Murray
give-
is tore his ACL.
I understand, but he's supposed
Yeah.
to come back still.
Well,
Come
MPJ
back
just
later
MPJ
on,
got
though.
the little back thingy. That's bugging him. So
But that's
He
what
might
I'm
be
saying.
out for the season.
I understand, but you're saying you're giving
They
Minnesota
announced
the
it. He might be out
benefit
for
of
the
the doubt.
season.
MPJ out for the
Yeah,
season?
he might
Possibly.
be. Yeah.
what's Denver right now? You know, Portland's been winning games. They're
They
also
have been.
back in it too.
Dame's been cooking recently.
Yeah, I know. I remember that.
Whoa! What did I say?
No, I said they were a playing team.
They are.
They're like the 5th seed right now, or tied
They're
for
the
the 5th
fifth.
seed. Yeah, you guys are so disrespectful to Dame.
We'll see.
Okay, the 4th seed is Mavs right now. So it's Warriors, Suns, Jazz, Mavs, Clippers, Blazers, Grizzlies, Nuggets, Lakers, and T-Wolves.
You guys were so low on the Clippers and the Blazers, man.
I wasn't low on them.
You said playing.
I guess I had them 7.
Yeah, stop.
They
It's
can
a plan.
definitely still be a playing team.
Oh, we're talking right now. You know, the NBA is all about right now, in the moment. We're talking about right now.
Big right now guy.
I mean, the Suns are facing the Warriors when tonight? I think tonight, right?
No, Christmas.
Christmas.
Unless they play
Before
more,
Christmas.
yeah. I know for a
I
fact
could have
it's
sworn
Christmas.
they faced them soon. Tuesday, November 30th.
Oh, snap.
played-
Mad close.
That's when we go see Knicks, right?
Yes. I'm pretty sure, yeah. I think, look, before the season, I had the Suns as my 1st seed. I had the Warriors at 2. So I want to see how they play against each other.
I hope
Because the
everybody
Suns
plays
are
that
like on
day.
a 14-game win streak.
Yeah, I hope everybody plays.
Yeah, I hope so too. But
Basketball's
yeah,
been making me sad, guys.
the the Lakers.
Guys are
The
9 seed?
Knicks beat the Lakers.
That's crazy.
The Lakers suck, bro.
That's terrible.
Yeah, the Lakers do.
They're
suck.
legit hot doo-doo.
It's been hard. It's been hard to be me.
Shut
Yeah.
up.
It has been. Come on, man.
Bro's been following LeBron his whole life, and this is one bad year, and now it's
2.
all feel
Lost in
sorry
the
for
first
Brian.
round last year. Never happened to me.
I mean, you've seen L's a lot.
I've also seen W's.
Yeah, 3.
More than everyone at this table combined.
Sir.
Oh, my God.
What
I
you talking
guess he
about?
counts. I forgot. He got like 5 teams.
What you talking about here, buddy?
Forget it. You're right.
What you mean? Steph has 3 rings.
So, okay.
LeBron
at
has
the
4, so you-
Combined, I got it.
Oh.
I
No,
have one.
Boston.
Fair
I
enough.
won.
2008.
Yeah,
Hey,
we're
you're
good.
in.
See, you know, combine nothing. It's
All right,
just
we're
him.
tied. Sorry.
It's just him, bro.
Nah, bro. It's not just me. I've rooted for teams that have won before.
I was going to say Bulls in your lifetime. No way. Celtics won.
You tried to say no way. You're not even. All right, whatever. I'm not even gonna get into that with you.
When you were born, that was the last championship they won.
Literally, my birthday started the playoffs.
Yeah, you're the actual curse for the Bulls.
Why you figure?
You came into the world, Bulls.
That's interesting. Okay, we'll
Yeah.
go with that.
You came into the world of the Bulls.
Okay, we actually were good for a little portion.
When did you come into the world? 1998?
Yeah.
They won the championship that year.
98. That was
That's what I'm
it. He
saying.
came in.
But no, Ben
Done.
Gordon and Kirk Heinrich were good. Then we got D Rose, good.
Oof.
MVP,
No,
MVP. We
Imagine.
beat, we used to kill them, and then
Y'all
D-Rose
never won
got
a
hurt.
chip, though.
you guys won that one.
Didn't even go to a championship.
We played LeBron and D Wade, bro. We played D Wade in his last elite, you know what I'm saying? It was
Quit the
hard.
bitch in.
You guys built the wall on a 6'3" point guard.
Had
That's
to.
weird.
It's called smart. What are you talking about?
Okay.
Anyways.
All right.
Yeah. So before we go on to the next segment, a quick word from our sponsor, DraftKings. The NHL season is underway, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, has an unbelievable offer to celebrate the greatest sport on ice. New customers can bet just $1 on any NHL game and win $100 in free bets if either team scores a goal. Doesn't matter if it's a one-time clapper or a deft deflection, however they light the lamp, you win. If Sportsbook isn't available in your state yet, DraftKings won't leave you empty-handed. Everyone can play for huge cash prizes all season long with DraftKings Daily Fantasy Sports Contest. DraftKings is giving all new customers a free shot at millions of dollars in total prizes with their first deposit. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code TBPN. Throw down $1 on any NHL game and win 100 in free bets if either team scores a goal. This week, one puck in the net nets you a big win with promo code TBPN at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. And disclaimer, bet responsibly, please, guys.
Amen.
Always and forever.
Listen, I'm going to keep saying it every single episode until the Rangers let me down. Put that $1 on the Rangers. We scored 5 goals last game. We've been playing excellent hockey. We've only not scored 1 time this season. We have 11 wins. $1, put it on us to score.
So I was actually going to say something that to the audience real quick, that this helps us a lot. You know, when you guys use your promo code TBPN at DraftKings, if you don't have, I know a lot of people have DraftKings already because it's one of the more popular things, and that's why it's surprising that we're even promoting them, because they're one of the biggest gambling companies, sports gambling companies out there.
The best.
FanDuel, and I think it's like FanDuel and DraftKings, they're 1 and 2.
Yeah. FanDuel's in the trash. Throw it in the trash.
FanDuel's like for the hood guy.
I wish I was kidding. You want to lose money, open FanDuel.
DraftKings does right with all they do weekly specials. They always have player props open earlier than FanDuel does. DraftKings the move.
But yeah, it does help us a lot. It helps us pay the bills around here. You know, we just got an editor. Very proud of that.
Shout out,
now
John.
I can sleep earlier.
We do?
Yeah, John. He's in the chat.
Oh, right. My fault. I'll be asleep.
He knows so much about basketball, bro.
How do you pronounce his name? Is it Tortorelli?
I think it's Tortorelli.
Don Toretto?
Tortorelli.
Familia.
You're sick.
Tortorelli.
Let me ask you a question. When you do that, when you do that hockey thing, is it scripted or you like do that off the dome?
Off the dome ski.
Fire.
I'm a Rangers fan. Got to support.
Okay. No, but he knows a lot about basketball. The other day he hit up the chat like,
OD.
I just figured out the Markelle Fultz was
a very random
Markelle Fultz landed Tyrese Maxey. I was like, what? How is that even possible?
They came up.
And I get, tell him pop up, man.
No, right. He has I think about 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. But his work is really A1. Like, I think he deserves way more. And the fact that he's on our team and he's been wanting to edit and stuff, yeah,
he'll get his due. He'll get his credit eventually.
He's from Jersey?
He actually is. Yeah, he is from Jersey.
What spot?
Anyone outside of Jersey?
I forgot where from Jersey.
Is he a Bergen County head or Passaic County?
I think he probably might be from Bergen County. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I know that he probably lives like 25
give out his social too.
His first last name
155. Nah, but it's crazy, man. So tell me how, before we go on to the next segment, because the next segment are the mailbag questions.
Cool.
And then we'll finish off with NFL Pick'em. Actually, my dad currently, he's about to build a beach house in El Salvador. He's already bought land. And if you guys didn't know, like El Salvador right now, Bitcoin is their national currency.
Okay, Bob the Builder.
Yeah, Bitcoin is their national currency. The president has done an amazing job there. He has like a 100% approval rating. He's been crazy good, which is crazy because when I was younger, El Salvador was the #1 homicide capital of the world.
You're from El Salvador?
Yeah, I am.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought you were Dominican, bro.
I always get that. I get Puerto Rican or Dominican.
Yeah, it was gonna be one of those two. I didn't think El Salvador. Okay, cool.
I'm from El Salvador, and he's gonna try to build a beach house. Well, not try. He is gonna do it. He already bought the land. And he's thinking about moving out there. Oh. And at my dad's crib, he lives not too far away from me. I don't want to give out the city. I don't want to give out the city for I don't know who might be listening. Yeah, some ops
in El Salvador.
But just know the crib that he has in Jersey is a pretty nice crib. It has his own like gigantic garage. I'm talking about warehouse size garage. Like the fact that there's a commercial kitchen that he rents out to people so they can cook their stuff in there. It's a really... I
think I see where this is going.
It's a big space. And my dad was telling me, like, I'm thinking about selling it if I go. I was like, I'll fucking buy it. I was like, don't sell it. I'll live there. And I was like, I could turn the warehouse into the podcast studio.
That'd be nuts.
And the kitchen is literally... Right now it's a kitchen because, they cook in there. But I'm going to describe it to you guys. So there's a really big garage door. You open it up. There's about think about the size of this room, but double the size of this room. That's the walkway to the kitchen. Then there's stairs that goes up, and there's like an office there that, you can do whatever you want in there. So basically what I'm thinking is that walkway would be an entire lounge. And then where the kitchen is like twice the size of this room as well, like width and like lengthwise as well. And there, just model it out to soundproof it and all that.
Are we about to rip I Am Athlete? Have a chef come in mid-episode, feed us?
We can.
Yo, that'd be lit. Have you seen that? I Am Athlete? No? I'm blanking on her name. I don't want to disrespect her. She cooks a great food.
I didn't know they had chefs on there.
Just because you don't know her name is not disrespect,
It is.
bro.
You got to acknowledge them, obviously, by name.
But if you don't know the name, it's life.
I know.
7 billion people on Earth, bro.
Fair enough. You can't remember everybody's name.
No, but yeah, I've just been dreaming about that spot becoming the stew ever since he told me that.
That'd be
like
awesome.
even the backyard, there's a jacuzzi in the backyard, and
Your pops is rich.
I have to. It's a really cool space.
So we're bringing the shorties to the podcast too.
Got to.
Got to.
The 1%.
Bro said I'm grateful for my girlfriend.
Hey man, for y'all.
Oh,
Yo.
She's a part of the 1% too.
Ooh.
That's facts.
Do that.
The 1%. Wow.
God bless him. Shout out to that 1%. If you're that 1%, we appreciate you. We cherish you.
I think
we
it's like
love you.
0.1%. Not gonna lie.
Really? Hey, to that 0.1, which is probably Riv's girl and my girl from maybe like once every blue moon. Shout out to y'all.
But yeah, I'm just hoping that within like the next year or something like that could get going. Because obviously, I love this space, but I would want to actually be in like
A little bigger, probably.
a little bigger, but like an actual studio. Like, I think this is just fine, though. I mean, we've obviously been doing great with just this, but I want to have some, like, legit official thing. You know what I'm talking about.
You kidding me?
Like a separate spot.
It's crazy when people look back, when they view our new stuff a year from now and they look back and they see how far we've came. Like, we've had 3 different stages in studios. The first stage, we literally, for the first 3 episodes, we were going to New York and recording in, like, a WeWork studio with like a roadcaster and stuff like that. We paid somebody for the episodes to do them, to like, produce them. But I got mad at him because he didn't do a good job. And I said, I'm going to just do it on my own. So this room initially was all red. And this table's always been here. But this room initially was all red. Then I painted it gray. And
Nice color.
if you just go through the episodes, you can see the transformation. This has been the vibe of the studio for like the past maybe like 60 episodes though.
There was no
maybe
lights.
even more.
That was lights.
Yeah. But like you can see like the first episodes, you can see like the red walls. When we went to New York, the first 3 episodes, it's crazy, bro. The evolution
nuts,
of this.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
only
next
up.
year when it's even crazier, people are gonna be like, damn.
Look at them. Yeah.
Nah, next year will be crazy.
Yeah, I think
Very interested to see how it turns out.
this year's gonna be a big year.
For
And
real.
everybody is listening, they're a part of it. And today's episode, Thanksgiving Eve, that's why we want to thank our fans and supporters by answering their questions. So this is the first edition of Mailbag Questions by Pick a Side. So the first question up is from Senegal 221. Are the Lakers in trouble?
Right on cue.
They didn't have to do this to me. Obviously, I'll go first. Unfortunately, I don't want to say we're in trouble. Right now, we don't look great. It's hard when you don't have LeBron in the lineup consistently. It was unfortunate, this suspension. But even down 20 last night against the Knicks, we came back. We had a respectable game, went into the fourth quarter down 2. Our defense is just atrocious. And it's shocking to me, truthfully, especially with Frank Vogel, a defensive-minded head coach. He has not been good for us, not even at all this season. I would not be surprised if we moved on from him if our woes continue into next week or the week after. I just don't know how much better we can get defensively if Vogel, who has been excellent for us these past 2 seasons defensively, suddenly now cannot get a hold of this team. I don't want to say we're in trouble yet. I want to see us consistently play with this lineup of obvious THT, Russ, Anthony Davis at the 5, LeBron. That 4 is a question mark. I would love to see Melo start. I understand that his role is best suited off the bench right now. That 4 is in question. We still haven't seen Trevor Ariza get healthy. and come into the lineup. That's going to be huge for us defensively at least. I don't want to say we're in trouble, but I am starting to get a little bit worried, for obvious reasons.
No, yeah.
But I want to see us play consistent before I give my final verdict. I think we'll be okay ultimately. I do still think we'll make the playoffs. But right now, it's hard to look at the Lakers and think many positive things. But we were down big last night, came back, gave a decent fight. I think that we'll be ultimately all right in the end, but right now it's tough.
You know, it's cute how you're relying on a 36-year-old 3-and-D player to come back and just change reality. Trevor Ariza.
Okay, I almost threw up for a second.
LeBron?
I'm like, we're calling LeBron 3-and-D?
Yeah, the Lakers are in trouble, but not in a way where it's like, oh, it's over, the season's done's up. But no, they're in trouble right now, and they're in trouble because of multiple reasons. One, health. They haven't been healthy all year.
It's a fact.
You know, THT's been out the lineup. LeBron's been out the lineup. Trevor Ariza's yet to play. Kendrick Nunn was in and out the lineup. AD's been in and out the lineup. You know, Mr. Anthony Disney close. He's been in and out the lineup. The one consistent has been, the one consistent has been Russell Westbrook. He's been in the lineup for the most part, which is it's the worst thing if he's the most consistent. But yeah, they haven't been healthy. You know, another thing, you don't play defense. You know, Anthony Davis, as good as he's been, doesn't look like that defensive machine that he looked like.
Years prior.
Not last year, but the year before. He doesn't look like that guy. You know, he doesn't look that fast. He really does look like he's banged up with a couple injuries, or he looks a little bit a slow step. Offensively, he's been fine, but I think defensively is when it's Anthony Davis at his best when he's defensively at an elite level, and offensively he's at an elite level. He has been great. Westbrook still has yet to find his footing. He makes turnover, bonehead mistakes. His shooting is still awful. Even the commentators sometimes are like, "Yo, bro, what the hell?" So it's that. And then of course, I like that the Lakers fans think just LeBron coming back fixes things, right? You know, oh yeah, when we get LeBron back, yeah, we'll be good. No, you guys weren't good when LeBron was in the lineup. Then when he got hurt and he came back, you weren't.
Not true.
No. You weren't that good when he was in the lineup. He got hurt. You weren't that good. He came back. You still weren't that good against Detroit. I like how you like to walk past that game. Yeah, you won that game. You were down big to a young Detroit. Let's be honest, a not good Detroit team, a young Detroit. You were down big and was letting Jeremy Grant walk all over you guys and give you 30
then
religiously.
Turned it up.
Yeah, you did. But you shouldn't have been down that big.
That's a fact.
And then, of course, in the Garden, a struggling Knicks team, you guys were down big yet again. You did come back, yes.
Bless you.
But it's just stuff like you guys haven't looked good even with LeBron being back. And I think eventually, this team is going to take a full season to really figure it out. And that's going to suck because come playoff time, you're going to have to click right away. But I think you guys have multiple problems. And right now, you're not looking too good. But it's okay to say that. It's not an end-all, be-all thing. But just right now, you guys aren't that good.
I just don't think the Lakers can get past the Warriors in the playoffs.
Yeah, no way.
I don't think you guys can get past the Suns in the playoffs. Truthfully, I think the Suns just have too much chemistry right now. And this next question leads in it goes hand in hand with the Lakers question. It's from Jose Madrid 31077. What do the Lakers have to do to turn things around?
They're doing me in two questions in a row.
In my opinion, I think that the Lakers have to just put more spacing on the floor. I think it's pretty dumb for the Lakers to have DeAndre Jordan out there while having Russell Westbrook out there. It's not going to work. You know, having the paint that clogged up when Russell Westbrook, he can't really shoot, is really a recipe for disaster. I think that's number one. They have to start playing small more, and I think that can hopefully turn things around for this team.
Honestly, I don't even know because, yeah, you can take DJ off the floor, but Westbrook has been a below-average finisher this year. So it's like, you know, of course you're going to give him spacing, but he hasn't even been good enough to even deviate him that spacing. So it's like I think for this moment you have to kind of just do your rotations a little better. You know, try to have Westbrook run with the second unit more. Try to have him out there less with LeBron and AD. You know, run him more with just a bunch of shooters. You know, try to have LeBron and AD run more together and without Westbrook. I think that really is the key. You wanted Melo to start. I don't think Melo should start. He should come off the bench. But I think Westbrook definitely should just, run more with the second unit. Let him run the show because at this point right now, it's really hard because you guys a bunch of guys that just don't fit.
My biggest issue coming into the season was that we needed more shooting. Melo has been unbelievable. He's helped fill that void to a degree, but I need to see him more on a consistent basis. Anthony Davis has been terrible from three-point land. Russell Westbrook has been not the best from three-point land either, for obvious reasons. LeBron has been great when he's on the court. He's been an excellent three-point shooter for us. But really outside of that, Andre Ellington hasn't been anything. What's his? I'm
Wayne.
sorry, Wayne. Excuse me.
Oh, wait.
I feel like there is an Andre Ellington.
No, there isn't.
Andre Miller retired.
Andre Miller. No, I feel like there is an Andre Ellington. Regardless, I apologize. Wayne Ellington.
Andre Ingram.
Is he a running back?
Yo, that's a Laker legend that I can't
Andre
claim.
Ellington was a running back. Facts.
What's his name? Andre Ellington.
he's on
There we
the
go.
Cardinals.
That's I knew he was some kind of professional. We combined these NFL and NBA. I got confused, but regardless of that, Wayne Ellington hasn't been what we expected at all.
What did you expect?
I just thought he would be a better corner specialist for us, or some kind of 3-point shooter for us. we needed shooting, and he was supposed to be that option for us.
Wayne
He
Ellington,
hasn't,
what did you
bro.
expect?
Yo, Wayne Ellington's a solid 3-point shooter. Like,
What's his percentage this year?
oh God, I don't even want to
I'm
look.
gonna search it up. Just
I don't
keep
want to
talking.
look. And defensively, those are our two big issues: shooting and defense. We're the 28th ranked defense right now, and that's unacceptable, especially given the fact that Anthony Davis is one of the best defenders in the league. He hasn't shown that up until this point in the season, but I will give him a break here. He has to focus on offense. Without Anthony Davis, his offensive output, the Lakers have minimal offense, regardless of what Carmelo Anthony has provided for us. Russell Westbrook, these last couple of games, he's just been too inconsistent offensively. Anthony Davis has to give 110% to offense, and it's taken away from his defense, and that's not where the Lakers strive. You need Anthony Davis to be 50-50 on both sides, not having him have too much pressure on either side of the court. Once LeBron comes back, that offensive load won't be as high.
He's back.
The next game, thank God.
He's shooting 34% from three.
That's not horrible, but
His
I would have
career
liked it.
average is 38%.
I was ideally hoping for 39, 40
It's
best
early
case.
though. He just came back though.
He has.
3 attempts? 4 attempts? You
Right-
want
right
Wayne,
now?
You want Wayne Ellington running in there taking 5 attempts?
From 3-point, if he's our only option, he's been solid his whole career, sure. This guy's all giddy because he's finally got a good team around in Chicago.
You guys are in shambles.
It's Listen, it's hard. It's hard being a
Hey,
Lakers
listen,
fan.
man, if
We'll
DeMar
be
DeRozan
okay.
can hit some threes, it should be no excuse
Oh,
for you
man.
guys.
I'll tell you what, though. I'm sick and tired of hearing that the Lakers should have traded for Buddy Hield. I'm tired of it. It's over and
You
done
called
with.
him special.
You did call him
Offense-
special.
That has nothing to do with. I'm just
Is
tired
Russ
of
special?
hearing it.
Is Russell
Okay, so
Westbrook
he
special?
is. He is.
Offensively, no.
No, he's just
No,
a
he
special
is.
type
We
player.
got
Give him the
that.
credit. Come
No,
on.
right now? No, like
Offensively,
right now,
yes.
offensively, he's not a special player. Westbrook, right now, he's not. Nothing wrong with saying that.
He's a special basketball player.
Okay, fair enough.
That's what I'm
You're
saying.
speaking of strictly
ultimately.
offense, though.
Yo, I will say you
Yeah,
disrespected Buddy
you gotta
Hield
talk about
as a
playmaking,
shooting
man.
as a shooter. He shot over 40, 41, 42% like 4 seasons in a row.
No, Buddy's a shooter. Like, I know that.
I guess I should have said special shooter. I said offensive player.
Yeah, you
and
just
that was
went
wrong.
blank offense.
Yeah, and I
like,
apologize for that. He's a
Even
special,
special
shooter.
shooter is kind of a stretch.
I don't know, bro. 42,
42,
43%, averaging over
He takes
3
a
threes
certain
a
amount.
game.
He takes a certain amount of threes, like a certain type of threes.
But he agreed. But he's still making over 3 threes a game last season.
It depends because he's streaky.
Agreed there.
He's streaky.
But shooting wise, you can't argue with 42%
He can
from
shoot.
3.
He can definitely shoot the ball.
He can. But I'm tired. My initial point, I'm tired of hearing it. It's over and done with. We got to
Oh, no,
ride with
it's
the
clear.
squad that we have. And Russell Westbrook is a better ball player than Buddy Hield. I understand fit. And, man, I would love a 3-and-D type player like Buddy Hield. But it's over and done with. We have the squad that we have now.
No, yeah,
Stop
yeah,
bringing it up, truthfully.
Yeah, you're at,
Buddy Hield's not that good of a defender though.
No, I agree.
you're at a point
I
where you're
agree.
talking about you have to tell people Westbrook is better than Buddy Hield. You're at that point
I
in your
know,
life.
man.
Like,
Yo, I hate you right now. I hate you.
yeah, it's crazy.
That's crazy how we've come to that with Russell Westbrook though.
It's just terms of fit.
But did we not knew this would happen?
This is the thing though. I think that Russell Westbrook's stats tell a different story than what your eyes tell you.
Oh, your eyes tell you everything.
When you look at the
'cause the
stats,
turnovers
you're
is
saying this is one of the greatest point guards of all time, and he still is. He's a top 10 point guard of all time. There's no doubt about it.
Facts.
But
Right now.
you just watch, like for example, if somebody were to just randomly look up one day Russ's numbers compared to Chris Paul, they would think Russ is better than Chris Paul. But if you watch the game, you know Chris Paul is a far better player than Russell Westbrook. It just, in my opinion, running the point guard position, he's a better player than Westbrook. He's still a great player, and I think he gets disrespected more than he should, but the flaws in his game are very real, and they do hold teams back.
Yeah, I just don't think the Lakers, like normally going back in the past years, I would think, oh, LeBron will figure it out. You know, it'll be fine. It's LeBron. It's AD. But, I mean, this is 3 years in a row where LeBron's not Superman anymore. He's getting
2
injured.
years. 2 years.
True, the bubble. Yeah, the bubble blessed
Three
him,
out of 4
honestly.
years.
LeBron was not hurt. I need people to get
what,
that clear.
But I think what
People love to say it benefited him.
But
It was AD if anyone.
You can say that year counts too because AD was also playing at that elite level. So LeBron didn't really have to do as much as he needed to do. Like when D Wade was falling off, and he kind of had to step into that. He didn't have to do that.
LeBron,
Anthony Davis was just as elite, so he didn't really have to do that and go in and carry.
LeBron has been injured three of the 4 years though.
Yeah,
no, he 3 of the 4 correct because the first year he got hurt.
And before that, it's 15 years in a row of no injuries. So like it's a different LeBron and different team that just can't carry a bad team. Like let's be honest, like AD.
I feel like an underrated thing that's not being spoken about right now is AD's inability to hit the three. He's shooting under 20% from 3-point range.
We told you it wasn't a great 3-point shooter before the season.
Yeah,
you were like, he could shoot 39.
Condescending. Enough of this. All right,
Drew,
I don't need it.
Drew, we told
Hold
you.
on,
We
let me
told
finish.
you.
That being said, the year that we won, he was fantastic
in the
for
playoffs.
for the season he was still over 33%.
If you need him to be a
33%
great
is
shooter,
not good. It's
for a
average.
center, for a big,
It's average.
That's
bro.
for a center and a big. Come on now.
for your 5, like
It's average.
Okay,
The
listen.
fact that it's not average for a big. Definitely not.
I'm sick of you bringing up that Disney World
What do
championship
you
that you
mean?
won. I'm sick of it.
Where's your regular championship? I
Is
don't
AD
want to hear it.
Is AD becoming a what if
Oh
player?
my God, this is enough.
What you mean by that?
I know. He's an all 75. He's an all 75
Shouldn't
player.
have been up there,
He's
but it's okay.
Regardless of that.
He should have not over Howard. I'm
Sure.
talking about AD as a what if player because we all hold him to this high standard when in reality he's only had one spectacular winning season. And that's because of Bron.
Are we going to forget that season?
year,
No,
when they were a 6
exactly.
seed, that was a great year.
Come on.
And then they beat Portland in the
They
first
were a
round.
6 seed. That's facts. But
And they would have been higher if Boogie didn't get hurt. They
100%
would have been a lot
fact.
higher.
the difference between 3 and 6 that year was like 2 games.
But I'm saying they would have been higher if Boogie didn't go down with the ACL.
they were
injury,
playing
both of them were
excellent.
playing at an elite
Oh my
level at the
God.
time.
No, that's true. I'm not doubting Anthony Davis, but I feel like to this point, we talk about him more than he's accomplished, if you know what I'm saying. Like we talk about
Low-key, I mean-
like AD, everybody wants to put AD as a consensus top 5, top 10 player in the league. There were people were drawing comparisons to him and Giannis when they're not even close in terms of accolades and impact on the court. One stays healthy. AD, it feels like he's becoming a what if player.
I think he's a confirmed top 10 player.
gotta be.
I don't think he's top 5. I don't think he's sniffing
No.
the top, but I think he's
confirmed top 10.
I don't think there's 10 basketball players better than him
No.
in the game right now. I don't think so. But I think you can draw out a smooth 5, 6, 7.
Would you say
8.
this season DeRozan's better?
Oh, we doing it this season thing? Yeah. Yeah, we're doing it this
We
season.
got to go by season though.
But with players like what keeps you in the top 5 is
So
not just
LeBron's
a one
not top
season
10 if we're
thing.
going off this season.
Damn.
Well,
That's how we wanna say.
the difference is that LeBron has a 20-year resume.
That's my thing. I
that
think
can
and
what
point
keeps
to.
you in the
AD
top 5, top 6, top 7 is
AD was hurt
consistency.
last year.
True.
He was.
AD's hurt every year.
But he came back and he was dominant, and then he got hurt and we lost.
I mean, the
There it
only
is.
thing keeping AD afloat right now is that
Bubble.
run in the bubble.
Mr. Bubble.
and against
That's keeping his
and
the
the
only thing
Blazers.
keeping AD afloat in that upper echelon elite conversation is that bubble.
Which
run.
was a magical run. We're not going to deny that. It was an elite run. All time
he was nuts.
run. No cap.
You taking AD over Jokic?
No.
No, you're not.
I can't say right now. You can't
I'm
say
not.
Are you taking him over Luka?
I'm still taking him
No.
over Embiid.
He's
I
not.
wouldn't.
He's not.
I wouldn't.
I'm not taking AD over any floor raiser in the league right now. He's not a floor raiser. He's a ceiling raiser. I wouldn't. But if I already have my number 1 and I need a number 2, I'm taking AD over most guys in the NBA.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fair.
Now, next question. This is from John Tortorelli,
Oh wow.
our editor.
up.
Where will Matt Ryan be next year? This is an interesting
This
question.
is for you guys.
This is for Drew.
If this is for me, I had the worst case possible for me off-season wise.
Denver?
Yes, because I would love my ranking list is obviously it's a wait and see with Deshaun Watson, but
You're still waiting.
I've come in.
I
I've
don't
said
know about
multiple
Deshaun,
times
bro.
that he's coming to us, or you're just saying in general?
Just in
whether,
general, man.
I understand that, which is fine. Listen, I agree with that wholeheartedly. It's a huge wait and see with Deshaun, but I've said it multiple times. I think that he is the most talented, the most complete quarterback in the league. I would love him on my Broncos, but again, circumstance. You can't really count on Deshaun Watson right now. So then the next on the list is Aaron Rodgers, which is not too bad of an option. Then after that, that's when we come to Matty Ice. And that's why I would be upset because those two names are definitely better than
hold on,
Matty
hold on.
Ice at this point in time.
You're a Broncos fan.
Denver.
Yes.
Your
Broncos.
current quarterback is Teddy
Yes, I
Bridgewater,
know.
and you'd be
I'm being
upset with
greedy.
Matt
I'm being
Ryan.
greedy. I'm being greedy. Is that
It'd
okay?
be hard to acquire him, bro, because he has a $48 million cap hit. So that's a ton of money to take on. And not only that, the Falcons are
We
going to
have
have
money.
to.
We have money. We have $6 60 mil next season.
What's the
cap.
dead
Okay,
cap? What's the
that's
dead cap for
40 million if he gets traded.
We have
No, I'm talking about cut.
If he gets cut, same 40 million, 40.5.
Are the Falcons saving any money if they cut him?
8 million, so 32 in net dead cap.
Okay.
So like that's a huge cap hit, and that's not something I don't know what you're really getting for Matt Ryan, because if you have to trade for him, it's different when like for Jared Goff, for example, like and you're acquiring Matt Stafford back and upgrading.
Yeah.
But for this, you're trading Matt Ryan, and obviously you're gonna want some draft compensation, whether it's a second, third round pick. But from the Broncos side of things, are like we take him on, we're extremely limited now in free agency of what we could do.
I
You already got a
understand.
stacked roster,
See,
bro.
but the thing, we have 100% agree. Our roster is, how many years have we been saying this in a row now? We're a QB away.
3?
At least.
Yeah.
We are a QB away. Matty Ice comes into this scenario with a decent O-line. The only issue is our right tackle.
You just signed up all your receivers now.
I got a
Sign
question for
Patrick.
you. If Matt Ryan goes to the Broncos, are you better than the Chiefs or Chargers?
We're better than the Raiders for sure. Roster-wise, it's so close, man.
that
It's
is
so
mad close.
close because our defense is there. It needs an offense that can keep it off the field. That's what it truthfully needs. Matty Ice comes into a situation where he has Sutton, Judy, who will become all-world with a quarterback like Matty Ice. Font is a solid tight end. Javonte Williams will be a top 10 running back in the league whenever he gets the back to himself. We have the talent for sure. It's a matter of quarterback. Matty Ice could come into this situation, easily make us an 11-win team by easily.
Matt Ryan has been still playing at a really good level in Atlanta. I got 2 questions though. Is Vic Fangio going to get fired?
He's gone.
I
He
want
has
an
to be.
offensive-minded coach.
Yes, he's
when
gonna
was
be.
the last time we had one?
You're gonna
Well,
fire
for
him
one,
and hire offensive
let's
coach.
just this is a
for
good
sure.
question.
I want that.
Do we see Matt Ryan leaving Atlanta?
That's the biggest issue because Atlanta
Does he
has
want to win? Does he want? Does he care
I
about
get
his
that,
legacy?
but I just don't think that Atlanta is gonna release or trade Matt Ryan when they don't have a backup quarterback to give the reins
Did you
to.
think that the
Should've
Lions
taken
would ever
Fields.
let Matty Staffy go?
No.
Well, then it's
No,
possible.
I'm saying no, but
It's a tough one. It's tough. I understand what you're saying.
Detroit shouldn't have done that.
Correct. I
But
agree.
they
It's a good
should
move
have
for
at the same
Detroit.
time.
It was
Yeah,
a
they
good-
got
it was
2
a good
first-round
move,
picks.
yeah.
Do you think Denver's trading 2 first-round picks?
Hell
for-
no.
No, he's not worth 2 first-round picks right now.
I just think Sean McVay and the Rams are the only team in the league that don't value their picks at all.
I agree. But our pick is going to be too high this year to trade away at first.
Yeah, so
I think it's a second, third type of deal. I don't even think you get a first for Matt Ryan with this big of a cap hit. 37 years old. After this, he's signed through 2023 as well.
37, it's not what I want. I
Yeah,
really
but it's
don't
hard
want
to get a
it.
franchise. I mean, if you're giving,
Right.
it's
You're not
hard to.
getting Deshaun again.
And in the draft, I don't want a
Deshaun's
QB.
so hard, bro. Deshaun's so
So
hard.
the prayer.
I'll give you
That's
this.
the
I'll
prayer.
give you this other scenario. Let's say the Dolphins right now, they're like front runners to trade for Deshaun Watson.
Yes.
If the Texans have said that they don't want Tua, if Deshaun goes to Miami and Texans they don't want Tua, do the Broncos become
Dream
that
come
third
true.
team that get Tua?
It's his dream come
Would
true.
you want Tua on your squad?
That tour would be phenomenal.
I really have to fight back tears right now, truthfully. I really do.
Of a what if?
Tua is so it's criminal how underrated
The
he has been.
Dolphins suck, bro. The
he's-
Dolphins organization has done him so dirty. This offensive line is the worst in the league. I don't know what to think of Brian Flores. He's been up and down so far in his career. Their weapons are terrible outside. Waddle and Gesicki are solid, but Preston Williams...
He's been hurt, man. That hurts. He
he's
came back
always
this
hurt.
week and got
He's
hurt.
always hurt. Devontae Parker always hurt. Will Fuller always hurt. Like,
Gesicki is firm.
Yeah, I
He's
think
he's really
Yeah,
good.
I think we still in the Watson sweepstake or not.
nah.
I think Hurts is the
Jalen
guy.
Hurts is going to.
You guys have too many picks
I know, it's
to
crazy to
build
say, like,
to
Deshaun.
build a really good team because this
But
draft
Deshaun's
doesn't.
like 26 though. He's still a young dude, bro.
I know, bro, but you
going to
don't trade
trial.
because you guys are gonna have to trade.
It's going to trial.
I mean, if he beats it,
I know it's a what if. I don't want to. Let's not talk about.
I also
like
believe
the,
it's a civil
I
case.
just,
so
I'm gonna just
it's
be
about
honest.
bread, you know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna be completely honest. Jalen Hurts is a guy that you can win with.
Easily.
You
I
can
get
win
that,
with
but
him.
why
It's
not?
Deshaun.
It's
It's
Deshaun.
Deshaun.
Like, I
That's the
get it,
question.
but it's Deshaun.
It's Deshaun.
got that one,
I
sorry.
get it, but Hurts, bro. Hurts is.
I don't get it.
You just don't, because the thing is, you're gonna have to trade 3 to 4 firsts,
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
And you have 3 firsts this year that all. I mean, the Colts might make the playoffs, but all potentially gonna be like top 15 picks.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
and that Miami pick's gonna be 2 maybe.
Oh,
You know
yeah,
what
yeah.
I'm saying?
I think the Eagles. They're in
You're in a
perfect
great
position.
situation with
the
just
Eagles
Hurts.
have a bright future. Their offensive line is great. The defensive line
Gotta
is
get a
great.
little younger though.
No,
on the
we're
line.
releasing. We're probably gonna release Cox at the end of the year.
Yeah, it's probably gonna save you, Brad.
Javon Hargrave has been good.
No, yeah, that's it. He's
You gotta
I would
get
say
younger,
this.
but yes.
The Eagles, they should draft Garrett Wilson. Have Devontae
Another-
Smith, Garrett Wilson,
we need
Dallas
to.
Goddard.
How high do you
that-
think that pick is? You're saying with
I
the
think
2
Garrett
pick,
Wilson's a
take
top
care of
15 pick.
We have
Yeah,
our
yeah,
pick.
yeah.
We have our pick, Miami's
Miami
pick,
Colts.
and we might get the Colts pick. It's
As
gonna
long
be the
as
first or
Wentz-
second.
First,
Drew,
as long
keep-
as Wentz stays healthy.
But Drew, keep on talking about Tua because it felt like you was in a
getting
love circle
emotional.
with him.
Yeah, you guys let me cool down a
You
little
talked
bit.
about him being really underrated.
He has been special this season. He really has.
Special.
He has been. He has been when
You
he's
throw that
played.
special word around,
And
just
I'm fine
everywhere.
using it here, and that's simple as that. Truthfully, this past Sunday against the Jets put up a good game plan. The Dolphins have no offensive line. He is getting
the
pressured
worst.
all
The
the
worst.
time. His pocket presence has been really, really great. And throw that he made it was like 50 yards in the air. The ability to just feel the pressure, step up in the
And he
pocket,
was getting hit,
and
too.
make a dot of a throw. He made so many great throws on Sunday. Tua won them that game. By far, that defense was trying everything it could. Jason Sanders was doing everything it could to lose this game. Tua stepped up and won. 100% it's the Jets. I get it. But look at what he did against the Ravens. He did play against the Ravens. He was
Came
great
in
against the
third
Ravens.
quarter.
Ravens defense sucks too, though.
It does suck, but the fact that he still had
came in
100
after halftime.
He wasn't
you know,
even
he
supposed
wasn't-
to play with a broken finger through for 157.
His organization hates him. The front office hates him. The
Dude,
coaching
it's a
staff
fact.
hates him. They had Jacoby. If you're a franchise quarterback, I don't understand how you could go from
Drew.
starting Jacoby Brissett, right? And he's your starting quarterback, and your franchise quarterback is healthy enough to be the backup. I don't care that's a broken finger. If he's your franchise quarterback, he either plays or he's inactive because you can't risk hurting him coming in the backup. He came in after all of that nonsense. We've heard about it all season about Deshaun Watson. And now with this injury, they've been super weird about him. It's multiple games where he's been the backup to Jacoby Brissett, even though he's not healthy enough to play. So to come in Thursday Night Football, everyone's watching, and you know that your head coach, I really don't think he believes in Tua. For whatever reason, he likes Jacoby Brissett more. To come in and to really put that game away because the Ravens were low-key coming back. Miami just played cover 0 90% of the game, and Baltimore had no answer, which is beyond me, but it was really impressive to me. That's one of Tua's more impressive. Even though he didn't win them the game, he came back, or he came into the game and secured them the win.
All right, here we go.
I will
Last thing
say
I'll say.
this.
Let me say this real quick. Highest completion percentage in the fourth quarter, when it matters the most. Number 1, Kyler Murray, 81%. Number 2, Tua Tagovailoa, 76. Highest yards per attempt in the fourth quarter this season. Kyler Murray, 9.7. Tua Tagovailoa, 9.2.
K1 elite.
He's with elite company with obviously K1.
I will say this. Tua has gotten a bit of a bad rap. He's not a terrible quarterback. He's not a bad quarterback.
No.
He's a good quarterback.
Tell me your comp.
But he's not special. He's not special.
Look at what he's been put in. Look at the situation he's been put in.
He has great weapons around him.
Great
No, he
is
doesn't, bro.
a
Yes, he
Waddle,
does.
Gesicki, and what else?
Waddle,
Those are pretty
Gesicki,
good.
and who?
Gesicki's a top
We-
tight end in
I-
the league
And
right now.
I know,
Gesicki
but we
had
got-
7 targets,
And no
0
catches with Jacoby
catches.
Waddle's really good, but
With a
he's still
combination of
rookie.
Jacoby and Tua.
Bro, you look at Devontae Parker,
Ultimately,
Preston Williams.
let's just talk
like-
about this. He was drafted in 2020 quarterback draft class. You know that.
You're going to say Herbie. I get it.
He's the 4th best quarterback in that class right now. First is Herbert, second is Burrow, third is Hurts, 4th is
I
Tua.
don't see nothing wrong with that, though.
And Jordan Love, we have yet to see him.
That's
He could easily be better than Tua.
Easily?
Yes.
relaxed,
See,
bro.
man,
Let's
this is
relax.
where you
Let's
lose me.
relax.
This is where you lose
So
me.
Tua's the 4th best quarterback in this class, but was drafted
You
second.
could still make the argument. I'm a big Hurts fan, but you can make the argument for 3
Which
just because
aggravates the hell out of
Tua,
me.
bro. I don't know why you hate Hurts.
I don't hate
It's
it.
crazy,
It's
honestly.
like a 50-50 mode here.
But regardless, the way that Tua gets treated by this organization, and he's still, because one of his biggest knocks last year was he didn't push the ball down the field. Like, he had one of the lowest yards per completion in the NFL. And as Drew just said, he's really picking it up this year. And I know he picked up Waddle, but it's really the same weapons as last year. Will Fuller has not been on the field. He's doing it with guys who are truly like Jakeem Grant. Like who is
Not
he
even,
really
bro.
have?
Not
Oh,
even.
he's on the
No,
Bears
literally.
now. Who's the other small receiver they have?
Albert Wilson has
Albert
been.
Wilson
He's
is
been
good.
pretty. He's
Albert
been
Wilson,
okay.
facts.
These last couple of weeks, he's been on, but again, injury issues. Preston Williams in and out of the lineup, just
Devontae
comes
Parker's-
back out. Devontae Parker, exact same thing.
He
When he's
doesn't
on
have
the
good
field,
weapons, bro. The Dolphins do not have good weapons.
and Myles Gaskin,
is
he's been mid.
Average. He's an average
been
running
mid.
On to the next question. This is from Serge, who's
Oh,
a moderator on our
God.
Discord.
Packers.
Shout out to
Packers,
Serge, man.
14
I'll give him
and
his
3,
love.
I think.
Yeah, 14 and
that's
3.
his-
He's
he wanted
sad.
me to say his Discord name. So his question is Carson Wentz a top 10 or 15 quarterback, and is the gap between him and Dak Prescott that far off?
15, top 15.
I'll give him top 15. The gap between him and Dak,
It's big.
it's big. It's
big.
Dak Prescott.
Dak
obviously.
is MVP level. Wentz is not.
And Dak has never had a season like the one that Wentz had 2 years ago. Last season, excuse me.
Last season.
Yeah.
Wait, what are you saying?
I'm saying that it's Dak and it's not close.
Yeah.
You said that
Take
Wentz
Dak
has
in a
never had a
heartbeat.
season the
No,
way
he
that
said
Dak
Dak
I'm
has
saying
never had
Dak
the
has
last
never
year
had
Wentz season.
exactly.
Dak has
Wentz
never
was
had a
terrible
Wentz
last
like
year.
season.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right, but Dak has never had a Wentz like season that he had in 2017.
Wentz was playing really well that year.
You know
I
what?
mean, this year Dak's playing his rookie year. He was amazing.
What was that? 11 games.
Yes.
That was 11 games.
Might have been 11, yeah.
So Dak in 5 games was outrageous last season.
5 games.
5 games, for sure. 6 less
Yeah.
is this.
Do you
is
remember
it-
who they played though?
It was not sustainable.
No,
he
it
was
was-
he was on pace for like 6,000. It was
It
something
was
not
ridiculous.
sustainable.
And then rookie season to go 13-3
Tough.
to win rookie of the year, to have the numbers that he did,
Right.
be a 4th round pick, fourth round pick by the Cowboys, to beat out Tony Romo. Tony Romo did get hurt.
Zeke
but at
did
the
have
same
an
time,
elite year,
Zeke
too.
was amazing. He definitely helped
Dak is
Dak's
spectacular.
progression, but
Dak is spectacular, and I think right now there is a gap. Carson Wentz has to prove himself once again because of 2020.
Which
He has to prove himself
he
once again. And
definitely
he is.
has.
I will say this. Right now, Carson Wentz is in a similar situation to what Dak Prescott was as a rookie. Great running back behind him. This is the first time Carson Wentz has a great running back and can rely on a running game this much. And you look at what he's doing. He's playing some of the most efficient football of his career. Michael Pittman has taken that next step. They don't even have a tight end that's really reliable. T.Y. Hilton has been in and out. So Carson Wentz with better weapons and an offensive line that can pass block, because the Colts aren't a great pass blocking offensive line.
Their line's been a little like everyone still thinks they're a top 5 line, but their line hasn't been great this
The
year.
Running
run
game,
block has
yeah.
been ridiculous.
Yeah, which
and
helped-
Quinn Nelson also only came back, I want to say either week 5 or week 6, one of the two.
Yeah.
I think he's top 15 though. I think with Wentz, it's just we have to wait and see, because Dak has, granted, he's been playing better, he's been more consistent, but he has been blessed with an elite receiving core. He's been blessed with a consistent running game. With Wentz, it's kind of been 50-50 on those, so it's really a wait and see. But it's still a little bit of a gap at the moment. But he's catching up though.
Wentz also just makes a few multiple decisions a game where you're
Yeah.
like, what the hell? What are you thinking?
Yeah, now he
You know
do be
what I mean?
bugging.
Yeah, yes, for
He
sure.
be losing. His
He
mind
sometimes he just does things. You're like, bro, like
but he
that,
does
the
make
one
some. He
interception.
does make
in the-
plays where it's like
Yeah.
only a few can make in
Yeah,
the
but
league.
so does Darnold. Darnold has that same tendency where he makes some head scratches and he
You
also
just tried
makes
to-
wow
I
plays.
see what you just tried to do.
But no,
there.
it's true. It's true. Just because you can make those plays doesn't
Yeah,
mean
that's
you always
true.
should.
But
I don't know if he does it every game, though.
Wentz
I
makes
think-
plays is winning though. He's winning though.
For sure.
Don't
Listen,
bring up
Wentz is better
Darnold.
than Darnold. It's not close.
You gave Zeke, give him Jonathan Taylor.
This is first time with
other
Jonathan
Zeke,
Taylor.
Like,
But that's exactly what I'm saying. You're
He's
saying
had
that
Zeke his whole life.
for sure.
Stop.
Fair.
He's had Zeke his whole life.
Fair.
And Tony Pollard. No, I'm serious. Tony
needed.
Pollard.
Now he
He's
got
been really
Coop. He
good.
got CeeDee Lamb. He got
Yep.
Gallup. Pittman Jr. just
Cedric
broke
Wilson
onto the
is good.
season.
Cedric Wilson would start on the Colts.
That's
Yeah.
embarrassing.
He would, though.
yeah,
Pascal hasn't been bad. He really hasn't
he's-
been
he's
bad.
Pascal
It's just
Wilson,
not-
Cedric Wilson is
yeah.
better than Pascal.
they're the same
Yeah, they're
level,
the
bro.
same.
They're,
No,
they're
no, no, no,
average.
no.
Oh,
Cedric Wilson is
I
just
just wanna
with the
see-
stacked receiving core.
I just want to see Carson Wentz with an elite
this is like
receiver one
Auden Tate
time.
all over again, bro.
No,
Cedric
it's
Wilson,
not.
come on,
Cedric Wilson
bro.
has made plays for the Cowboys. What are you talking about?
I remember.
And Pascal has made plays
Yeah.
for the Colts.
That's
He's had a
because he
2-touchdown
has to.
game.
There's
Bro.
games where he's the first receiver. They don't have anybody.
I just
Bro,
want
Cedric
to
Wilson
see
had
Wentz
number
with
200 yards
a
last year.
above average receiver
didn't
at
start.
one point.
He's never gonna start.
Say that again.
I just want to see Wentz with an
yeah,
elite
'cause
receiver
he's
one
with the
He
time.
stacked
does
receiving
have
core.
that. Michael Pittman is an above average receiver.
No, an
yeah.
elite receiver.
He's
He's
teetering
approaching.
into
Yeah,
that
I want to
category.
wait. I want to see him with a Cooper level type receiver, a CeeDee Lamb. I want to
Nah,
see him one
Pittman is
time
really
with
good.
that. No, I
He's
know he's
mad
good. He's really
good.
He's been, but he's
I
had.
think Pittman's high end comp could be an Amari Cooper, like talent wise. You know.
Nah,
I like
I mean,
that. He's a
Cooper
clean
walked
route
in,
runner.
but
Nah,
Cooper
Pittman's
walked
a
in.
clean route runner.
Cooper
he's
walked
not
in. He was
Cooper.
like
Yeah,
that.
Well, coming out of college, Cooper was
Yeah,
a
he
Cooper's been
different
inconsistent
prospect.
Like
this
that.
season.
Pittman is going to be a little bit of a worse version than Mike Evans.
Kenny Galladay?
So wait, you'll
So
give him
9,000
Mike.
yard seasons?
I was gonna say you'll give him Mike Evans, but you won't give him Amari.
I'm talking about play style, bro.
Yeah, he's kind of like that.
Okay.
I was just saying talent
but
wise.
I feel like play style. Michael Pittman's not a go up and get it type receiver. He can be.
Yeah, he definitely is.
He can be.
No, he is.
But
I saw him catch a ball over 3 guys.
he
Yeah,
No, he's
can
that.
be. But so
Ravens
can
game.
Cooper.
He's that.
Cooper is a more route runner,
Cooper
technical
is
type
a-
receiver, which is Pittman.
Cooper is in the mold of like the Jerry Judy's. Route running is their specialty.
I mean, they're in the mold
Pittman's
of him.
his route running.
Michael Pittman, I think, is in the category with jump ball, lengthy, not
He gets open.
not speedy type receivers. So that's like a Mike Evans kind of guy.
Not speedy basically means to me is your route running is mint.
Or you're more physical. You out physical people.
I don't even think his body's like that.
His body's like Mike Evans, bro. Like they're built the
Who?
same way. Michael Pittman Jr.
Pittman's skinny though.
That's what I'm saying.
Evans
He's not a
is big.
physical
Yeah,
type
now
guy.
Pittman's
He's really physical.
Pittman and Mike Evans in like year 1 and 2 wasn't that as big as he was now. That's the same with Pittman Jr. He's gonna get to that
Nah,
size
Mike Evans was
eventually.
a big boy.
I just think play style
Physique
Pittman
size are
and
probably around the
Cooper,
same.
I don't see the play style comp.
Yeah, I was just saying more of a talent perspective. Like, I don't think Cooper was ever he was never a top 5 receiver in the league, but he was that borderline elite receiver, which I think Pittman kind of get borderline elite. I don't think he's ever going to be elite top 10. Just
Well, he's gonna
how
have a
good the
1,000
receivers.
yard receiving season this year.
Oh yeah, for sure. He'll have multiple.
I think you know who is similar to Amari Cooper in terms of play style? DJ Moore. Very similar.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't
think
see-
Cooper's just bigger. Like he's just.
Cooper is
I think
pretty
he's just
big.
like a big receiver, just who could do.
Cooper's a poor man's Tay Adams.
Yeah, it's hard to compare
I don't
anyone
know.
to Tay.
Yeah,
That's
what
why.
I'm saying.
That's why he's
Yeah.
poor. That's why he's a poor man. And
Nah,
that's
you gotta
with
say like
all
poor,
respect.
poor.
Nah, I
I
mean,
think it's good for
that's
bro.
for me. That's a bit weird because I think Tay Adams incorporates so many different receivers' games
100%
into his
agreed.
game.
Yeah, he's
Like
nasty.
I see D Hop and Tay Adams a lot. Like I see them; they play very similar. It's
oh, I just
different
gave
'cause
Tay Adams a compliment.
I know, but I'm just saying. Like I think Tay Adams. There's so many different styles that
Definitely.
you can put
Because
him
he's got a
into.
little bit of Mike Evans, he's got a little bit of D Hop, he's got his own original flair in route running. Because obviously he's probably the best route runner in the league by far. So I agree with your sentiment 100%.
I think I see a lot of Ocho in him.
His footwork is
From a
mint.
footwork perspective.
Is mint,
You know, and his hands are like D Hop. Like he has really
Ocho
strong hands.
footwork was crazy.
bro. It's ridiculous.
So on to the next question. This is from Tyler.Lee5526. Is Tyler Hero an all-star? I don't think he is.
No.
It's not because he's not playing great. It's just because you have DeRozan, Levine, Harden, and Jimmy that are
And
guards.
Jimmy's not a
Jalen
guard.
Brown.
A small
Now,
forward.
obviously, Harden's more famous,
JT.
more popular, so he'll get the All-Star nod.
What are you trying to say?
I'm asking you, is Tyler a little bit more deserving
Off the
this
bench?
season?
Is Tyler Hero more deserving
A
than
little-
James Harden
this
for an
season.
all-star?
This
Are you
season.
kidding me?
This season. This
I'm
season.
smiling right now because I actually don't really believe if you're being serious.
This
So he
season.
doesn't know if you believe that take.
Nah,
No.
Hero won't make
What
the
are you
All-Star
talking
team.
about?
You got
Hey, man, who's a little bit more deserving?
You got-
Tyler's been special.
Who's more
this season? Hey, man, you said that AD wasn't top 10 this season based off recency.
what you got? You got
bias.
Jalen Brown. You got Zach LaVine.
Jalen Brown. I don't know if he'll get the nod.
25, 5, and 4. Okay,
He's been
anyways.
amazing, but he's been hurt.
But bro, the All-Star game's in
Fair.
February.
No, it's a minute away.
Yeah, what-
That's on me. That's
Come
on
on.
me. That's
In
on
the
me.
East,
Bro, Harden's averaging 21, 8, and 9.
no, Harden's gonna get in. He's Harden. I'm not even acknowledging that. Don't know what Drew's talking about. That's 3 already. Then you got what you in the East.
sad.
What you got? Trey Young. Trey Young's gonna get in.
Probably.
Off rip.
KD, obviously.
KD's a forward. I'm thinking of guards. 'Cause
Okay.
it's a guard thing.
Mhm.
Then you, who else? You got LaMelo. LaMelo's popular.
He's getting in.
You know, he's probably gonna get in. It's tough. I don't know. Tyler coming off the bench is probably gonna hurt him a little bit. I don't think bench guys get in the All-Star game. It's really
I don't even
hard.
think it's
Hero's
him
got a
coming off
fan
the
base,
bench.
though.
I don't think it's him coming off the bench. I think there's just a lot of guards
Yeah, there are.
that are going to get over him.
Yeah.
This is a better question. If you had to vote for one of these guys to be in the All-Star game, doesn't matter who's getting in. It's just between these two guys, Tyler Hero or Tyrese Maxey, who gets in.
Oof. I'm gonna say Hero. I'll tell you what, Maxey should get more than the respect that he's getting, obviously, because he's coming to a situation that was unexpected, and he's been
Maxey.
special.
His improvement,
Yeah, it's been
his
drastic.
numbers improvement from last year to this year, you have to get him in. Tyler Hero, he's he's been killing, but he's doing what we expected him to do for the past 2 seasons.
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean you get the nod over someone because you just are playing better.
Yeah,
than what
but
we
in the
expected.
situation in Philly where he's coming in as a
but
starting point guard.
That's a respect thing. It doesn't necessarily grant him an all-star appearance because of it.
Yeah, I guess.
Like
I don't know.
Tyler's still
you
averaging
said-
22, 5, and basically 6 and 4.
Is that sustainable?
For Tyler off the bench, I mean, he's been playing out of his mind.
Like I think Maxi's numbers are more sustainable than
I mean,
Tyler
he's
Herro's.
22. I mean, last season he averaged 18. We can't give him that.
If he drops down to 18,
No, he was averaged 18 last season.
Harrow averaged 18 last year.
I'm pretty sure he
thought it
was.
was 16.
He was
15.
15. He was 15 rookie season.
No, he
he
had
dropped.
He
numbers
averaged
since-
15 last year.
yeah, it was 15. So okay. Those
What was
two.
the rookie season? 11 then? I feel like he was.
Yeah, I
at 3
mean,
points.
you said that we've
13.
expected this out of Tyler for the past 2 seasons. That's a lie. He was a rookie 2 years ago. We didn't
I
expect
didn't
him
mean
to drop 20.
probably definitely last year though. We expect him to put up. We expect him to make that leap after that rookie year, and based off the bubble,
Yeah,
we
the
definitely
bubble he
expected
ate.
him to make that leap. Maybe not 2
Yeah.
years. I was probably tripping.
You said
Yeah,
2
he
years.
Yeah,
averaged
I was
18 in
tripping,
the
but we
playoffs.
expect him last year to definitely
I mean-
make that leap.
You're going with Tyrese Maxey.
Honestly,
I
it can go either
understand.
way.
I understand your logic, but I just think ultimately, just because he's playing or
Well, who's
exceeding
earned it more?
expectation, Tyler's team is number. What are they? Number 1 in the East. He's been.
No, they're
he's
not.
probably
They're not
sixth man
number
of
one.
the-
They're fourth. Don't you ever put them ahead
All right,
of us.
relax. They've right there with you guys.
Oh, okay.
And the Nets are second with the undeserving James Harden.
The Heat are the 2 seed right now.
Say word. What's the
I was about
record?
to say they're
They're
right
12
there.
and 6. You guys are tied.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay.
So they're
We didn't,
first.
we didn't play him yet.
So they're first.
No,
They're not. The Nets are
Point
13.
the
difference.
Nets are
I guess.
13 and.
Oh, I
listen,
thought you said that they're second.
No, they're tied with us, them, and somebody else are tied.
Okay.
Look at you. You're not at 12 and 6.
We stink, bro.
So
You're talking
since
to
we're
the
on the
wrong guy.
subject of the Heat, Brian Vargas 24 asked, Heat's chances this year to win a title. I think they have a great chance to win a title.
The
Well,
East
to
is
make
wide
to,
open.
to make it out the East, I think they can make it out the
The whole
East.
NBA
They have a good
open.
chance. It just depends on.
Warriors.
I think the Nets should be the favorite. Truthfully,
I think
Yeah.
if they face the Bucks, they're gonna beat the Bucks in the playoffs.
I
Listen,
think
it's the 3 right now for me personally. Nets, Heat, Bulls. Those are my 3.
I think the East hasn't been this wide open since 2012. Honestly speaking.
2012. It wasn't that wide open.
Well, I'm saying it hasn't been like 2012. It was wide open, but it wasn't.
And we forgot Milwaukee, who's been injured for that's on me. Milwaukee
Yeah, I
wants
was
to get
about to
healthy.
ask
Bless
you.
you.
But I think the Nets have a chance. I think we have a chance. I think the Bucks have a chance. I think
Yeah.
Miami has a chance. Like those are the 4 heavy horses
I
in the
agree.
East right now. Like
You give them
the
25%
Knicks have.
chance.
I think the Knicks in Atlanta can sneak into ECF with matchups. Like the East is so.
Knicks.
No, think about it. Matchup. Look at last year. Matchups played a part in the playoffs. Like depending on who you play, that plays a part. Atlanta got to the ECF because they was able to play them and then Philly.
But who can the Knicks really play to get to the ECF?
If the Nets and the Bucks, if they figure it out, listen, I don't know. But I'm saying like matchups can change the playoffs. You know what I'm saying?
Hawks, I'll give you because they did it. That's why I'll give you them. But the Knicks right now, offensively,
Yeah.
can they get past a Milwaukee if the seeding works out that way?
They don't have to play Milwaukee. It's a
I'm
chance
just saying.
they don't have
I'm
to.
saying hypothetically, can they get past Milwaukee? To make the ECF? Can they get past the Heat? Can they get past the Nets? Can they get past you guys?
Yeah.
They can beat us.
They can beat y'all in a 4-game series.
7-game series. They can
That's
beat
what
us.
I mean. Excuse me.
They can beat us in a 7-game series.
Yeah, you better own that.
I don't think so right now,
No,
bro.
they can beat us in the 7-game series.
You guys offensively look crazy. Levine and DeMar.
we do look crazy,
unbelievable.
but
And defensively, bro, I don't have to tell you.
we do look crazy, but they have gave us the hardest competition out of all the teams we played.
I mean,
Not even because they have the scheme that plays us better than
that's a
any other
fact.
team.
That's a fact.
So them in Philly,
Thibodeau.
like I said with matchups, them in Philly would be our worst matchups, and
I was about to say,
Milwaukee
Philly
because
could beat them
we can't
too.
play bigs, and they know how to play us. They play slow and methodical. That's how you beat us. So it's like it really is a matchup thing. So like the East is so wide open.
So you're saying you could see you guys losing in the first round?
Yeah, I could.
Wow, that's
I
crazy.
could see us going 5th, and we play Miami, and they're 4th seed. I can.
This is a
legit
fan
see us,
who's been hurt. and I can understand the
Nah, it's like
hesitance.
it's called. See, you're a LeBron fan, so you don't understand what.
Expectation?
No,
I
you
can
don't understand what
understand that.
realism is. I understand. We can go 5th seed and play Miami. They're 4th seed. We can lose to Miami in the first round,
I agree.
or we can
but
play
I
the
don't
Bucks.
see you guys. Listen, I agree with the Heat. Obviously,
Okay, so what if we go 3rd seed and the Bucks end up 6th?
you
We're
could
toast.
lose to the Bucks.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like we're toast.
All right, fair enough. That point makes sense. I thought you were talking about playing the Knicks because that was what my mindset is. But that's fair. You guys could lose to Milwaukee because obviously Milwaukee could be anyone. You could lose to the Heat too.
It's matchups thing. It's all about.
But I
matchups.
doubt the Heat will drop to 6. I doubt maybe Milwaukee because they're so banged up and who knows what seeding or when they're gonna get healthy and where they end up at towards the end of the year. But I don't know. I don't think they'll. What are they right now? 7. I think inevitably they get healthy. They rise up to at least 4 or 5.
Which could make we can be 4 or 5.
I mean, you guys are 3 right now. The Wizards are 4. The Hornets are 5.
So early. It's November.
It's
The
very
East.
early.
The East is wide open.
I don't think it's
tough to
wide
say.
open.
But
I think, like we mentioned, it's the 4 horses. That's
Wait,
it.
how is it not wide open if 4 teams can make it to the finals? That's half of
But
the
I
teams
feel
in
like-
the playoffs.
True. Very true. 100% I give you that. But aside of these 4 teams, I don't see another contender.
But that's half the teams.
But that's a quarter of the teams in the East.
But that's half of the ones that make the playoffs.
I guess, but again,
Are we saying just the finals or the Eastern Conference?
I guess he's saying go to the finals. The question was go to the finals.
If I had to guess it, the Heat would be my 3rd odds.
And realistically, you got
second.
you're saying Heat second?
I'll be honest.
I
If
think Heat's
Kyrie,
second
if
for me,
Kyrie
too.
doesn't come back, they're first for me.
If Kyrie doesn't come back, I agree.
I'm not putting them over Milwaukee just yet.
Fair enough.
And I still
keep not taking Milwaukee into account.
And I still think if Harden is this guy, then I think KD and Harden are more than enough.
I
to
think
beat Miami.
Nets should be 1, regardless. You have 2 top 5 players when at 100%. That should be firm. Then it's really close between Milwaukee and the Heat.
They're both. It's pick your poison with either one of
I'm
them.
not sleeping on you guys.
So next question is from Josh C. Jacobs. Is PG overlooked? And this is a Riv question.
This is all you. You're the only one who's going to talk right now.
I think he's starting to get his respect throughout the league. I mean, you looked at last night when he hit that game tying 3, against Dallas. Granted, they lost that game, but he's starting to, really assert himself as playoff P. People are starting to get more respect. And I think he's understand as a player that he has to stop listening to the noise. People on other teams are starting to respect him. People, even some fans are starting to understand this guy's for real. People are trying to get him into the MVP conversation. Rightly so. He deserves to be in that conversation. But I think the overlook thing, I think people were just stuck in the moment. But I don't think he's starting to be overlooked. I think he's been looked at and people are starting to respect him more, honestly.
So he hasn't been overlooked.
No, I don't think so. I mean, he's 7th in the MVP race right now. He would be higher if his team would win a little bit more. So I don't think he's starting to get overlooked.
So next question. What will the Giants do with Saquon and his future? This is from Sheely.
Sheila, we just had this conversation in one of our group chats, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I forgot who I was talking with. I might have been on FaceTime, actually.
Good. You can respond again.
Yeah. They're in an interesting situation because they picked up his 5th-year option. So, I
We're talking about it with Jarek. Go ahead.
Right. I only see one option here. You pick up his 5th-year option, so he's signed for 2022. After that, you franchise tag him one time and let him walk. I mean, even maybe franchise tag him. It depends if he could stay healthy. The Giants, they messed up taking Saquon at number 2. I know Darnold and Rosen were obviously not the right picks, but maybe a Quentin Nelson, whoever it might be, anyone's probably better than Saquon just because running backs aren't that important in the NFL, especially if you're not Henry. Outside of Derrick Henry, who you get in the 2nd round, Nick Chubb was a 2nd-round pick. You just have so many opportunities to get them later in the draft. You take a running back at number 2. The second he was drafted, he was already a top 10 paid running back. So that takes away from all the other positions that you have to pay. And once you franchise tag him once, running backs are starting to get paid even more. So if you're going to put a big portion of your salary cap into a guy who can't stay healthy, and even when he has been healthy this year, he hasn't been great. I know there's a ton of problems with the Giants. I think, Gettleman, there's already been reports that he's going to be leaving, which is a good sign. But they have a couple draft picks. They have the Bears pick, their 1st-round pick. They need to solidify that offensive line. They probably need to get the Kenny Golladay signing was terrible. So Saquon's honestly one of the less of their worries because I think it's pretty simple. You already picked up his 5th-year option. See what he does in 2022. He plays well, you franchised him, then probably let him walk. If he doesn't play well, you just let him walk and cut your losses.
If I'm the Giants, I'm giving Daniel Jones one more year because there's no quarterback in this draft class that is probably deserving. No, yeah, but this is Giants' future too. I'm guessing it's both.
Did I miss that?
I'm giving Daniel Jones one more year, and then after that, I'm going to get a quarterback if he doesn't pan out. Saquon Barkley, I think it's unfortunate what's happened to him. I feel kind of bad for him because he got injured. He tore his ACL. He missed an entire season. And because of that, he's not going to get paid. And the Giants would be fools to give him a long-term contract. And the way the running back market is right now, I don't think any team is looking at Saquon and saying we're going to give him a big-time deal. I think it would be a mistake if a team does do that. We know the history with teams paying running backs, especially somebody who's had this many injuries. It's sad, but Saquon is a what-if player. That's what he is. After his rookie season, he was phenomenal. Then he got hurt. The Giants had a huge part in mismanaging him, not giving him a offensive line, because with an offensive line, Saquon would have been game-changing, game-breaking, and putting up those stats. But because the offensive line has been horrible, he hasn't been able to do that. Saquon is a what-if player, and that's what he's become, and that's his future, because we know running backs, they last until their rookie contract. Once the rookie contract is up, their career pretty much goes downhill outside of a few players, and unfortunately, I think that's gonna be with Saquon. That's what's gonna happen to Saquon Barkley.
This is tough for me because I love Saquon Barkley. I think he's an unbelievable talent. Unfortunately, he is a what-if player. Gets hurt in ridiculous fashion. I mean, this season,
kind of unlucky.
Yeah, very unlucky. The fact that it was a dead ball play and he just twists his ankle like that, what can you really do? I'll give him his credit, though. Last season, had a similar injury, a high ankle sprain, came back, and was fantastic. If you played fantasy football, he was a league winner for you. He was fantastic down the stretch. Somehow still finished with over 1,000 yards.
In 2019.
Missing 3 games, yes, excuse me. Last year, he tore his ACL, so that's just what can you do? You chalk it up to
bad luck.
Terrible, terrible luck and horrific injury that you just never want to see a player like him get into. But I think you have to stick with him, and I do think you have to stick with Daniel Jones for reasons why Joel said for Daniel Jones' sake at least. There's not a good quarterback in the draft that could replace Daniel Jones and give you the result that you want to see if you're a Giants fan. It's not going to be an instantaneous overnight change regardless if you decide to go a different route from DJ. I think DJ has been put in another guy who's in an unfortunate situation where the talent that he was supposed to have didn't stay healthy. Galladay in and out of the lineup. Tony in and out of the lineup. Sterling in and out of the lineup. His only reliable option, I guess, is Darius Slay, and I absolutely hate seeing him incorporated into the offense as much as he is. He's a talented guy, sure, but I don't think he's a guy that I want to see get the ball. Darius Slay, excuse me. I said Slay. That's the guy in Philadelphia. Shout out to him. He's playing incredible. But Slayton is getting the ball like 6 to 7 times a game, and I'd rather see the ball get put into Tony's hands where he's easily the most exciting guy in that offense when Saquon isn't there. When Saquon's there, clearly that's the guy for me. And you want to see Galladay stay on the field to maybe get some kind of chemistry with DJ.
Yeah.
I think next season, I give receivers a benefit of the doubt coming to the new season first year. You look at history, Allen Robinson, Julio Jones with the new OC. Stephon Diggs is the rare outlier.
It's one thing, though, if you don't play well. It's another thing if you can't stay healthy. And Kenny Galladay showed back-to-back years that he can't stay on the field.
Fair enough, and I'll give you that. And he got his bread, even being an injury-prone type player.
He got hurt in August.
But before last season, he really hadn't been an injury-prone type player.
Well, he didn't play barely at all his first year, and then it's really like 2 years. And it was just 1 year where he was elite.
He was a freak.
After, he really has 1 year of elite production. He got a huge bag from the Giants, which probably wasn't the right move. I like the Corey Davis deal a whole lot more.
Still pretty bad too, though.
Yeah, but from just a financial perspective, it's night and day, honestly, because Kenny Galladay can't stay on the field. But I agree, Kadarius Toney should be the focal point of this offense. I mean, him with the ball in his hands is unbelievable. He's one of the most explosive players I've seen, and this is as a rookie.
He's Debo Jr.
Low-key,
he's just not as big.
Yeah, he's not as physical, but his speed and his elusiveness is out of this world. I just think Saquon's not the type of runner that you could give 20 to 25 carries to, and he's going to want that type of money. That he's going to want that 12 to 15 mil a year, and you just can't give it to him.
You think Saquon's going to want 12 to 15?
That's what he's going to want.
I feel like that's fair, and I think you're right about that.
Settle at 8.
But ultimately, he has to understand that he's not in a position to squander more money out of a team that he's only had one all-world season, and 2 a season where he still missed time but still was great.
Yeah,
it depends on the market.
The Giants have 2 years to play with him, though. He's got this next coming year on the franchise on the 5th-year rookie option. Then he's got a franchise tag, so they got 2 more years really if they want to. The biggest thing is if next year is if he
the
plays
question.
well but not great, what do you do? You know, if he could play 16 games and be like a top 10 running back, then what do you do? Because I still think you let him walk
Can
at
I
that
ask you a
point.
quick question?
Oh, ja, very nice.
So you guys basically have made it very known that running backs are not irrelevant, but they're not really the big
They're
picture
replaceable.
in terms of paying money. So in terms of like running backs in the league, like Nick Chubb, Alvin Kamara, Derrick Henry, like let's say those guys, CMC, like the elites of the elites, who's the guys that you would pay because they're available and because they produce?
Very good.
Obviously
That's
not,
tough because a
obviously
lot of
not
them
Saquon.
they just got paid.
I'm
Like
paying all of them.
Dalvin was one of them
Dalvin
that I was
just got
paying.
paid.
So you would pay
Henry.
all of them considering the injuries. You still would pay all of them.
Aaron Jones.
What injury?
I'm saying like even like considering their injury history, who would you pay? 'Cause from what
Chubb
it looks
just got
like,
paid too,
Chubb and Kamara are probably the
Chubb
most
just-
reliable because they don't get hurt that much.
JT right now is getting whatever money he wants.
I'm paying
truthfully.
all of them.
So you still pay all of them?
The thing, I wouldn't pay Aaron Jones only
He
for the
already
fact
got
they
paid.
lost. They did exactly, but that's what I'm saying. I didn't think that was a great idea. They should have kept Lindsley. You look at the center position. I'm sure that they
Would you pay
love to have
Could've
CMC
paid both,
knowing
to
his
be honest,
injury
though.
history? Would you pay CMC?
I would
Yes.
You still pay CMC?
for sure.
Because the Panthers are a different team when he's on the field.
Yeah,
But he has to be on the field.
Yeah, but when he's on there, they're a different team.
Last season is an anomaly. You look at that. Obviously, he missed time with a bunch of injuries. This year, it was a hamstring. He missed that 3-4 games, came back, and he's been firm since. So if he stays healthy the rest of the season, I'm not worried about the injuries. But if he gets hurt again, I'm with you.
It's
If
easily
they're
replaceable.
on my team, I'm paying them.
And you could replace them, but you could replace them with non-premium draft picks.
Right.
Javonte in the second, Michael Carter in the fourth, like say Jonathan Taylor's second round pick, DeAndre Swift with the second round pick. It's just you could replace them at a high level, get running backs who are going to be top 10 without having to use first round picks on them.
But if it was me, what I'd do is I'd probably draft a running back every single year.
Yeah.
So if I have one that pops, I have another one in the works that can do copy that production. Because honestly, the thing about it is that Nick Chubb, you can't replace his production. Like he's just.
I mean, Dearness came in and looked amazing. Small sample size. But yeah, no, I agree.
I'm just saying that some running backs, you just got to pay them, especially when they're the focal point of your offense. You just got to pay them. It is what it is.
Yeah, if Baker and Daniel Jones are your quarterbacks, you need to have an elite running back with an elite offensive
I
line.
don't like that Blake Baker slander, bro. We got to give him a break.
He's
Why?
banged up crazy. Like he has a ton of injuries. I know he's banged up a
He's
lot.
still been playing.
Damn.
Like, even earlier in the year,
Bro, he has a torn labrum.
Did he have that opening day?
But Baker's not carrying teams to the playoffs and Super Bowl.
I'm not saying that.
That's what. And if you can't carry teams, you need to have elite. You need to have elite surrounding weapons or offensive line.
Muffins blessing the Patreon got you thinking a little different.
No, it's not that. It's I think Baker
His name
Mayfield.
Muffins.
Baker Mayfield has gotten a bad rap the same way you think Tua has gotten a bad rap. I mean,
Well,
Baker.
that's for sure.
I think Baker's average.
So that's for sure. But Baker,
You don't think he's above average?
Not really, bro.
Baker
Like-
last year had an efficient year after Odell went down. He had a top 15 quarterback like season. Before you go, you're saying Tua deserves the benefit of the doubt. Okay, whatever. You can believe that all you want. Baker Mayfield, the year after the Browns went 0-16, won 7 games. I mean, from 0 wins to 7 wins in 1 year.
It's great.
Second year, Freddie Kitchens head coach, they flop. But then that third year, the Browns make the playoffs with a defense that's not very good. They win a playoff game. The first time they win a playoff game in 20 years, the first time they made the playoffs since 2002. I mean, Baker, he's been the best quarterback the Browns have had in 20 plus years. And
couldn't beat Chad Henne. In that game against the Chiefs, Chad Henne came in. He couldn't win that game.
come on in the playoffs.
I'm talking about in the playoffs.
Chad Henne.
Mahomes goes down.
Right.
You easily should win that game with Chad Henne at QB.
I forgot Chad Henne played that game.
Me too, bro.
I didn't know that quarterbacks go up against quarterbacks.
Come on now. He put up how many points? I think he scored 1
Quarterbacks
touchdown.
go against
Look at that.
defenses,
Look at the
not
box score,
quarterbacks.
man. Come on.
Baker's good when his situation is perfect, which what the Browns was last
I
year.
mean, right now,
Yeah,
just
one
right
of the
now,
best
it's just
offensive lines.
right now is just not a great year to evaluate Baker.
Yeah,
because he
he's
has
injured.
3
I agree.
injuries.
Agreed.
I mean,
Agreed.
he's playing through 3 injuries. That alone should just tell you about his toughness.
Yeah,
I don't think
I'm
Baker,
not taking that away from
I don't
him.
think Baker's special. I don't think he's a great quarterback.
Agreed.
But the Browns moving off from Baker would be a mistake. It would be a mistake because they don't, bro.
You paying him $30 million? Hell no, you can't pay him 30 mil, bro. You can't.
Look, bro, he's been the best quarterback they've had in years.
I understand that, bro.
Jimmy G got a bag. You got to give it to
They
him.
have
You
no
pay him 30 mil,
contingency
though,
plan.
and all of a sudden you don't have an elite offensive line anymore. You can't afford
They
Chubb
locked
and Hunt
up
anymore.
all of their offensive linemen.
But eventually they're either going to have to get cut for cap casualty because that's what happens
Eventually,
in the NFL.
you mean when Baker's contract is up?
No, because if Baker gets 30 mil, he's going to get a 5-year contract.
Okay, they locked up Joel Bitonio. They locked up Wyatt Teller. They locked up J.C. Treader as well. Jedrick Wills is on his rookie contract. Bro, they're fine. Like, they locked up their guys.
But you're not going to be able to keep them forever. Eventually, that guaranteed money is going to go out, and you're going to be able to cut them and save $15 million.
You got to pay Garrett. I think Garrett already got a bag.
I mean, you're going to pay him, but that doesn't mean you can't pay Baker.
I
wouldn't give Baker 30 mil.
So you're not.
Personally.
So okay, what's the plan then? If you're not,
That's the question.
Well,
That's
you
the
have time.
question.
You have time because he has this 5th year. Same thing with Saquon. It's the same draft. You have his 5th year option. Then you could franchise tag him.
So you're gonna find a quarterback.
You
in
have
that
2
time.
more years. Maybe
You're gonna find a quarterback in that time.
Maybe
You could probably use Baker to go get someone.
Oh yeah.
because
think
if you
so?
have
I mean,
Baker,
if
bro,
you're
you
high
have
on
to beat-
Baker, it's possible that other teams are high on
You
Baker.
have to beat Mahomes. You have to beat Herbert. You're gonna have to beat Deshaun if he comes back.
Look, I'm not saying
Mac
that,
Jones now too.
but I'm saying that Baker is playing through 3 injuries.
Yeah,
let's
but
stop
I know.
acting like he's been complete garbage out of nowhere. And it's
No one's
because he's
saying
just
that.
garbage. He's playing through 3 injuries. I want to see him healthy before I fully evaluate his play. I understand his play has not been good, but I want to see him healthy.
I'm fine
That's
with
all
that.
I want to see.
I'm fine with that.
And this is from Afami_. Should the Knicks look to contend or build for the future?
Go ahead. This is your
I
question.
think we're doing both. I think we're trying to contend right now. That's why we went out and we got Fournier and Kemba Walker. Even though Kemba, I've been vocal about what I think about him. I think that the Knicks should probably move off from him. But I think we're building for the future too. RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickly, Obi Toppin, all good young pieces. Mitchell Robinson, Deuce McBride, Quentin Grimes. I mean, we have a good young core of players. I'm kind of a little bit down on RJ Barrett, to be honest, because I think he should be better this season. We see Darius Garland taking that next step. We see Harrell taking that next step. We see, I forgot another year 3, John Morant taking that next step. RJ Barrett, I was expecting more, and he hasn't shown me more. But I think the Knicks are doing both. They're contending right now. They're trying to contend, and they're trying to build for the future as well. This question is from Kareem Raouf, 21. Should the Raptors blow it up by trading Siakam and Van Vliet?
I don't think so. I think Siakam and Van Vliet are still, they're walking into their primes. They have OG and OB. They have Scotty Barnes. I think they have a good enough group of guys where they don't need to walk from either one of those guys. Because I think this year is going to be either they make the play-in or they don't make the playoffs. So they'll get a pick. And with Toronto, they've showed us that we can trust whoever they pick is going to be a good player. So I think they should keep both guys. Focus on OG Anunoby's productions. Focus on his development. Thank you. And Anunoby's production, his development. Focus on Scotty Barnes' production and his development. If you don't make the play-in, you get another lottery pick that you can build up. And if you do make the playoffs, holla, more experience for your guys. But I think they have a good enough core right now where they don't need to blow up for either one of those guys.
I'm with Riv. I think you wait toward the time period towards the trade deadline. If you're actually in the playoff hunt and you believe that you can actually be a firm playoff perennial team, I guess. I don't know what I'm really trying to say there, but ultimately it comes down to if they're going to compete for a decent seed or not. If they're not going to be competitive, I understand getting rid of those guys and trying to get compensation for that. But ultimately, I'm with Riv. I think talent is the starting five's not bad. You see what you have in Scotty Barnes. Obviously, he's been very promising. OG Anunoby has had a significant scoring output as opposed to last season. Van Vliet, he's not really a true point guard, and I feel like that's really what the Raptors are missing. They need a true point guard. I'm not in on blowing it up, but I can understand why people would think that.
I think that given the way the lottery is formatted now, trading really good players for picks is a very risky move.
For sure.
Especially when drafts have top players in the draft, no team is trading back off of them. If a team has a first overall pick, they're taking Chet or Banchero. They're not going to trade back with any team because those guys can change your franchise around. Siakam is a big part of what the Raptors want to do in their future. The Raptors right now are drafting and acquiring a lot of players that have length and can guard 1 through 5. Scotty Barnes, 1 through 5, he can guard them. He's 6'9", long arms. We know how freakishly athletic he is. OG Anunoby, the same thing. 6'7", lengthy, can defend 1 through 4. Sometimes 5, he can handle them, but not for the majority of the game, of course. Pascal Siakam, same thing. Versatile defender. Delano Banton that they got in the second round also shows a lot of flashes of that.
He's about 6'8", right?
Yeah, he's like 6'8", 6'9". Yeah, he's also somebody that, is very huge. You're right. He is huge. And then right now the Raptors, I don't think they're a playoff team. So they'll probably be in that lottery mix. And you never know how the ping pong balls are going to land. If they can hopefully acquire a Chet, they'll be good. Or maybe a Jalen Durant. Or maybe a Boncaro. I mean, they're going to have a chance to get one of these top prospects in the draft and pair them with this group that they have. I think the Raptors right now are a play-in team, but realistically, they're only one true star away from being a contender because they already have so many good players, and we're not even talking about Scotty. We're not even talking about when Scotty hits his ceiling. You got Gary Trent. You have Fred. I don't think Fred is quote-unquote a true point guard, but he can hold down that position, and he's closer to a true point guard than just a straight-up shot chucker scorer. He's in the middle. He's in the sweet spot where...
Is he more of a point guard than D'Angelo Russell?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't think you're getting a lottery pick out of Fred VanVleet, though, in a trade. Not because of his talent, because of the contract he has.
I think the Raptors, they already have a player who's proven he can be the second best player on the championship team in Siakam. You already have Fred VanVleet, who's proven himself on a big stage. You need a combination of veterans and young players to ultimately grow the organization. Yep. And I just think that trying to tank is just not the right way to go. And I don't think the Raptors are trying to build their organization that way. Even when they had DeRozan and Lowry, every year they probably knew they were losing in the playoffs, but they still continued to fight. And then an opportunity opened up to get Kawhi Leonard. You get him, you win a championship. Toronto's going to always want to be competitive, but when that opportunity opens up to get that star player, they're going to pounce on it. But I don't think this season is the year to trade any of their core guys. I think it's not the year. And this next question is from Diego Rosa, 2420. Are the Celtics better without Jaylen Brown?
This for you, buddy.
No way. I mean, why does he think that?
Because you guys have been winning without Jaylen
I know.
Brown.
We've been 8-3 in our last 11.
Played the Rockets, the Thunder.
Listen, I'm not on his side. Don't get me wrong. Don't even think about it. Jaylen Brown's a all-star level guard. He's averaging 25 this year. He's averaging more points than Tatum.
No, he's not. I'm playing.
I was about to say. I don't see any world where Jaylen Brown leaves his team and we get better. You know what I mean? I know you could go on little stretches where maybe the offense runs a little bit better, or Tatum just has a couple of nights where he's had, multiple 30-night performances in a row.
That's because Tatum's better.
Yeah, no, I'm not arguing that.
You better not argue it.
I know Drew thinks differently. I mean, Drew's kind of like 50-50. Jaylen Brown.
I love Jaylen Brown.
I don't know. He's a dog, nonetheless.
Jaylen Brown.
He's whatever.
Oh, okay. Be the best player on the Knicks.
Easily be your best player.
Hell no.
Bro, who?
Overnight, he's your best player.
Is Brown all NBA? He's not all NBA.
Okay. You wouldn't trade Julius Randle for Jaylen Brown today?
Absolutely.
Dude, DeAndre Jordan, all NBA. Hey.
No, he really is. That's hilarious.
First team. That's nuts.
Yeah, but regardless.
I'm with you. I don't.
There's no way that Jaylen Brown
unless you
takes the Celtics team to a different height with Jaylen Brown.
Let me ask you a question: Jaylen Brown or for De'Aaron Fox? Would you say yes?
De'Aaron.
That's hard. Just because I have such
What's how you say his name?
I would just rather have. I would rather keep.
Oh.
I'd rather keep Jaylen and just get a different point guard that we don't have to give up Jaylen for.
I get you, but you've been trying to get a different point guard for a long time.
Bro.
So.
But Dennis hasn't been horrible for
Dennis
them.
has been solid.
He's not a
But yes,
point
he's
guard.
not a championship level point guard that we need to really elevate us.
I don't know about that. I just think he's not a true point guard.
Dennis?
I think he's more like
Now they're smart though. I mean, Smart's is
I think
he's not a point guard.
I know, but
he's more along the lines of a scoring guard than anything.
Schroeder?
Yeah, I think you guys need a point guard like
Ricky Rubio.
That type of point guard.
Which I'd be fine with because you don't have to give up Jaylen Brown for that.
He's a champion.
I'd rather keep Jaylen and Tatum because I know people don't really like to say they work together, but they work together. Two wings that could score the ball and they could defend.
It takes time. It takes time.
I was gonna say, bro, Jaylen Brown. I mean, Tatum's in year 5.
It's not even that. This is probably year 2 of them both being all-star level players last year, and then this year being that these are the
JB really came alive in the bubble.
It's gonna take time for them to fully, you know what I'm saying, figure it out.
It's the surrounding parts. Al Horford's been a really good pickup for us. Rob Williams has been phenomenal so far. Schroeder's played well. Marcus Smart's played. He's had some Marcus Smart moments, but overall he's played really well for a point guard role. Yeah. What'd you say?
He's an idiot. At times he's an idiot. You know.
Yeah, but you take the good and the bad with Smart though. You know.
Yeah, it's like he's like a Westbrook. You just go live with the good and struggle with the bad and be okay with it.
Now, this is a question from Jonathan Osborne from the 6 Man Show.
Okay.
Shout out to Jonathan.
He says, Chet Holmgren or Victor Wembanyama, who is the better player? Or who are you taking like long term?
Let's hear it,
Victor.
Coach Riv.
Easily.
I think his game's more dynamic as well.
I think his defensive potential just far exceeds Chet's defensive potential. Like, I think defensively he's far and away. He's like his comp is probably like
Mitchell Robinson.
No, it's like a Rudy Gobert with offense. You know, a Rudy Gobert that can shoot and space the floor. If you get something like that, dude, it's like.
Is he? Would you say he's Kristaps Porzingis mixed with Rudy Gobert?
Yes, I think he fits along the line there. Chet is a weird. He's weird. I don't know how to like assess his game.
He just frame wise, he's very skinny.
Is Victor can play the 5?
Victor can play the 5 or the 4.
I know he's
7'2".
He's just like thin.
He is thin. They're both thin. It's the difference is Victor doesn't play thin.
I think the difference for me is I just seeing their frame and their body and their physique, I think it's going to be much easier for Victor to grow into his body and gain muscle than Chet. I think Chet.
I haven't seen either of them play, so
I think Chet has a long way to go in his body development. But if it happens, then he's going to be a force because I think both are, outstanding prospects.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've seen Chet get moved around by 6'5" bigs in college, man. It's like
when France and USA matched up, Wembanyama gave him the business.
He did.
Yeah, he's better. You're a better player.
I think he is.
The lesser player at the business.
You would draft Victor over Amani Bates?
Hell no.
No, Amani's the guy.
I'm taking Amani over.
Amani's low-key baby KD.
He has short arms.
Yeah, I don't. He's more.
Well, KD's physique is one of a kind.
He plays more like T-Mac to me.
Okay, I could get behind that.
Amani's a year away, right?
Yeah.
He's in college.
Victor
but
and Amani are gonna come out at the same time. So next year.
So you get to see Amani dominate college probably
That's
for 2 years.
Very exciting. I'm very happy about
why
that.
Is that?
Because
he's
too young.
Yeah.
He's too young.
Oh, damn. Yeah. I mean, so bro, what is he like? 16?
He won't be 18 until after the next year's draft.
Oh, so he's still growing, probably.
He's 17 and still cooking.
Yeah, no, he's cooking grown men. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, no, I've heard about Amani Bates for a while. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
Chet
Amani
too,
Bates
but
is
Victor,
different.
I feel like
Amani Bates is really talented, man. Nick's got to get him.
Oh God.
You guys got to get really bad.
You guys got to get
fast.
like everybody. Like Victor, you got to get Amani Bates. You need to get Mikey Williams when he comes out.
You get Chandler Hutchinson.
You're in on Mikey?
I'm definitely in on Mikey.
Okay.
No, we need to get Kennedy Chandler.
Is Mikey cooler than he is at basketball?
I don't know him personally.
I'm just saying, like, he seems to have like a social media presence.
He's actually doesn't like talking to people. If you watch his like interviews,
That's
he kind of
cool.
just sticks to
What
basketball.
Drew is asking is his social media bigger than his game?
That is what I'm asking.
Probably.
Okay.
Because
I feel like wasn't he was the
just
number
got
one
signed to
prospect.
Puma.
That's tough because he's socially people really
probably
rock with
you
him.
could probably say that about a lot of guys.
Did he drop from number one prospect?
He was never one. It was
Okay.
always DJ Wagner.
Okay.
Basically, like it's like what he's asking is his social bigger than his game in the sense that Kyrie Walker, his social media presence and media presence is bigger than his actual skill set.
I don't want to sound disrespectful to Mikey. I'm asking you personally.
No, I would probably say yeah. But Mikey can back his social.
Yeah.
With Kyrie, he couldn't back it up. Mikey can back it up. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
So next question is from @Hunchback on Twitter.
What the hell?
Kristaps Porzingis' recent play. What are your thoughts on that?
He's been
I just
hooping.
tweeted that.
Bro's been hooping.
Well, better question is, what does his recent play show you for Dallas? Like, how competitive does this make you in the playoffs? Because you said
yes.
You
When he's
said
on, they're on.
Yeah. So how far can they go if he's playing like this?
I'm hoping past the first
I don't
round.
need you to hope. I want you to give
Right
me an
now,
The
analysis.
only
Porzingis-
issue is when go ahead, bro.
Right now, Porzingis is playing at an all-star level. He's playing like New York Knicks Porzingis, and we saw flashes of this before. If he can sustain this with Luka being as great as he is, they can definitely get out the first round for sure. First time Luka's going to do it. First time KP is going to do it. And it's funny how fluid the NBA is because when Randall gets to New York that first year, KP and Randall are always going to be linked because he's the one who took over KP's spot in New York. Everybody talked about how KP is better than Randall. The Knicks lost that trade tremendously. Then the very next year, Randall's All-NBA. Porzingis doesn't have his best season. He doesn't do good in the playoffs. Now all of a sudden, should be on the Shanghai Sharks. And now this year, he's playing great. Randall's been inconsistent, and it looks like KP is better than Randall. It's so fluid, but I think KP, I love the duo of Luka and KP. And if KP is on, playing at this all-star level, and most importantly, playing great defensively,
Facts.
the ceiling for the Mavs is very high.
I think what really stood out to me is, going to last night's game, Clippers and Dallas. Clippers, their formulas go small. That's how they beat Dallas last year's playoffs. Porzingis was not effective. This last night, you saw Porzingis attacking the offensive glass, starting to, they put Lil Bledsoe on him. You would think last year he wouldn't do anything this year. Now he's putting him in the post. Yeah, barbecue chicken. He's hitting jumps. Like, you saw just a different energy Porzingis, a more aggressive Porzingis on the offensive end and the defensive end. So I think if they get that, the sky's the limit because Porzingis is still young. Luka is relatively extremely young. You got Jalen Brunson. So I think, this team could definitely finally get out the first round depending on who they play. Porzingis just has to maintain this play and hopefully don't get hurt because I think that's always it.
Is that a testament to Jason Kidd's coaching?
I mean, I thought, Jason Kidd maybe.
I need a few more games. I need to see the season play out.
So far,
before.
you can say it.
Yeah,
so
you
far,
can.
Yeah.
You can.
It's been a bright spot for them.
But Mavs fans have been adamant that the Mavericks don't look as great as the record says. Look at the plus-minus. They have a minus differential. They just happen to be pulling out points because the schedule has been so
plus
iffy.
Minus, I hear them, but it's like you're winning. Who cares?
I'm with you. That's why I don't understand the complaints if you're winning.
Plus minus only goes so far. You're winning games, bro.
It's like you have Luka playing probably, for Luka's sake, the worst basketball in his short career. He's still averaging 24, 25 points almost.
I think fans go into the numbers too much. Just a little too much.
It's funny because in our preseason standings, we didn't think highly of the Mavericks. And Mavericks fans are just like, oh, you guys don't know what you're talking about. Then when we say that they're good, everybody's like,
we're not that good.
You're crazy, bro. Have you been? You obviously don't watch.
We just got to talk and not listen.
This is from Court Cousins. NBA team most in trouble: Kings, Knicks, Nuggets, or Lakers?
It's got to be the Lakers.
Oh my god!
And even more than the Kings.
I would say the Lakers because the Lakers have championship aspirations.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Kings don't have any.
Kings ain't have any.
Kings who?
Knicks, Nuggets, or Lakers?
I would say the Nuggets are hurt. The Nuggets aren't in trouble. They're just hurt. The Knicks, they're in trouble, but not as in trouble as the Lakers because the Lakers have a cap on their success and they have a cap in their ceiling. LeBron's 37. AD's injury, he's probably peaked already because he's hurt so much. Westbrook's done. He's washed. So you have a limit.
Enough of this.
You have a
Enough
limit.
of this.
You have a limit on your team with the Knicks. RJ's young as hell. I think he's like 22, right?
21.
Yeah, he's 21. Mitch, we're still waiting on that jump, but he's young as hell. Quickly's young. Randall's still young. He's only like 26. They have young guys, so it's not a cap on their ceiling. With the Lakers, it's only so far you can go up.
I agree with him. Unfortunately, only for the fact that we do have hopes to win a championship. These other teams are not competing for a championship like we are. Knicks, obviously, they want to do better than they did last season, which would be probably break into that top 2, top 3 seed. It's a big ask to ask for the Knicks, especially when they're limited offensively, at least in my opinion. We need to see them be a little bit more consistent. We need to see Kemba Walker, Evan Fournier step up their game. Kemba Walker has been horrific these last 10 games, averaging less than 10 points a game. It's been really, really bad. But we need to see them pick it up. You look at the Kings. They've been struggling for sure, but I don't think outside of me, there's really no real expectations for the Kings. You look at the Nuggets. Again, it's Jokic for sure that everyone looks at and just thinks, he should be good enough to propel them to be a better or a decent seed in the West. It's tough when you're doing it every single night by yourself. The roster, as currently constructed, is not a real powerhouse come playoff time. You need Jamal Murray back. You need Michael Porter back. And then you could really talk about whether they're going to be a disappointment or not. You look at the Lakers. I thought that they were going to be excellent this season. They haven't been. And when you look at us being under 500, that's no way that any normal basketball fan thought that would be the case.
You said 65 wins.
I did, man.
For the Lakers?
That's what he said. No, he said that clean.
That's
clean.
about to be done in like
65
20
wins
games.
is crazy, bro.
Be nice. Be
Bro
nice.
said
man.
65.
I'm hurting.
I
I'm
told
hurting.
y'all,
Like-
bro. I told y'all Kim was washed, bro. I didn't want. I told you
65
guys
is like
Kemba was
we are a
washed,
super
boy.
team.
Yeah, we were.
Disgusting.
We're supposed to be.
Yeah,
That's
you just had
17
crazy
losses.
expectations.
That's
17
17 losses.
You're close.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You're
Halfway
close.
there.
What'd you say? The Warriors win about 60 games, right? You see how that just flipped in life? You know, they're 15-2. You guys are 8-9, 9-8.
Okay, the Kings are the most in trouble. They don't have.
Think so?
They don't have a past, present, or future.
I'm screaming.
The Kings haven't made the playoffs since 2006.
Their pass was dope. Chris
There's-
Webber, pay job.
There's a chance that the Lakers can figure it out and win a championship. You can't rule that out. They have LeBron, Westbrook, and AD. If they go crazy in the playoffs,
Enough of you.
like there's like at least Lakers fans are gonna see a good product on the floor when it
fact.
clicks. The Knicks, we're probably gonna make the playoffs or playing. It depends, you know. So we have something to look forward to.
What was the other team?
The Nuggets.
Nuggets.
The Nuggets have Jokic. He's one of the best offensive centers of all time. Going to lead the Nuggets to the playoffs again, most likely. The Kings have nothing. They just fired their coach. They're the most in trouble because where do they go? At least with the Lakers, you have a direction. With the Knicks, you have a direction. With the Nuggets, you have a direction. They have things to look forward to. If you're a Kings fan, you're miserable right now. They're obviously in the most trouble.
Yeah, but they've been miserable they've been in the same spot for how long? So how long are we going to say the most in trouble? They're in the same trouble they was in yesterday, the last year.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Would you rather be broke in the hood or the suburbs?
Definitely broke in the hood.
You think so?
Yeah, without a doubt. What the hell?
So you'd rather be broke in the
Because
hood?
you stand out in the suburbs if you're broke.
If you're broke in the suburbs, there's no way you cannot be broke.
But I'm not saying like people wouldn't know you're broke in the suburbs because you still be living in a really nice house.
Oh wait, so then you're adding no, because if you're broke in the
Yeah.
suburbs, you're not living in a nice house.
No, yeah, you are. Or you could just be living off the rent that you're getting off the
Oh,
house
then
or
say
something else.
that. If you're
Or
broke in
maybe
the
you
hood,
just
at
have
least
enough money to pay
if
for
you're
that
broke in the
house.
hood, at least you're with your people.
Community.
You know, you're with your community. You can. You know,
I'm just saying that I say that analogy to say this. At least the Lakers are one of the more in trouble teams amongst the contenders. We still put them there. The Knicks, at least we have those playoff aspirations. We have a good product on the floor. The Nuggets have Jokic. They're competitive. The Kings are bottom dwellers. So they're bottom dwellers, and even amongst the bottom dwellers, they have the most alarming problems. Like Cleveland has been bottom dweller for years, but now their future is turning up. So the Kings are still they're in the sewer. At least the Lakers are walking on the floor. That's what I'm saying.
I can see your point. I don't know. I just look at
Good
it.
argument.
Yeah.
I just look at it as like if you have championship aspirations and you're at the bottom of the barrel at your championship aspirations, it's like you're the most trouble right now.
Nah, you're wrong, bro.
It's like ultimately the main goal, and I say this every single time we talk about it. If you're not coming into the season to win a championship, why
You're
are you
already
showing up?
you're already.
I mean, you think
Yeah, but a lot of teams don't go into every
Of
year.
course,
being like,
listen, I get
But
that.
if you're
at
not
the
even
same
coming
time,
in to make the
come
playoffs,
on.
you're already.
Facts.
I mean,
your
Drew
season's
thinks
failed
that
already.
any team that doesn't win the championship is a failure.
Do you really?
I think so.
bro, but you want to see if you're a young
Wow.
team, you just want to see your guys progress.
Like you look at the Knicks, excuse me.
They haven't won a
had
ring in 7
they had
years,
a
bro.
successful season for what their
So
expectations
you think the
were.
Knicks have failed for 70 seasons?
70 is strong. I mean, they have championships.
So I'm saying I'm exaggerating the number, but they haven't won since the 70s. So you think after that ring, they have failed every single year?
The year that they lost to the Rockets, is that a success or a failure?
You mean the Spurs?
No, in the finals.
95.
Oh, okay. I thought the recent.
I
one was the
understand.
Spurs. That's a
It's a
success.
it's-
That's success.
You
make the finals,
I
you're
can't
success.
agree,
You
man.
make the finals,
I
you're
can't
success.
agree.
The Knicks made the finals.
Wait,
as
so
the
wait,
eighth seed.
okay, wait, so wait. So you think if you lose, it's a failure?
But
So wait,
if
wait,
you're a
wait, wait, wait. So
championship
wait,
contender-
okay. You think if you lose in the finals, it's a failure?
I'm consistent. I'm gonna say yes to whatever question you ask
So
me.
LeBron has failed every time he's lost in the finals.
Unfortunately,
Okay.
2018.
You're keeping consistent with that.
2018's tough.
But he failed.
He did,
Okay.
but that's tough.
So that's your mindset. If you don't win, you fail.
I'm
That's
very
a failure.
So the
consistent.
Knicks in 99-2000, they made the finals as the 8th seed. And they lost to the Spurs ultimately because Patrick Ewing got hurt. Was that a failure
No.
of a season?
No, if you overachieve,
Bro, you just said.
You just
the thing is ultimately, if you don't win a championship,
But
you
you just-
did fail,
you just
but
said
you
LeBron-
had winning moments.
but you said LeBron failed in
He did.
2018.
He did.
But he overachieved.
But he did exactly.
You being okay? All right, you're being picky, but I get you. I feel you. I feel you. You're being picky.
This is-
but it's
that's
your
just how
logic.
I see it,
Okay,
yeah.
I feel.
This is from Hanit Muhammad. Clippers' chances to win if Kawhi comes back.
Well, he's not coming back.
He said if.
He's not
Don't do
coming
that.
back.
He said for sure he's done.
It's done. He's out for the
Oh,
season.
Well, if he was to come back, I think they have the second or third best odds in the
Yeah, they
West.
have a great team. Last
Yeah.
year, you saw it.
I think it's Warriors are one for me, regardless. Two is probably the Clippers. I put them a little bit over the Suns, unless the Suns get Towns.
Yeah,
If
I
the
think
Suns
they're.
get Towns, now we're talking.
I think they're right there.
Is
though.
that actual talk?
I don't
Or that's
think
just
it's
you?
actually- that's just me.
Okay.
But with the following we have, it could become a narrative. You never know.
I like that.
No, yeah, with this team, if you add Kawhi, instantly they go right up to the back to the top of
Yeah,
the
I'm
West.
with you.
Easily.
Imagine the power that these sports media analysts have. Like Stephen A. Smith can go on First Take
Bro, he's hilarious.
and say something, and then all of a sudden it catches traction in the NBA world. If he were to propose the cat trade I'd propose, now everybody's talking about it.
He literally is the one who started when he was like, listen, Kyrie and Katie were going to the Knicks. Like, he started that. People were like, Katie was like, he's lying. And Stephen A was like, I don't care what Katie says. I know that was going to happen. It was like, what, bro?
He probably ruined their chances to get KD.
Now, he has a point because Katie, when they came out and Katie said, and he said it recently, he was like, we never discussed going to Brooklyn. But during the All-Star game, Katie and Kyrie were discussing going to Brooklyn. So Katie's been caught lying a few times.
So F.35racks_ asks, how far can the Ravens go? I think they're going to lose in the wild card divisional round. Their defense just isn't good. They have a lot of weapons now, but I just think defensively they're not a good team. And I don't think they can beat the Chiefs or Patriots in the playoffs. Even the Bills, I don't think they can beat the Bills in the playoffs. And I know that the Ravens completely manhandled the Chargers. But if the Chargers face them, I think the Chargers win, or the Colts if they face them in the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't think that Chargers game is a testament to what the Chargers or Ravens are. I think the Ravens, they'll make the playoffs, they'll win 1 or 2 games, but I don't see them as a AFC
Super Bowl
yeah,
contender.
Yeah, AFC, like going to the AFC Championship game. I don't know if that's in their realm possibility because of the defense, but when you have Lamar Jackson and that offense, I mean, anything's possible, especially if you're able to run the ball as well as they're able to keep the opposing offense off the field, you know, even if it is New England, who has one of the best defenses in the NFL, but if you're able to just run the ball and just keep them off the field, even though the defense is the stronger part of it, I mean, you're going to have a chance in any game. But realistically, I think their ceiling is probably second round the playoffs.
I'm on a similar wavelength with Joel. I think that it's possible that they could get out of the first round, but that defense is limited.
I think they'll win a playoff game.
It depends on the matchup. It depends
is,
on the matchup because, like Joel said, I don't have them against Kansas City. I don't have them against the Patriots right now, me personally.
They'll probably have a home playoff game. I think they win the division.
They could.
They'll have a home playoff game.
Yeah, they could. That division is close right now.
I think we're all in the same realm, though. I think Lamar is going to get him one. He can get him one. He's proven that he can carry. He's given him one. And in the fourth quarter, he's been phenomenal for them. So I think he can get him one. To say they can go to the AFC Championship game, not this year, though. I think the defense isn't that good.
They need health.
And Lamar's just it's too much on Lamar right now. So I don't think this is the year, but they can definitely get one win.
Next question from JBH_0775. Can the Cowboys really make it to the Super Bowl? And he asked about 4 questions in the comments. But this is the question we're picking out. So can the Cowboys really make it to the Super Bowl? I think they can. I've said before, if they face Green Bay, they can beat Green Bay. They can beat the Rams, I think. They can beat the Rams. Arizona, they don't have a good rush defense. I think Cowboys can beat them. Really, it's only the Bucs that stand in their way. The Bucs are just that great. The Cowboys can definitely make it. They're contenders, in my opinion. They're contenders. They're for real.
Yeah, I agree. I think they have as good a chance as anybody. I mean, they have an outside shot. They're 2 games behind the Cardinals right now for that 1 seed, so I don't think they get it. But they have an outside shot to get the 1 seed, have a bye, and home field advantage for the rest of the playoffs. They could run the ball just as good as anyone with 2 really good running backs. Obviously, Dak is having an MVP level type season, and that defense has been phenomenal this year. I know they're getting Marcus Lawrence back, I believe soon. Randy Gregory as well. Trayvon Diggs. Kind of a hit or miss, but if you're opportunistic, what'd you say?
Very nice.
If you're an opportunistic defense who could cause turnovers, which what the Cowboys can do, and Micah Parsons, not only he should be in defensive rookie of the year, he should be
defensive player of the year.
Defensive player of the year, just up there with anyone. He's one of the more
Miles
special.
Garrett?
It's close, man.
He's up there,
it's
bro.
Close.
He played because he could do everything. He could cover side to side in terms of being able to cover the defense as well as the opposing linebacker, whoever it is, and rush the passer.
No,
Bro,
I don't like that.
Bro, there's a stat that says that Myles Garrett gets to the
just
quarterback.
gonna look at that. I
Myles Garrett
bookmarked
gets
it.
to the quarterback like 4.4. I forget what it is.
Myles Garrett sacks the quarterback on 4.49% of his rushes. Micah Parsons does it on 4.97% of his rushes.
Very good.
Yeah, Micah Parsons is a stud, and when coming out of the draft, he was not, hyped up to be this pass rusher. He was more of a coverage kind of off-ball linebacker, but he came in and he's shown right away that he could, be a really good pass rusher, even though it has been in some limited snaps.
Micah's a freak, bro. I've been talking
dude.
about him for like 2 years. I've been waiting for him to come to the NFL.
Facts.
Dallas has been exciting this year. Ezekiel Elliott has been great. Obviously, Amari Cooper has been a little underwhelming, which is unfortunate, truthfully. I expected this offense to click on all cylinders, CeeDee Lamb included, but we're seeing a lot of the offense is being spread out. You see Schultz getting involved. You see it's Cedric Wilson getting involved. Now that Gallup's back, we see Gallup getting involved.
That's gotta be your guy now. I hope you know that.
It is your guy.
Nice.
Cedric Wilson, Joel's guy. That's Joel's guy. That's what we're gonna say from here on out. Tony Pollard has a part into this offense. There's just a lot of versatility in this offense that Dallas can have. They've been excellent, and defensively, I believe that they are 27th in total points given up. Only given up a total of 20 points per game right now, which is excellent because they're able to force turnovers. A little bit of a tongue twister right there. They've been great, and they're doing this without arguably their best defensive player, if we're not counting Trayvon Diggs and what he's doing, and Micah Parsons. DeMarcus Lawrence has been the definition of consistency for Dallas for years now, and what his leadership means to the squad as well, it obviously has been missed, but you still keep that locker room presence when you're out and you're missing time. I expect Dallas to be right there with any team, truthfully. It's inevitable that they get it together come playoff time. There are some strong teams. Packers, I'm not sleeping. They get healthy. They're a strong threat to go to the bowl. Buccaneers, obviously, and my pick to go, the Rams. These 4 teams for me specifically. I don't want to count out Arizona. They've been great. That's very disrespectful for me to count them out. But I just look at these teams and the experience, and I think that's why I lean with these guys a little bit more. But ultimately, could they go? For sure. Are they my pick? No.
Shout out Dan Quinn, man.
Muy inteligente. So next question is from
I forgot. We're doing 19, right?
Yeah.
19 questions?
We have 3 more. We're almost done. This from @Outspoken. Are the Raiders done for the season?
They're done.
Yeah.
I think they're done.
They're done.
I fucking hate that I picked them.
You picked them to win the division.
Nah, that's really not. I knew I should never trust the
Or
Raiders.
You did it, bro. 2 out of the 3 years.
I did it in 2019. I didn't do it in 20. Last year,
2 out of 3.
Last year I said that they're gonna flounder.
Yeah.
That's a good word, right? Flounder.
Is that the
That's a
right
good word.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It is.
Let's see what
You
the
flop
definition
around,
is.
you're like,
All right, word.
Let's see what the definition is. Imagine something. Okay, struggle or stagger helplessly.
Yeah.
Valid.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, flounder. That's a great word. That's his first take, Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah, it's
word.
an SAT word.
They're floundering. They're floundering. Yeah, the Raiders. I think they're done though.
Yeah.
This is from Josiah Saboy. So maybe it's like he's sad boy, like sad boy, Saboy, or maybe it's Josiah Saboy.
Okay.
Maybe one of those. What NFL team surprised you in a good way and in a bad way?
You know what? I would actually say Arizona because I wasn't expecting them to be this great of a team. But in a bad way is that K1 hasn't been in and D-Hop hasn't been in these last stretch of games. And I want to see these guys be the focal point, be the talk of the town. This team hasn't been, as high on everyone's radar because Kyler and D-Hop haven't been in. That being said, they're still winning games. And I say it in a bad way only because I love Kyler and I love his game and I love DeAndre Hopkins and what he brings to the squad. And I want these guys to get the acknowledgement that they deserve. So that is my bad way. But ultimately, what the Cardinals have shown has been nothing but good.
Yeah, I'll probably say the same thing. I would say Arizona in a good way. I think I'm excited that they're playing great. I'm excited that they're doing their thing. And I'm glad A.J. Green found his footing again. People were calling him washed. And he was out of the league. But now he's been good. I'm not in a bad way, though, because I thought D-Hop was going to break out and have that incredible year with the guys with the guys next to him. He was going to be able to open the field more, but he's been banged up this year, so that would probably be my team too.
This is hard for me to answer because I've been right about the teams that have been surprising me. For example, before the season, the Eagles are the surprise team so far. I was like, they're going to be good, and people call me dumb for that. The Patriots, I literally said I wouldn't be shocked if they win the AFC East. I actually checked my betting. I put down a bet on FanDuel, and my bet was for the Patriots to win the AFC East. But it was a parlay with like every division.
I did that
so
too. I
lose.
honestly looked at the other day too, bro. I got like 6 out of the 8 wrong. It's not even close.
So I'll say this.
$1.
I'll say this. A surprising team in a good way for me was actually the Cowboys. I didn't expect the Cowboys to be this good. I had them third in the division. I had Washington 1, Eagles 2, and Dallas 3. So I was wrong on Dallas, and the team that surprised me in the wrong way was Washington. I thought they were going to be better, and they haven't been good this year. They're on a little bit of a winning streak, but we'll see how long that lasts. I'm trying to find another team, but I think those are the 2 teams I'm sticking with. And the Raiders, because
Washington was mine too. I thought they were going to take another step this year because I thought Fitzpatrick was going to be an upgrade over their quarterback situation last year. Yeah. I thought that defensive line would take another step up. They improved the secondary as well. And then on the good side, I did not expect New England to be this good. I thought they'd be a borderline playoff team with wild card aspirations, maybe win a game, but I wasn't expecting this defense to come back and be top-level defense again. And all the free agent signings, their tight ends have been solid. Their wide receivers we've had multiple disagreements on, but I didn't like most of their free agent signings. I thought they overpaid for a lot of guys. And in turn, we usually see if you pay a lot in free agency, it doesn't usually work well in the regular season, but it has for them because it's New England.
Actually, I forgot one. Cincinnati. Yeah, they surprised me, definitely. I had them as like a 4-win team.
Yeah, for sure.
So they surprised me, definitely. The Raiders, though, are the one team that surprised me in both ways. For one, they surprised me because they started winning, and then they surprised me again because it's like, oh, shit, you're losing when I thought you're going to keep winning.
Yeah.
So that's definitely my team, the Raiders. I think they fit both those molds. Now, this is from Tyson_Danger.
What about Vikings, real quick? I'm sorry.
Oh.
They're 5-5. Actually, we'll answer this question first because this guy just commented this 2 hours ago. It's from Wordsmith Gabriel. What do you think about the 5-5 Minnesota Vikings? One of the most talented teams in the NFL that just underperform. They are the only team to have a 7-point lead in all 10 games, and every game except 2 were basically close last drive games. Seahawks W and Cleveland L. The last 2 games were wins with the team relying much heavier on Justin Jefferson, but something tells me Mike Zimmer and just the Vikings in general won't smoothly turn the season around. Where do you see this going? Before the season, the Vikings were my surprise team in the NFL, and if one of you guys can pull up their schedule, I'd appreciate that.
I got you.
The Vikings, I thought the talent was definitely there, and I'm not out on them just yet. You know, you guys keep expecting me to change my pick on the Vikings.
I'm not.
I'm standing firm on what I say. You know, that's what Riv always likes to say. Now, that's not when it comes to football. When it comes
that's a fact.
When it comes to football, I rarely change my opinion. It's gonna take a couple things for me to change my opinion on that. The Vikings.
I'm gonna hold my tongue.
This guy.
I'm gonna hold my tongue.
Give me examples. I want some examples.
Jamar Chase.
The Rams.
The Rams, 100%. That was number one that came to my mind.
I said the Rams.
Lamar Jackson.
I always said that I didn't trust Stafford with the Rams.
Okay, what about Lamar?
Well, Lamar I was wrong about. That's simple as that.
Thank you.
Marquise Brown.
Well, what am I wrong about with him?
He's having a great year. Phenomenal year.
Come on now.
Mark Hollywood Brown, are we serious? Okay.
What do you
Come on now.
Come on.
You said he was okay. You said Auden Tate was good.
Okay.
Simple.
Auden Tate is good.
Oh my God.
Give him his opportunity.
Jesus,
God
bro.
damn it. Give him his opportunity. Look,
I'll give you you're funny. That's all you can get from me. That's it. You're funny.
Bro, give it up.
Look, we're going to post it on TikTok. Is Auden Tate a good or bad receiver?
Don't put me in that
And
video.
is Marquise Brown okay? Answer that, please.
Look, Auden Tate
Come
just
on.
needs an opportunity. That's all
Does he have
needs.
to earn it, though?
If Auden Tate was so good, why did the Bengals use the number 5 overall pick on Jamar Chase?
'Cause Jamar Chase is the
second round
generational
pick
wide
on T.
receiver.
Higgins. They re-signed
Exactly.
Tyler Boyd.
Come on.
Like, if he's that good,
Boy, stinks.
Can't pretend like T. Higgins didn't get drafted last
second
year.
round.
T. Higgins got drafted in the second round because John Ross busted.
Okay, but last year it was T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd,
And Auden
Tate had
Tate.
every chance to break out. Auden Tate's been in this league for what, 4 years?
You laugh because they're busted.
Auden Tate has an opportunity. He just needs an opportunity.
Bro.
Bring him to the Jets.
Oh
Watch
my
what
God.
happens on the
He's
Jets.
the 6th best receiver on the Jets.
He reminds me
No,
of
he's
like
not.
Brashad
Perryman?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, he could have a good season, but that's it.
Look, there's gonna be that one
good
year.
stretch.
There's gonna be that one year where Auden Tate has a Brandon Lloyd like season, and you guys are gonna look.
He's gonna have a
foolish.
good 6-game stretch one year. We're gonna go crazy. You're gonna go crazy going into the next year, and he's gonna do nothing.
Don't sleep on Auden Tate. I'm not sleeping on
I'll
him.
continue to sleep on him, bro.
Nah, but
All
yeah.
right, what did you need the schedule for?
Oh yeah, because they're 5-5 right now.
Okay, here we go. So they play the Niners.
That's a win.
This Sunday.
They're actually underdogs in that game. Actually.
They're at the Niners. That's
It's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be a good
Yeah,
game.
it's
Niners
gonna
been
be
playing
good.
really well lately.
They have been.
Jimmy G has been too.
I'll tell you what, Shanahan heard our trash talk. He's been stepping up.
I
I'll give it
guess
to him.
whatever.
Lions, they could easily win that.
That's
by
7-5
far.
for me. Right now.
Steelers gonna be a good
That's
game.
8-5
It's gonna
for
be
me
a
right
good
there.
game. Bears, they could win.
That's 9-5
Division
right there for me.
division game though,
Division game.
and they play twice, so they're bound to lose
they're gonna-
one.
That's
They're gonna
10-5
split.
for me right
They're
there.
gonna
They're
split,
winning
bro.
both.
Yeah.
Okay, this guy playing the Rams 11-5, right?
10. They'll finish 10-7.
And Packers,
Oh,
they just beat them.
they'll finish 10-7 or 11-5. My prediction for them before the season was 10-7, I believe, or 11-5.
Yeah, we'll look back.
Or 11-6, one of those. I actually had the Packers and Vikings having the same record, and I said whichever one, because the tiebreaker is going to be first, of course. But I had them having the same record. I think it was 11-6 or 10-7, one of those.
Packers have a better record though. They only have
14-3, right, Serge?
I don't know. They can lose some games here. I'm
you just
not,
said
look.
Rodgers is the best quarterback in the
Your
league.
optimism is good.
He has a messed up toe right now.
I know, but
He
he had
showed
a
his
messed up
toe,
toe
actually.
last
It was
week, and he was
disgusting.
amazing.
He was amazing.
I mean, yeah. I mean, but Kirk Cousins has been a top 5 quarterback this
nah,
year.
He has
Kirk's been a dog.
Top 5 is
Productivity-wise, absolutely.
I'm fine with it.
It's Captain Kirk.
I'm fine with it.
Relax.
I'm fine with it.
Man.
What I was going to say is just to hear Kirk Cousins in the top 5 conversation. A normal person would freak out, but you look at the numbers. He's been so productive with the
He's
football
been the
in his
number 1
hands.
rated. No, he's been the number 2 rated quarterback according to PFF.
He's been excellent.
He only has two
That's your
interceptions.
boy.
Captain Kirk.
Kurt.
Yeah, that's Captain Kirk, bro. I like Kirk.
Been a
Cousins.
dog, man. He's been a dog.
Kirk Cousins is the GOAT, bro.
It's crazy.
There we go.
He really could have been a Jet
Here we
too.
go. Here
He
we
could
go.
have been a
He
Jet.
could have been a
I
Jet.
remember that
Could've been
year,
a
bro.
He would have
That
been
all
a Jet,
season.
yo. If he was a Bronco, you guys win the Super Bowl by now.
If he was a Jet, bro, we would have won like 7 games, 3
you-
seasons in a row.
Do you remember how hard I wanted us to get Kirk Cousins, bro?
And me too, bro.
Captain Kirk.
Y'all were gonna give him like $100 million.
Yeah.
That's
But he got a fully guaranteed deal from Minnesota. That was the first contract
He
ever.
cut
that was
us, like,
100%
And now-
we're not
guaranteed.
going to-
This next question is from Tyson_Danger. And we're going to all contribute to this list because I think it's going to be pretty hard to, think about these players. Top 3 most overrated current players in the NBA.
Oh goodness, it's such a hard question to come up off the top.
Russell Westbrook.
knew
I was
that
thinking that
coming.
same name.
I knew it was coming. It's tough.
Is
Are we gonna say Ben? I don't want to say Ben.
I was gonna say is just is Jason Tatum getting into that?
I'm gonna catch up. Nah, bro.
He's not overrated.
No, I'm just playing. That was just to kick his butt.
That's just to kick his balls.
Hey, yo.
That's not what I said. That's like not what I
You said
said.
kick his butt.
Yeah, that's what I said.
It's the same thing, bro.
No, the balls and butt, not the same thing. Can we start? Can we have that
I'm
dialogue
looking
about De'Aaron
up.
Fox now?
That was a name I was thinking.
De'Aaron
unfortunately.
Fox.
Is everyone on the same page that Kemba's a scrub? Is that like
I've
valid
been
now?
on. I've been on that page. That was a clear page last year.
Yeah, because everyone went crazy when we traded him for like Al Horford.
Ooh.
You
I'm
were
saying
excited
just-
about him.
Media in
Kemba?
general.
Yeah.
I never thought that was a bad trade for the Celtics.
No, I'm saying, but you were excited coming in, guarding. He's home. Yeah,
I
welcome
was.
home.
I
RJ
was.
Barrett isn't overrated, right?
I don't even. He's rated.
He is
Bradley Beal.
Bradley Beal.
I'm asking if he's overrated. I'm not saying he is. I'm asking.
He would be on my list.
Overrated?
Mhm.
Joel?
D'Angelo Russell.
I think he's rated.
I think he's rated. People are starting to realize that he's really not
Demontis
it.
Sabonis.
I think he's extremely overrated.
Whoa, really?
Who do we have?
I have Westbrook,
I can't agree with Russ.
Fox, Beal, Sabonis.
Ugh, that hurts to hear.
Yeah, I think he's extreme. I think he's just like a whatever
I
player.
like him, man. I feel
I know
like
you like your Pacers.
John
just suck.
Collins.
Rated.
I don't think he's overrated.
Trying to just look at players.
I know.
and
I'm
just
literally
averages.
going through every player in the
Christian
NBA.
Wood.
Rated.
His season this year is not anything.
You're on some crazy names already, bro.
Who, me?
Let's see, like Michael Flynn.
Kyle Lowry.
I think he's rated, bro.
Okay.
What about Keldon Johnson?
Who overrates him other than Spurs? I think only Spurs guys overrate him.
Or
Honestly.
Rashawn Holmes. He's a beast.
Rashawn was a beast.
He's a beast.
That would probably be on our list. Overrated.
And y'all would look dumb. Simple.
Beast is
Karis
crazy.
LeVert.
Karis LeVert
Been injured a lot.
People think he's, you know what I'm saying, but he's not really. You know what I'm saying? Like
He's a fan fave. That's why you can't disrespect him, but low key.
Kevin Porter Jr.
That could be another one.
Top 3, man. That's hard.
Miles Turner.
I don't think he is.
We're naming a lot of guys.
Yeah. I'm looking at averages. Lonzo Ball.
That's another one.
I don't think he's overrated.
His fans do think he's this god.
Given what he actually is, I don't think he's overrated. He's an amazing defender. He's been improving his offense every year. He can facilitate.
I'm here. No, I'm here, bro. Chris Middleton?
No.
I'm just asking. Just throw that name out there. Tobias Harris.
I was thinking that, but they've been playing well, and I don't want to say
he's so mid as shit.
That shit is crazy.
Like, come on,
he's
bro.
not mid.
He's like, come
He's
on,
not mid. Stop
he's
it.
he's the mark of mid,
Oh
bro.
my god, enough.
All right, what is he?
You give him 35 a year?
I would not give him, bro. Come on, I'd give Ben 35 if I get
Julius
Tobias.
Randle.
He's starting to become overrated.
You answered that
I
question.
mean, I don't know. I'm just asking you
He's
guys.
better than
think he's-
Jaylen Brown.
I think
right?
he's
If
overrated.
he continues on this pace, he'll definitely start to become overrated.
Bro, I'm going through legitimately every single player in
DeAndre
the NBA.
Ayton?
That's a good one.
That is a good one. I
Mitchell
don't think.
Robinson. He can't stay
Can't
healthy.
stay healthy.
Bro can't score.
Yo, just name every player on the Knicks right now. What's going on, bro?
I'm just
D Rose
looking
is
at
now
the list.
overrated.
No, he's
Don't
not.
disrespect
He's not.
him.
He's not.
Darius Baisley.
Is Klay Thompson starting to become overrated?
No.
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 He also hasn't played in 2 years. Like,
And
how do
people
you
think
even-
he's still, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, last time he was on the court, bro, he's a top 3 shooter.
He's forever going to be that.
And that's what I'm saying, though. But that's what they're asking him to be. I don't know if the defense is going to be there when he comes
Is
back.
Draymond overrated?
No.
No.
Nah.
Underrated.
I say he just plays his role.
I agree with that.
Perfectly.
He is underrated.
So who do we name? Let's talk about who we named.
Westbrook.
I feel like Russ is a firm one there, unfortunately.
KPJ we named. I think Sabonis we named.
Sabonis, Russ.
KPJ,
Fox.
we named. I literally forgot.
Is
everyone
Siakam
else.
overrated?
I don't think so.
I think that's a good dialogue.
Low key. It's tough. Because low key, his offensive game is very
stick-like.
Exactly.
Very upgraded RJ
Bro
Barrett.
gets the ball, comes into the paint, will back you down, spin move, try and go up. That's him.
It's really funny coming from you.
Why do you say that?
Because you have Westbrook.
Oh my god.
Okay, let's look at this list. 10 overrated players right now. Russell Westbrook is on the list. Ben Simmons, Kyrie Irving,
Can't agree with
Tobias,
Tobias.
Kemba Walker,
Told you.
Kevin Love, John Wall, Wiggins, Draymond. Draymond and Wiggins made this list
I
ridiculous.
think Kevin Love, we know what he is at
Aaron
this point.
Gordon.
I didn't want to say Aaron Gordon because I feel like he's just
My 3 is definitely Westbrook, Fox, Sabonis.
Your 3 is Westbrook, Fox, and Sabonis.
Yeah.
Okay. Instead of Fox, I'm throwing in Aaron Gordon for mine.
Okay.
So I think Sabonis, Russ, Gordon, but I even will take out Russ and put Kevin Porter Jr. in there.
I could probably substitute that out. No, I'll probably substitute Fox out for KPJ.
Michael Porter Jr.
Ooh, I'm taking Russ out. No, I'm taking Fox out. Throw me MPJ in there. Russell Westbrook. Wow, Russell Wilson. Russell Westbrook, Sabonis, MPJ.
I feel like he has to be in there for me.
Sabonis for me though, he's number 1. He's the most overrated player I've ever seen in my life. He's such a whatever guy.
I think Lonzo's also a bit overrated.
You think so? You still on that? You still?
Man, y'all thought he was gonna have a breakout season.
Wait a minute.
my
Wait
God.
a minute.
Hold on. I just want to look.
Who y'all?
For
Who
one,
is
I
y'all?
want to say. I want to
Me
say
and
this.
Riv basically were on the same page all off season long.
Hold
with
on.
the Bulls
I want to
and
say this.
Lonzo.
I want to say
Go ahead,
this
speak.
because in the offseason, I said Lonzo is going to play basically fourth fiddle on the Chicago Bulls, basically, right? And he's averaging 12 points per game. He's been an All NBA defender. I'll
We
give you
agreed
that.
with you, though.
No, I know, but on TikTok, I got a lot. I
Oh,
got
okay,
a lot of
all right, so you
backlash.
Who cares about him?
You
Who?
talking to the
No, but I'm
TikTok
saying,
guys.
I mean, it's a lot of people having an opinion. I mean, they thought I was dumb for thinking Lonzo was going to be the fourth
But
option.
you also said that Lonzo Ball was going to be fourth
In handling the
the
basketball.
ball, and he hasn't been that.
Or just the fourth option.
That was what I was mostly pushing back on.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think Lonzo is a bit overrated. He is overrated because his fans think he's an all-star caliber player. He's an all-NBA defender for sure. But Lonzo,
At least you know that now.
Lonzo, well, I knew he was a great defender.
No, like he's been a great on-ball defender
Okay,
though. So now
watch
he was
your
wrong.
mouth.
No, he was wrong
Now-
about that.
Watch your mouth.
But I'll say this. Lonzo's fans think he's going to be some superstar all-star.
He's only 24.
He's not going to be that. We know he's not going to be that.
You thought Randall was going to be All-NBA?
It's a different situation.
Why? Why?
You want to know why? Because LaVine's going to get locked up with the Bulls for multiple years. So is DeRozan's going to be with you guys for how much?
He's 31.
Okay, but he's going to be with 2 more years. Okay.
Nah,
so
he can play till he's like 34, 35.
No, I'm saying, but he won't be this at 33, 34.
So you'll have LaVine and DeMar as your 2 guys with Vucevic for at least 3 seasons.
Big Pat. Don't forget Big Pat.
And Pat Will's coming back. Lonzo's not going to be an all-star. It's just not.
Yeah.
Maybe one day.
He's averaging 12 points and 6 assists.
He's an
Hey,
amazing
shooting
defender.
40% from that three-point
What was
line, though.
Draymond averaging when he made the All-Star team?
Lonzo is great in his role, but he's not a star player.
Agreed.
He's great in his role, though.
Is Draymond Green a star player in your opinion?
Yes. He's a champion.
So is James Jones. It's like
That's such a
stop.
dumb. He put in no work for that.
No, I would
Like-
say that, but don't say he's a champion. There's a lot of
Nah,
champions.
but you know what I mean. Draymond put in work.
No, but you
It's an
said
integral
I
part
get
of that.
he's an integral part, but we also seen him by himself. He was freaking horrible.
Yeah, I mean,
He's pretty shitty.
He's not carrying the team.
That's why it's like when you say Draymond's a star, it's like yeah, but it's like you got to kind of like fight with that because it's like you know what I'm saying. What kind of star?
Look at the Warriors on and off.
Like I
numbers
think
with Draymond.
Draymond's a Hall of Famer. It was Dennis Rodman a star in your opinion?
No,
Yes, he was a star.
it wasn't.
He was the best rebounder in the league.
And with us,
Yeah, just his career.
When he came to you guys,
I'm
he
speaking
absolutely-
from us.
But that's what I'm saying. When he
He
came
wasn't
to
a star with
when
us.
he came to you guys, he changed the Bulls. Obviously, you guys already had three-peated. He made you guys a cheat code.
He got benched in the 3rd year.
But that was the 3rd year. You guys were getting old, and that's why they wanted
I
to
don't
blow
think
up the
Dennis
team.
was a star though.
96, I give him. He was a star.
Draymond's a star, bro. Let's cut the crap.
I would say there were the 2016 season he was a star. The
sure. 2017
season he was a star.
sure.
2018 you guys won. I'll give him. He's a star. After that, no.
Okay, so our list for most overrated players.
It's hard. It's a tough list.
Look,
to
for
make.
me, I think number 1 is DeMontis Sabonis. I think he's overrated.
Yeah, he is.
He is overrated.
What are you mad about?
I like him.
What does he do?
He can pass the ball for a big man.
Why
He
do you
can
think
score.
Pacer guy?
He can't
I
defend
went
at
in on him
all.
early.
He can't.
Oh.
And he's
He
just
can't
like a
defend at
No,
all.
he can't. His defense is bad.
he's just a lefty magic.
Julius Randle is creeping into that overrated category,
If he continues to play like this,
and
yes.
Sabonis isn't as good as Randle. He's worse than Randle. And I think people think Sabonis is like a consensus all-star.
I don't think so.
I think there's players more valuable than him, to be honest.
Sabonis stats make you think he's better than what he really is. That's
So
all
who
it is.
else did we name? KPJ, I think he's too young for us to put him there.
Michael
think
Porter
we-
Jr.
Michael Porter Jr.
But wouldn't he be too young
He's on
too?
his way. Yeah, I think, we have to give MPJ a little bit of time. Aaron Gordon, for sure, is overrated.
Fair.
And he shows you these flashes where you think he can be good, and then he just never becomes that good. So I think he's overrated as well.
What about Jeremy Grant?
He's been playing a little bit better than what we've been
But is he
giving him credit
overrated?
for.
Because
I don't
his
think so.
role, I think, prohibits him to play that way.
I agree, but I think he's rated because the
We've seen
consensus
him-
was that we're going to see him drop off a little bit.
We've seen Jeremy Grant in a role player role. He excels in that, and we've seen him as a first option, and he
He's not
exceeded our
horrible.
expectations in
Exactly.
that. So I
Agreed.
can't say that.
I agree.
So who's the third?
Perfectly
You
said.
can say Russell Westbrook, but he's still an all-star. He's averaging
know.
close to
He's a
triple-double.
triple-double.
It's
You
hard
can't.
for me to say Russ is overrated. I think there are players more deserving
Russ
of that
won't
title
be an
than
all-star
Russ.
in the West.
So you think Russ is overrated. So you'd put him.
Yeah.
So
you
you're
have
three.
a vendetta against
No,
him.
he won't be an all-star in
No,
the
I
West.
understand, but like, what's wrong? Like, what
Nothing.
did he do to you?
Went to L.A.
So your 3 overrated players are Russ, Sabonis, and
Fox.
Fox. So no Aaron Gordon.
Nah,
You're
I
putting
wouldn't put-
Fox.
I
So
wouldn't
you
put-
think De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah.
If it's my list, I'm putting Sabonis, Aaron Gordon, and Lonzo Ball as my 3. So overrated players, I think those 3. And this doesn't
So
mean
tough for me to make one.
this doesn't mean they're bad players. It
No,
just
they're
means
all
that
good.
people think they're better than they actually are.
They're all good players still. Like, everybody we named, aside maybe from Aaron Gordon, is good players.
Even Aaron Gordon is a good player. though.
yeah, he's stretching it, you know.
He is a good player.
All right. He's cool.
I feel like D'Angelo. I would probably say.
You would
D'Lo's
say
kind of
D'Lo?
overrated.
I would say MPJ. I would say D'Lo.
I think people have overrated D'Lo ever since that
Oh
Brooklyn
my
run.
god,
D'Lo's
I love
inefficient.
him.
Yeah. I love him too. I love his game. He's like fun to
I
watch.
like him as for sure, but he's just so inconsistent. People swear that he's
because
better
he's too
than he is.
swaggy.
yeah.
So-
he does have swag.
Now on to the last topic of the day. We can breeze by this NFL pick'em
Here we
week
go.
12. Bears versus Lions, first game of Thanksgiving. Bears versus Lions, I'm going with the Bears.
I think the Lions get their first W with Jared Goff.
Ooh, interesting. I'm actually going Bears. I think Dalton has a good game.
I'm actually giving Muffin some betting luck because he picked the Lions, so I'm going to go ahead and say the Lions will get this first one.
Why is Muffins doing this?
Because Andy Dalton is playing, he told me. That's what he said.
Muffins, what
Better
are you
than Fields.
doing?
Listen,
Okay, easy.
I'm not.
He almost won the game last week.
Fields
Almost.
has like 2 wins, though.
And then Fields
You said-
almost
you
beat the
said-
Steelers.
hold on.
He left the field
Don't
winning.
do that. Yeah,
actually.
Fields got some wins, bro.
He left the
Respect
field
him.
beating the Steelers.
Raiders versus Cowboys.
Smart to move.
Cowboys.
Cowboys.
I got Cowboys too.
Raiders.
If I had to hear Mike White's better than Zach for multiple weeks, Bears fans got to hear that Dalton's better than Fields.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Bills versus Saints. So I'm going with the Bills in this one.
Bills.
Bills
Yeah, the
shouldn't.
Bills.
Kamara's out actually. I don't know if you guys knew that.
Ingram
But
might be out too.
really
Yeah,
interesting.
but Trevor
I don't know
Simeon's still the
fantasy.
QB.
Tony Jones.
Say that one more time.
Trevor Simeon's your QB, if I'm not mistaken.
He is. He is.
So
I'm-
then the Bills will.
I saw that they Saints might consider starting Taysom Hill after this week if he plays.
But I
poorly.
think it also depends on contract. Like he plays quarterback and gets 90 million, or he doesn't and gets like
that's just-
40
But
some.
I know, but it has to be like a specific. It's not like it's
Yep.
like 3 games.
I know what
you
you're
know what I'm
saying.
saying?
I know what you're saying.
Wait.
Yeah.
Taysom Hill gets what? 90 what?
Either he gets
Bro,
40.
did you see his contract?
I
Bro,
don't
it's
want
Like,
to
it
see
broke like yesterday.
It's
It was
like
nuts.
the original contract was like 4 years, 140.
Yeah,
I'm
but
almost
it's,
positive.
It's like a whole bunch of like nonsense money that just could be thrown away.
He stinks.
So next game, Steelers versus Bengals.
Well, this is actually a good game.
I'm going Bengals.
I like the Bengals. I don't like Big Ben. He's washed.
Last week was a statement win for them. They, obviously on a little bit of a skid. They had a pronounced win. I think they followed that up with another one.
I think the Steelers won.
I think Pittsburgh's gonna win this one.
Bengals.
They've been playing well. Steelers have been
versus
playing well.
Panthers versus Dolphins.
Oh, Panthers.
I'll take the Dolphins.
Keep riding.
I'm taking the Panthers.
Unfortunate. Dolphins, baby. Here we go. Bang.
Eagles versus Giants.
Eagles.
Eagles.
Can be a good game, but I think Eagles win.
Titans versus
Where is it,
Patriots.
in New York?
In
It's
New
in
York.
Yeah.
Tough.
Titans
Jersey,
versus
I mean.
Patriots.
Pats.
Another
Pats.
good game, but I do think the Pats pull it out.
I think the Patriots win too. Falcons versus Jaguars.
Yeah.
Yuck. This game
This is
stinks.
like a game like just don't watch.
I'm going to take the Falcons.
I think James Robinson has a huge game this week.
No, you don't.
I do. James Robinson's a beast.
You really
You don't
believe
know
that?
about James Robinson.
I don't.
Big Kyle Pitts week.
Okay.
Ugh, let's hope, bro.
I
He's
know
been
him.
so hot or cold.
Atlanta has back-to-back games.
You know
and
what?
scored
I'm
0.
going Jaguars. I think the Jaguars win this game.
I'll take the Falcons.
I should bet on them. I'm gonna
This
take
is
the
so
Falcons.
close to call.
OD, man.
Look, I think I'm going with the Jaguars. I'm going with the Jaguars this game. Buccaneers versus Colts.
I'm going to stay consistent with my guys. Buccaneers obviously are the better team for sure. I just think Colts are playing really good football. They need this win. I think Colts win at home.
I think the Bucks win this game. I think Brady had that weird loss against Washington, but they're going to get in a groove now, and this is a big game.
I got
Bucks.
the Bucks too. Jets versus Texans.
Jet up.
I'm going with the Jets.
I'm
Zach Wilson, big time day.
I'm going to ride with y'all today. I'm going with the Jets.
I'm going
Jets
Texans.
World.
I'm going the Texans. I think Tyrod has
You're
a
a
big
hater.
game. No, just Jets aren't that great.
Jets.
We're going with
It's
the
such
Jets.
an ugly ass chant, bro.
Chill, when Fireman Ed does it, the stadium gets
He'd
rowdy.
be like this.
It's cool when we win.
Are you going to this game?
Nah, it's in
That's in
Texas.
Houston.
Ah.
Yo, Fireman Ed be like this. He'd be like this. He'd be like, J-E-T.
He takes the hat off. He's like,
Jets.
Every time he does the exact same way.
That was after the Buff fumble. He stopped going to the games.
yeah, no. I don't-
Really?
Yeah, bro, for a minute.
Yeah, he
He
stopped.
was embarrassed like that?
He just stopped going. I think I
He might have
forgot.
started
I saw him there this past week.
Yeah, he's back now, but he might have took a couple years off.
Chargers versus Broncos. Who wins? I got the Chargers in this one.
You know what? I got you this week. I'm going to go Denver.
Let's
I got the
go.
Chargers.
Yeah, I'm going to put some bread on y'all, too.
You got
Please don't
you
let
got the
me down.
Broncos, Drew?
Of course he does.
I will tell you what, though. We're going to run buck wild on them. They're a horrible rush defense, and I think... What? You've never heard that?
No, I'm just like, bro, what? Never mind, God.
No. Get this thought off.
No.
Get this thought off.
Nah, it's just like we had a little, like, what?
Hey, all good, bro.
That's all
Whatever.
it was.
Whatever you
Like-
say, man. I think Javonte Williams has a big game. I think Melvin Gordon also has a revenge game against the Chargers. But ultimately, I don't think it's enough to beat them. I think the Chargers win.
Vikings versus 49ers.
So you left me on the island by myself.
Sorry, bro. I couldn't do it.
Vikings versus 49ers.
Oh, Vikings.
I think the Niners have been playing good football. I think obviously Vikings have too, but I just think at home, Niners get it done.
I got the Vikings in this one.
I think the Niners have a game plan. They know what they're doing. They could run the ball. They did it with Elijah Mitchell, got 27 carries the other week. Jeff Wilson's kind of playing a bit better, too. I'll take the Niners.
No. Rams versus Packers.
Like he knows the outcome.
Rams versus Packers.
Great game.
Ooh.
Great game. Great game.
Green Bay.
I'm taking the Packers in this one.
I got to ride.
I was looking
Rams.
last night, actually, at this game, and I told myself Packers, so I'm going to stick with it.
Green Bay. Green Bay Day.
Browns versus Ravens.
I just want you guys to know there's not going to be a game this year that I don't pick the Rams. I'm
Don't
going to
blame
pick
you.
them every
That's
single
literally
year.
the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life.
I know, but you're going to win 80% of the time.
Yeah, so
Like, they're
it
gonna,
is what it is.
Are you going to
slow
win
game.
the Super Bowl, though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Browns versus Ravens.
Lamar.
I'm going with the Browns in this one.
I might go Browns as well.
Baker's so banged up.
Ray, I just said he got 3 injuries.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
does,
What the
but
hell? Lamar.
regardless of that, they still can win games. Even though last week was a close call.
Had a few really bad
You know what?
games, bro. A few
Thanks.
stinkers.
You know what? Thanks. I needed this. Ravens.
Lamar.
Now Monday Night Football, Seahawks versus Washington.
They could have changed this. They had all the time in the world to
You don't
get
think
this
it'd be a
game
good
out of the
game, though?
slot.
You
No,
can't
it's going
flex
to be
Monday
terrible.
games.
I got
Unfortunately.
Washington win this one.
I'm going to take Seattle.
If Seattle doesn't win this game, hand to God, I'm not picking them for the rest of the
I'm
season.
rooting for Washington because the Jets have Seattle's pick, so let's go
Oh, wow.
Washington.
That's tough.
Yeah.
I'm going to
We're
go.
gonna-
You have their pick and your pick?
We're going to have 2 like top 8 picks this year.
I'm going Seattle.
That's why I want us to lose.
And that's going to
Lose,
do
we
it
get-
for this episode
we lose, we
of
get
the
two,
Pick Aside
you know what I'm saying?
Podcast. This was episode 132. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Pick Aside Podcast, on Twitter at Pick Aside Pod. Get our Twitter jumping more. Our Twitter's not at 1K. We got to get that to 1K. But thank you guys so much for listening or watching. Have a happy Thanksgiving.
Absolutely.
And we'll see you next time.